rather what is impossible. And by visualizing the impossible, they begin to see it is possible. Okay, see things as you would have them be instead of as they are. Just scroll down here. Okay, visualization, also known as creative visualization or mental rehearsal, refers to the practice of seeking to generate positive results in your outer world by using your imagination to create mental pictures of specific behaviors and outcomes occurring in your life. Frequently used by athletes to enhance their performance, visualization is the process of imagining exactly what you want to achieve or attain, and then mentally rehearsing what you will need to do to achieve or attain it. Many high successful individuals, including celebrities, have advocated the use of visualization, claiming that it has played a significant role in their success. The stars include Bill Gates, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Anthony Robbins, Tiger Woods, Will Smith, Jim Carrey, and yet again, the one and only Oprah or Hum. Could there be a link between Oprah being one of the most successful women in the world and the fact that she practices most, if not all, six of the life savers? Tiger Woods, arguably the greatest golfer of all time, is famous for using visualization to mentally rehearse perfect execution of his golf swing on every hole. Another world champion golfer, Jack Nicklaus, has said, I never hit a shot, not even in practice, without having a very sharp in focus picture of it in my head. Will Smith stated that he used visualization to overcome challenges and visualized his success years before actually becoming successful. Another famous example is actor Jim Carrey, who wrote himself a check in 1987 in the amount of $10 million. He dated it for Thanksgiving 1995 and added in the memo line, for acting services rendered. He then visualized it for years, and in 1994 he was paid $10 million for his starring role in Dumb and Dumber. What do you visualize? Most people are limited by visions of their past, replaying previous failures and heartbreaks. Creative visualizations enables you to design the vision that will occupy your mind, ensuring that the greatest pull on you is your future, a compelling, exciting, and limitless future. Here is a brief summary of how I use visualization, followed by three simple steps for you to create your own visualization process. After I have read my affirmations, I sit upright on my living room couch, close my eyes, and take a few slow, deep breaths. For the next 5 minutes, I simply visualize myself living my ideal day, performing all of my tasks with ease, confidence, and enjoyment. For example, during the months that I spent writing this book, okay, who am I kidding? It took years. I would first visualize myself writing with ease, enjoying the creative process, free from stress, fear, and writer's block. I also visualize the end result, people reading the finished book, loving it, and telling their friends about it. Visualizing the process being enjoyable, free from stress and fear, motivated me to take action and overcome procrastination. The three simple steps for miracle morning visualization. Directly after reading your affirmations, where you took the time to articulate and focus on your goals and who you need to be able to take your life to the next level, is the prime time to visualize yourself living in alignment with your affirmations. Step 1, get ready. Some people like to play instrumental music in the background, such as classical or Baroque. Check out anything from the composer Bach during their visualization. If you would like to experiment with playing music, put it on with the volume relatively low. Now, sit up tall in a comfortable position. This can be on a chair, couch, floor. Breathe deeply, close your eyes, clear your mind, and get ready to visualize. Step 2, visualize what you really want. Many people don't feel comfortable visualizing success and are even scared to succeed. Some people may experience resistance in this area. Some may even feel guilty that they will leave the other 95% behind when they become successful. This famous quote from Marianne Williamson's book, A Return to Love, may resonate with anyone who feels mental or emotional obstacles when attempting to visualize. Our deepest fear is not but that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frighten us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And the greatest gift, sorry, can you scroll down, Mansi?
Yeah, can you just reread it, Manishji? It was beautiful.
Okay, uh, scroll up a little bit. Yeah. Okay, the famous quote from Marianne Williamson's book, A Return to Love, may resonate with anyone who feels mental or emotional obstacles when attempting to visualize. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are we not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. The greatest gift we can give to the people we love is to live to our full potential. What does that look like for you? What do you really want? Forget about logic, limits, and being practical. If you could have anything you wanted, do anything you wanted, and be anything you wanted, what would you have? What would you do? What would you be? Visualize your major goals, deepest desires, and most exciting would totally change my life if I achieved them dreams. See, feel, hear, touch, taste, and smell every detail of your vision. Involve all of your senses to maximize the effectiveness of your visualization. The more vivid you make your vision, the more compelled you will be to take the necessary actions to make it a reality. Now, fast forward into the future to see yourself achieving your ideal outcome and results. You can either look towards the near future, the end of the day, or further into the future, like I did while writing this book. When I visualize people reading it, loving it, and recommending it to their friends, the point is you want to see yourself accomplishing what you set out to accomplish, and you want to experience how good it will feel to have followed through and achieved your goals. Step 3. Visualize who you need to be and what you need to do. Once you have created a clear mental picture of what you want, begin to visualize yourself living in total alignment with the person you need to be to achieve your vision. See yourself engaged in the positive actions you will need to do each day, exercising, studying, working, writing, making calls, sending emails, etc. And make sure you see yourself enjoying the process. See yourself smiling as you are running on that treadmill, filled with a sense of pride for your self discipline to follow through. Picture the look of determination on your face as you confidently, persistently make those phone calls, work on that report, or finally take action and make progress on that project you have been putting off for far too long. Visualize your co-workers, customers, family, friends, and spouse responding to your positive demeanor and optimistic outlook. Final thoughts on visualization. In addition to reading your affirmations every morning, doing this simple visualization process every day will turbocharge the programming of your subconscious mind for success. You will begin to live in alignment with your ideal vision and make it a reality. Visualizing your goals and dreams is believed by some expert to attract your visions into your life. Whether or not you believe in the law of attraction, there are practical applications for visualization. When you visualize what you want, you stir up emotions that lift your spirits and pull you towards your vision. The more vividly you see what you want, and more intentionally you allow yourself to experience now the feelings you will feel once you have achieved your goal, the more you make the possibility of achieving it feel real. When you visualize daily, you align your thoughts and feelings with your vision. This makes it easier to maintain the motivation you need to continue taking the necessary actions. Visualization can be a powerful aid to overcoming self-limiting habits such as procrastination and to taking the actions necessary to achieve your goals. I recommend starting with just 5 minutes of visualization. However, in the next chapter, I'm going to teach you how you can gain the powerful benefits of visualizing in just 1 minute per day. Create your vision board. Vision boards were made popular by the best selling book and film, The Secret. A vision board is simply a poster board on which you post images of what you want to have, who you want to become, what you want to do, where you want to live, etc. Creating a vision board is a fun activity you can do on your own, with a friend, your significant other, or even your kids. It gives you something tangible to focus on during your visualization. If you would like detailed instructions on this process, Kristen Kane has an excellent blog on how to make a vision board as well as a free ebook, The Complete Guide to Vision Boards. Both are available on her website at christykane.com. Keep in mind that although creating a vision board is fun, nothing changes in your life without action. I have to agree with Neil Fauber, MD, PhD, who stated in his article on psychologytoday.com, vision boards are for dreaming, action boards are for achieving. While looking at your vision board, every day may increase your motivation and help you stay focused on your goals. Know that only taking the necessary actions will get you real-time results. Okay. E is for exercise. If you
Yeah,
don't,
anyone? Yeah, just
okay.
a minute. Just let me ask. Like, anyone wants to read? You can put your names, or you can now you can say also. Like, otherwise, Manish, you can continue. Yeah, just asking others.
Yeah, Anjali, you go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, Manishji.
Yeah.
E is for exercise. If you don't make time for exercise, you'll probably have to make time for illness. By Robin Sharma. The only exercise most people get is jumping to conclusions, running down their friends, sidestepping responsibility, and pushing their luck. It's by Unknown. Morning exercise should be a staple in your daily rituals. When you exercise for even a few minutes every morning, it significantly boosts your energy, enhances your health, improves self confidence and emotional well being, and enables you to think better and concentrate longer. Too busy for exercise? In the next chapter, I'll show you how to fit in a workout every day in as little as 60 seconds. I recently saw an eye opening video with personal development expert and self made multi-millionaire entrepreneur Eben Pagan, who was being interviewed by best selling author Anthony Robbins. Tony asked Eben, what is your number one key to success? Of course, I was very encouraged when Eben's response was start every morning off with a personal success ritual. That is the most important key to success. Then he went on to talk about the importance of morning exercise and explain why morning exercise is so important. Even though he was speaking in English, I could understand every word he was saying.
Can't hear you, Anjali. Is is it just for me?
Hello?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I can hear you.
Okay.
We just lost you in the middle.
Shall I repeat?
Yeah, yeah. From the first Eben said
Eben
line.
said. Okay. Eben said, every morning you have got to get your heart rate up and get your blood flowing and fill your lungs with oxygen. He continued, don't just exercise at the end of the day or at the middle of the day. And even if you do like to exercise at those times, always incorporate at least 10 to 20 minutes of jumping jacks or some sort of aerobic exercise in the morning. The benefits are obvious. Your body gets exercise and your brain gets oxygen.
Oh,
Can't hear.
again. Yeah, can't hear you again. I think there is some network issue or something for you.
And someone else can take up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyone wants to?
Your voice is equal, Mansi.
Yeah, I am holding
Yeah.
it close. Now we can hear you, but Anjali, if you can read at
Okay.
this.
Okay, I'll read. Then, in case again problem comes, then someone else can opt. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. If no one is there, I can also read. If someone wants to put your name, otherwise I can take up. Yeah, go on, go on.
Okay. The benefits of morning exercise are too many to ignore. From waking you up and enhancing your mental clarity to helping you sustain higher levels of energy throughout the day. Exercising soon after rising can improve your life in many ways. Whether you go to the gym, go for a walk, or run, throw on a P19X or Insanity DVD, what you do during your period of exercise is up to you. Although I'll share some recommendations. Personally, if I were only allowed to practice one form of exercise for the rest of my life, I would, without a doubt, choose yoga. I began practicing yoga shortly after I created the Miracle Morning and have been doing it and loving it ever since. It's such a complete form of exercise as it combines stretching with strength training, with cardio, with focused breathing, and can even be a form of meditation. Meet the one and only Dashma. I can't talk about yoga or exercise for that matter without talking about my friend Dashma. A few years ago, one of her students introduced me to her work as one of the world's leading yoga instructors. Dashma, the most authentic, spiritual, practical, and all around most effective yoga teacher I have ever come across. I asked her to share her unique perspective on the benefits of yoga. From Dashma. Yoga is a multifaceted science that has applications for the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life. That being said, when Hal asked me to contribute a short introduction to yoga for this book, I felt it was in perfect alignment with the Miracle Morning. I know from personal experience that yoga can help you create miracles in your life. I have experienced it in mine and also witnessed it in countless others whom I have taught around the world. The important thing to remember is that yoga can take place in many forms, whether it is sitting in silent meditation, breathing to expand your lung capacity, or back bending to open your heart. There are practices that can help every aspect of your life. The key is to learn which techniques to practice when you need a remedy and use it to your advantage to bring yourself into balance. A well rounded yoga practice can enhance your life in so many ways. It can heal what is out of harmony and can move stuck or blocked energy through your body, creating space for new fluid movement, blood flow, and energy to circulate. I encourage you to listen to your body and try some new sequences as you feel ready. To learn more and see instructional yoga videos, feel free to visit my website at Prashna. Prashnama.com. Blessings and love, Dashma. Final thoughts on exercise. You know that if you want to maintain good health and increase your energy throughout the day, exercise is one of the most powerful tools you can use.
Again, we lost you, Anjali.
Yeah, Mansi, I can take over. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
have some network issue. Yeah, Manishji, please. Thank you so much.
Yeah, manage to take on.
Final thoughts on exercise. You know that if you want to maintain good health and increase your energy, you must exercise consistently. That is not news to anybody, but it is too easy to make excuses as to why we don't exercise. Two of the biggest are I just don't have time and I'm just too tired. There's no limit to the excuses that you can think of. The more creative you are, the more excuses you can come up with, right? That is the beauty of incorporating exercise into your miracle morning. It happens before your day wears you out, before you have a chance to get too tired, before you have an entire day to come up with new excuses for avoiding exercise. The miracle morning is really a surefire way to avoid all of those excuses and to make exercise a daily habit. More on the easy way to implement positive habits into your life, like exercise in chapter 9, which will enhance your quality of life for years to come. Okay, disclaimer. Hopefully, this goes without saying, but you should consult your doctor or physician before beginning any exercise regimen, especially if you are experiencing any physical pain, discomfort, disabilities, etc. You may need to modify or even refrain from your exercise routine. to meet your individual needs. Okay, that is E is over, exercise is over. Now R is for reading. A person who won't read has no advantage over one who can't read. Okay, reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body, and prayer is to the soul. We become we become the books we read. I'll read it again. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body, and prayer is to the soul. We become the books we read. Matthew Kelly. Okay, reading the fifth practice in Lifesavers is a fast track to transforming any area of your life. It is one of the most immediate methods for acquiring the knowledge, ideas, and strategies you need to achieve level 10 success in any area of your life. The key is to learn from the experts, those who have already done what you want to do. Don't reinvent the wheel. The fastest way to achieve everything you want is to model successful people who have already achieved it. With an almost infinite amount of books available on every topic, there are no limits to the knowledge you can gain through daily reading. I recently heard someone saying in a mocking, I'm too cool for this town. Yeah, I don't read self-help books. As if such books were beneath him. Poor guy, I'm not sure if it is his ego or just lack of awareness, but he is missing out on the unlimited supply of knowledge, boundless growth, and life-changing ideas he could gain from some of the most brilliant, successful individuals in the world. Who in their right mind would choose not to do that? Whatever you want for your life, there are countless books on how to get it. Want to become wealthy, rich, a multimillionaire? There are plenty of books written by those who have achieved the pinnacles of financial success, which will teach you how. Here are a few of my favorites. Full details are given at the back of the book. The Millionaire Fast Lane, Think and Grow Rich, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Total Money Makeover. Want to create an incredible, loving, supportive, and romantic relationships. There are probably more books on how to do exactly that than you could read in a decade. Here are a few of my favorites. The Five Love Languages, The Soulmate Experience, The Seven Principles for Making a Marriage Work. Whether you would like to transform your relationship, increase your self-confidence, improve your communication or persuasion skills, learn how to become wealthy or improve any area of your life, head to your local bookstore or do what I do and head to amazon.com and you will find a plethora of books on any area of your life you want to improve. For those who want to minimize our carbon footprint or save money, I also recommend utilizing your local library or checking out one of my favorite websites, paperbackswap.com. For a complete list of my favorite personal development books, including those that have made the biggest impact on my success and happiness, check out the recommended reading list located at miraclemorning.com resources. How much should you read? I recommend making a commitment to read a minimum of 10 pages per day, although 5 is okay to start with. If you read slowly or don't yet enjoy reading, let us do some maths on this for a second. Reading 10 pages, read per day is not going to break you, but it will make you. We are only talking 10 to 15 minutes of reading or 15 to 30 minutes if you read more slowly. Look at it this way. If you quantify that, reading just 10 pages a day will average 3,650 pages a year, which equates to approximately 18 200 plus page personal development self-improvement books. Let me ask you, if you read 18 personal development books in the next 12 months, do you think you will be more knowledgeable, capable, and confident? A new and improved you? Absolutely. Final thoughts on reading. Begin with the end in mind. Before you begin reading each day, ask yourself why you are reading that book. What do you want to gain from it? And keep that outcome in mind. Take a moment to do this now by asking yourself what you want to gain from reading this book. Are you committed to finishing it? More importantly, are you committed to implementing what you are learning and taking action? By following through with the Miracle Morning 30-day life transformation challenge at the end. Many Miracle Morning practitioners use their reading time to catch up on their religious texts, such as the Bible, Torah, and any other spiritual text. Hopefully, you took the advice I gave, and you have been underlining. circling, highlighting, folding the corners of pages, and taking notes in the margins of this book. To get the most out of any book, I read and make it easy for me to revisit the content again in the future. I underline or circle anything that I may want to revisit and make notes in the margins to remind me why I underlined that particular section, unless, of course, it is a library book. This process of marking books as I read allows me to come back at any time and recapture all of the key lessons, ideas, and benefits without without needing to read the full book again cover to cover. I highly recommend rereading good personal development books. Rarely can we read a book once and internalize all of the value from the book. Achieving mastery in any area requires repetition, being exposed to certain ideas, strategies, or techniques over and over again until they become ingrained in your subconscious mind. For example, if you want to master karate, you would not learn the techniques once and then think, "I got this." Now you would learn the techniques, practice them, and then go back to your sensei and learn them again, and repeat the process hundred of times in order to master a single technique. Mastering techniques to improve your life works the same way. There's more value in rereading the book you already know has strategies that can improve your life than there is in reading a new book before you have mastered the strategies in the first. Whenever I'm reading a book that I can see can really that I see can really make an impact on an area of my life, I commit to rereading that book, or at least rereading the parts I have underlined, circled, and highlighted as soon as I'm finished going through it for the first time. I actually keep a special space on my bookshelf for the books that I want to reread. I have read books like Think and Grow Rich as many three times, as many as three times, and often refer back to them throughout the year. Rereading requires discipline because it is typically more fun to read a book you have never read before. Repetition can be boring or tedious, which is why so few people ever master anything. I repeat, repetition can be boring or tedious, which is why so few people ever master anything. But that is even more reason why we should do it to develop a higher level of self-discipline. Why not try it out with this book? Commit to rereading it as soon as you are finished to deepen your learning and give yourself more time to master the miracle morning. Okay. S is for
Okay,
scribing.
I think, yeah, wait. I think let's stop here because it's the final habit, but it might take us extending time maybe. Or yeah, it's not too big actually. So what to do? Shall we finish it, or shall we just take it tomorrow? What do everyone suggest here?
Mansi, we can finish it. I think we should
Uh,
finish it. Huh? There's not much to discuss also, so we can finish.
Yeah, we can finish it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Anyone who would like to read, because Manishji is the only one contributing in the reading today. So, like, just asking. Manishji, you want to take a break? Then I can take up the reading. No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, you go ahead then. Go ahead, please. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I'll read that today. Why no one wants to read today? There are even like people are not there today. I don't know why. So yeah. Okay. I'll just start. As for scribing, whatever it is that you write, putting words. I hope the sound is not echoing because there are two devices.
No,
Yeah,
Mansi, it's fine.
Okay. Yeah. S is for scribing. Whatever it is that you write, putting words on the page is a form of therapy that doesn't cost a dime. Diana Rab. Ideas can come from anywhere and at any time. The problem with making mental notes is that the ink fades very rapidly. Rolf Smith. Nice quote. Okay, so here we start. Scribing is the final practice in the lifesavers, and it really just another word for writing. But please allow me to keep it real. I needed an S for the end of the lifesavers because a W wouldn't fit anywhere. That's thesaurus. I owe you one. Journaling. My favorite form of scribing is journaling, which I do for 5-10 minutes during my miracle morning. By getting your thoughts out of your head and putting them in writing, you gain valuable insights you'd otherwise never see. The scribing element of your miracle morning enables you to document your insights, ideas, breakthroughs, realizations, successes, and lessons learned, as well as many areas of opportunity, personal growth, or improvement. While I had known about the profound benefits of journaling for years, and I had even tried it a few times, I never stuck with it consistently because it was never part of my daily routine. Usually, I kept a journal by my bed, and when I get some late at night, 9 times out of 10, I would find myself making the excuse that I was too tired to write in it. My journal stayed more blank. Even though I already had many mostly blank journals sitting on my bookshelf, every so often I would buy myself a brand new journal, a more expensive one, convincing myself that if I spent a lot of money on it, I would surely write in it. Seems like a decent theory, right? Unfortunately, my little strategy never worked, and for years I had accumulated more and more increasingly expensive yet equally empty journals. That was before the miracle morning. From day one, the miracle morning gave me the time and structure to write in my journal every day, and it quickly became one of my favorite habits. I can tell you now that journaling has become one of the most gratifying and fulfilling practices of my life. Not only do I derive the daily benefits of consciously directing my thoughts and putting them in writing, but even more powerful are those I have gained from reviewing my journals from cover to cover afterwards, especially at the end of the year. It is hard to put into words how overwhelmingly constructive the experience of going back and reviewing your journals can be, but I'll do my best. My first journal review. On 31st December, after my first year doing the miracle morning and writing in my journal, I began reading the first page I had written that year. Day by day, I start to review and relive my entire year. I was able to revisit my mindset from each day and gain a new perspective as to how much I had grown throughout the year. I re examined my actions, activities, and progress, giving me a new appreciation for how much I had accomplished during the past 12 months. Most importantly, I recaptured the lessons I had learned, many of which I had forgotten over the course of the year. Gratitude 2.0. I also experienced a much deeper quality of gratitude in a way that I had never experienced before or on two different levels simultaneously. It was that what I now refer to as my first book of the future moment. Sorry, am I first back to the future moment? Sorry. Try to follow me here and feel free to picture me as Marty McFly stepping out of a 1985 DeLorean. As I read through my journal, my current self, which was also the future self of who I was at the time I wrote those journal entries, was now looking back at all of the people, experiences, lessons, and accomplishments that I took note of, being grateful for throughout the year. Okay, I'll just read it again. As I read through my journal, my current self, which was also the future self of who I was at the time I wrote those journal entries, was now looking back at all of the people, experiences, lessons, and accomplishments that I took note of being grateful for throughout the year. As I was in that moment reliving the gratitude that I felt in the past, I was simultaneously feeling grateful in the past moment for how far I had come since that time in my life. It was a remarkable experience and a bit surreal. Accelerated growth. Then I began to tap into the highest point of value I would gain from reviewing my journals. I pulled out a sheet of blank paper, drew a line down at the middle, and wrote two headings at the top: Lessons learned and new commitments. As I read through my hundreds of my journal entries, I found my recapturing dozens of valuable lessons. Wow, this is a nice habit. This process of recapturing lessons learned and making new commitments to implement those lessons aided my personal growth and development more than almost anything else. While there are many worthwhile benefits of keeping a daily journal, a few of which I have just described, here are a few more of my favorites. Gain clarity. The process of writing something down forces us to think through it enough to understand it. Journaling will give you more clarity, allow you brainstorm, and help you work through problems. Capture ideas. Journaling helps you not only expand your ideas but also prevents you from losing the important ideas that you may want to act on in the future. Review lessons. It enables you to review all of the lessons you have learned. Acknowledge your progress. It is wonderful to go back and reread your journal entries from a year ago and see how much progress you have made. It's one of the most empowering and confidence inspiring and enjoyable experiences. It can't really be duplicated any other way. Gap focus. Okay, anyone wants to read? Then I can allow them to take over. Okay, I don't think anyone interested. Okay, I'll just see how much. Okay, it's 2, 3 pages. I'll just finish off. Gap focus. Is it hurting or helping you? In the opening pages of this chapter, we talked about using the lifesavers to close your potential gap. Human beings are conditioned to have what I call gap focus. When we tend to focus on the gaps between where we are in life and where we want to be, between what we have accomplished and what we could have or want to accomplish, and the gap between who we are and our idealistic vision of the person we believe we should be. The problem with this is that constant gap focus can be detrimental to our confidence and self image, causing us to feel like we don't have enough, haven't accomplished enough, and that we are simply not good enough, or at least not as good as we should be. High achievers are typically the worst at this, constantly overlooking or minimizing their accomplishments, beating themselves up over every mistake and imperfection, and never feeling like anything they do is quite good enough. The irony is that gap focus is a big part of the reason that high achievers are high achievers. Their insatiable desire to close the gap is what fuels their pursuit of excellence and constantly drives them to achieve. Gap focus can be healthy and productive if it comes from a positive, proactive, I'm committed to and excited about fulfilling my potential perspective. Without any feelings of lack, unfortunately, it rarely does. The average person can, even the average high achiever, tends to focus negatively on their gaps. The high achievers, those who are balanced and focused on achieving level 10 success in nearly every area of their lives, are exceedingly grateful for what they have, regularly acknowledge themselves for what they have accomplished, and always at peace with where they are in their lives. It's the dueling idea that I am doing the best that I can in this moment, and at the same time, I can and will do better. I'll read this again. It's the dueling idea. Okay, I'll read it from start. The highest achievers, those who are balanced and focused on achieving level 10 success in nearly every area of their lives, are exceedingly grateful for what they have, regularly acknowledge themselves for what they have accomplished, and are always at peace with where they are in their lives. It's the dueling idea that I am doing the best that I can in this moment, and at the same time, I can and will do better. This balanced self assessment prevents that feeling of lack, of not being, having, doing enough, while still allowing them to constantly strive to close their potential gap in each area. Typically, when a day, week, month, or year ends and we are in a gap focus mode, it's almost impossible to maintain an accurate assessment of ourselves and our progress. For example, if you had 10 things on your to do list for the day, even if you completed 6 of them, your gap focus causes you to feel you didn't even get everything done that you wanted to do. The majority of people do dozens, even hundreds of things right during the day and a few things wrong. Guess which things people remember and replay in their minds over and over again? Doesn't it make more sense to focus on the 100 things you did right? It sure is more enjoyable. What does this have to do with writing in a journal? Writing in a journal each day with a structured strategic process, more on that in a minute, allows you to direct your focus to what you did accomplish, what you are grateful for, and what you're committed to doing better tomorrow. Thus, you more deeply, enjoy your journey each day, feel good about any forward progress you made, and use your heightened level of clarity to accelerate your results. Effective journaling. Here are three simple steps to get started with journaling or improve your current journaling process. 1. Choose a format, digital or traditional. You'll want to decide upfront if you want to go with a traditional physical line journal or go with a digital journal such as your computer or app or your phone or tablet. Having used both traditional and digital, there are advantages and disadvantages to both formats, which I'll address in a minute. But it really comes down to your personal preference. Do you prefer to write by hand or would you rather type your daily journal entries? That should make it relatively simple decision as to which format to use. Get a journal. When it comes to a traditional journal, while just about anything can work, you can even use a cheap spiral notebook. Since you're probably going to have it for the rest of your life, there is something to be said about getting a nice, durable journal that you enjoy looking at. Get a journal that is not only lined but also dated, with room to write for all 365 days for the year. I found that having a pre-designated, dated space to write keeps me accountable to follow through each day, since I can't help but notice when I miss a day or two because they're blank. This usually motivates me to go back and mentally review those missed dates and catch up my journal entries. It's also nice to have dated journals for every year so you can easily go back and review any time in your life and experience those benefits I described above in my first journal review. One of my favorite line dated journal is the Winner's Journal. There's the link for it, which I used from 2007 to 9, and I was pleased with the results. In fact, it was what inspired me to design and create the Miracle Morning Journal, which is now available on Amazon.com. Okay, there is a journal by him also. You can even download a free sample of the Miracle Morning Journal at the website given below. If you prefer to use a digital journal, there are also many choices available. My favorite journaling app is 5 Minute Journal. Again, there's a link, and is becoming very popular. It makes it easy by giving you prompts such as I am grateful for and what would make today great. It takes only 5 minutes or less and includes an evening option which allows you to review your day and even upload photos to create visual memories. Again, it really comes down to your preference and which feature you want. Just type online journal into Google or journal into the App Store and you'll get a variety of choices. Decide what to write. There are infinite aspects of your life that you can journal about, and countless types of journals: gratitude journals, dream journals, food journals, workout journals, etc. You can write about your goals, dreams, plans, family commitments, lessons learned, and anything else that you feel you need to focus on in your life. My journaling method ranges from being a very specific, structured process, listing what I'm grateful for, acknowledging my achievements, clarifying what areas I want to improve on, and paneling and planning which specific actions I'm committed to taking to improve, to being pretty traditional, just a dated entry with a synopsis of my day. I find both to be very valuable and it's nice to mix it up. To get a free sample of the Miracle Morning Journal, go to website. Do you want to write a book? According to a survey done by USA Today, 82% of Americans want to write a book, but number one obstacle preventing them, you guessed it, they can't find a time. If you have ever wanted to write a book, you can use your Miracle Morning time to do that. In fact, right now I'm writing this to you at 6:03 a.m. during my Miracle Morning. I believe that everyone has a book inside of them containing their own unique value to offer to the world. In fact, I've recently started coaching many of my private clients on how to start or finish their first or next book and how to write a book that not only becomes a bestseller, that's the easy part, but a book that creates a movement. I'm always excited to hear people's stories and what they passionate to write. I mean, scribe about. Okay. Oh, finally, we finished, and there was a lot that we read today. So, yeah, we are open for a quick discussion. I don't know if we'll finish by it or we can just extend 5-10 minutes here and there if need be. And yeah, we finally read all the savers. and finish with the savers today. So we can discuss then on them collectively. I'll just insist everyone to please keep it short. And after like a day or two, we can give again time for discussion of this in depth. So yeah, please go on. Please feel free. If anyone wants to talk something, please unmute and speak. Which of the savers did you like the most, or how are you going to implement it, planning to implement it? Anything you can discuss.
See, there are two more pages. You can conclude this, then the chapter will end. See, scroll it down.
I thought the chapter ended. I think let's stop, Anjali, because it's 7:50 already. We normally stop at 7:40 these days so that we
Okay,
can
just
discuss for
scroll
next
and
20
see.
minutes.
Just scroll and see how much is left.
Okay, I thought the chapter ended. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, actually, yeah. So shall I finish? I'm so sorry, yaar, but I thought this is a new chapter actually. Yeah,
No, we
I
can do it.
think we should have taken it tomorrow because now we will have very little room for discussion. Okay, let me finish it. Okay, I'll read it. Give me a minute. I'll just share the screen again. Yeah, Manish, you were saying something?
Yeah, what I was saying is why to hurry? We can do it tomorrow also, right? Malav, just a suggestion. Up to you. Yeah.
Yeah, what do others feel? Or shall we just do one thing? Like let's just finish reading and stop at 8 sharp and then discuss tomorrow. That's
Yeah.
also an option, like if we can do that, so that we don't go extending time and everyone gets enough space to discuss
Yeah, that
about it.
would be a better choice, Mansi. Even I can go home and read what all has been covered. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because we covered like four, like almost four savers today, and it's almost the end of the savers. So let's do one thing. Let's keep it very short, like quick shares, 2 minutes. Not everyone being conscious of time, whatever we get after the reading is finished, and then tomorrow we'll discuss more. Like let's see the structure ahead, and then we'll decide. Okay, let me finish this, and then I'll. Anyone wants to read this last part? Pranavi, you want to? Sunita,
No,
Pranavi.
dear. Actually, I'm in the walk, so I would be in the
Okay, okay.
listening mode.
I can read since it's a very short portion.
Yeah, cool. Go on. Yeah, Richa, go on, read. You can read.
Okay. Okay. Customizing the lifesavers. In chapter 8, you will learn how you can personalize and customize nearly every aspect of your miracle morning to fit your lifestyle. For now, I want to share a few ideas specifically towards customizing the lifesavers based on your schedule and preferences. Your current morning routine might only allow you to fit in a 20 or 30-minute miracle morning, or you might choose to do a longer version on the weekends. Here is an example of a fairly common 60-minute miracle morning schedule using the lifesavers. The miracle morning 60-minute sample schedule using the lifesavers. Point 1, silence, 5 minutes. Point 2, affirmations, 5 minutes. Point 3, visualization, 5 minutes. Point 4, exercise, 20 minutes. Point 5, reading, 20 minutes. And finally, scribing, 5 minutes. Total time, 60 minutes. The sequence in which you do the lifesavers can also be customized to your preferences. Some people prefer to do their exercise first as a way to increase their blood flow and wake themselves up. However, you might prefer to do exercise as your last activity in the lifesavers so you are not sweaty during your miracle morning. Personally, I prefer to start with a period of peaceful, purposeful silence so that I can wake up slowly, clear my mind, and focus my energy and intentions. I save exercise for my last activity. That way, I can jump directly into the shower and proceed with the rest of my day. However, this is your miracle morning, not mine. So feel free to experiment with different sequences and see which you like best. Final thoughts on the lifesavers. Everything is difficult before it's easy. Wow, I'm going to repeat this. Everything is difficult before it's easy. Every new experience is uncomfortable before it's comfortable. The more you practice the lifesavers, the more natural and normal each of them will feel. Remember that my first time meditating was almost my last, as my mind raced like a Ferrari and my thoughts bounced around uncontrollably like the silver sphere in a pinball machine. Now I love meditation, and while I am no master, I would say I'm decent at it. Similarly, my first time doing yoga, I felt like a fish out of water. I wasn't flexible, couldn't do the poses correctly, and felt awkward and uncomfortable. Now, yoga is my favorite form of exercise, and I'm so grateful that I stuck with it. I invite you to begin practicing the lifesavers now, so you can become familiar and comfortable with each of them and get a jump start before you begin the Miracle Morning 30-day Life Transformation Challenge in Chapter 10. If your biggest concern is still finding time, don't worry. I've got you covered. In the next chapter, you're going to learn how to do the entire miracle morning, receiving the full benefits from all six of the lifesavers in only 6 minutes a day. Wow, that's it, right?
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Is that,
We finally
yeah.
ended. Sorry, Anjali. Thank you for reminding. I did not realize. I just assumed that this customize is the next chapter somehow. I don't know why. So, okay. So, yeah, finally we are ending with this. Shall we just not discuss today? Is it okay? And just go reflecting on this and discuss tomorrow. I'll just check how much of the book is left to take a call on that discussion. Just give me a minute. Seven chapter. Oh, it's very small again. Miracle Money to Fit Your Lifestyle. Eight. This is a little longer. Someone will stop people. Ninth. I think I'm just checking if we can finish this week. Okay, the 10th is the challenge. I don't know if this is the last one. Let's see. And we will do this challenge together, okay? Oh, yeah, this is the last one. So, yeah, we will finish this book this week. What is
Yeah,
this
we
in?
have 2 more days, right? To
Yeah,
read.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will finish it. And so, since we are not discussing today, what we can do, but my concern is if we dedicate tomorrow for discussion, there is a possibility that we go extending the reading to the next week. So yeah, let's
Oh,
take a
God.
collective call on that, and then we'll decide how to go about it.
We can do this that, if everyone has 10 minutes, let's see if we have anything that anyone wants to discuss. Based on that, we can take a call. Like, if everyone is okay going 10-15 minutes now, then we can just do the discussion. And if everyone wants to reflect, then that's good too.
Yeah, I would highly insist that since we have completed the savers completely, we all have to and should reflect, because otherwise we will not be doing justice to the reading and the time we are investing in reading this book. So we should reflect. But yeah, I'm open for discussion and a 10-minute extension. If anyone wants
Yeah.
to share something quick, please let's
Actually,
go
what
ahead and
I
do that.
feel is the author is trying to take the rhythm of all these quadrants. So it's better we work on all the quadrants, then we can come up with a discussion that would sound more profound, and you will know that rhythm exactly. If you take it as a separate module and try to explain, no, it just goes vague, I guess. So,
Yeah. No. That we are anyways going to do, and
yeah.
we should do that
Okay, got it.
as a
Yeah,
thing for
yeah,
this book. But
yeah.
I'm just saying anything impromptu. Anyone is coming up with any insights or anything that your aha moments or something you want to share, you can. Like we are just holding space for that. Like anyone wants to share quickly, you can please add. Yeah, Richa, you have something to share. Please do. Please go ahead.
Yes, something very quick, because one of the things is from what I was reading, like just literally the last part. Uh, I like how the author uh, he's suggesting a step-by-step approach, but it's a very flexible approach. He's being so flexible with the order of things. So it's again not very, word by word, right? That we have to follow something. It's not like an imposition or a rule, or it's not, as we also say, it's not very prescriptive. He is just suggesting all of these approaches and in some shape or form trying to accommodate it. So I loved that because through my personal experience in the past so many years, I have tried different things, like most of us, right? Like we have all experimented with our morning routines or these daily activities. Not, and sometimes it might not be necessarily just in the morning, but also our evening routine and other things. And we keep exploring and we are changing also with time, right? So I liked how he has been so honest about his own journey also. And I have gone through those churns as well. Like I used to start my day with exercise first, and I initially used to love it, like 4 years back. But about 2 to 3 years back, it was starting to cause a lot of fatigue. And I was feeling like as if I'm just doing the exercise because waking up and it's just a habit and I have to go there. And I think it was, for me, it was encouraging mindless workouts. So, and I realized that, okay, I think I do better with yoga because I enjoy slow mornings. And like he mentioned in this last part as well, uh, I like to start my morning, like the initial few minutes, very slow as well. And for me, actually, after uh, reading few things in December on my own, I was building my morning routine. And what I figured was waking up and then just jumping into the shower after I, brush my teeth and all of that actually helps me clear my mind, and my body is a little bit warmed up as well with the shower. And then I do some like meditation, puja, and then reading. And then I do my yoga. Sometimes now it's summer, so it's the sunrise is earlier. So I'm also doing a little bit of reading. Sorry, a little bit of gardening or watering my plants. So, based on seasons also, we try to accommodate the schedule. That's what was jumping in my head when he was suggesting that. So we don't have to think of it as, okay, this is something set in stone and this is what we are going to follow. We will change throughout the year based on our different things as well. So I really admire that approach, and how he feels about yoga. I could totally resonate with it because, like he said, if I could pick one activity, one exercise for the whole life, it's yoga. That's the same way I feel because it gives me a kind of a complete workout, and more importantly, like more than the physical aspect of it, the mental and the spiritual aspect. So yeah, those are the few things that I immediately, that were coming into my head, and I wasn't sure if I'll retain it. So I wanted to share so that it helps all of us. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Richa. Yes. Anyone else wants to add something? Anything you want to share? So we finally completed the savers, and it's very beautiful. Like it was actually a one chapter that we were reading all these days. It's six chapter. That was a little big because it was the core of the book. And yes, it is beautiful. And I personally would want to add that individually I might add like when we have an elaborated discussion, but just a quick insight that I felt is I love the simplicity of this book, and I loved how this is so much implementing focus and very direct. And the author is very to the point. He's not like gone haywire or talked of other things, or just he's very much so. It really helps us focus, and this book actually motivates us to just go do it. And he's helped us in all possible ways, like simplicity, making it short, giving options, customizations, and there are so many resources that he shared in every chapter, or on almost every page, like where whatever we describe. So much is given. So I love that style of his. So I'm really liking that. It's very different than the other books that we have read comparatively. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yes.
One
Yes.
last point from where I got it. It may be useful for the people around who wants to progress spiritually as well. It's like if you actually get up early in the morning, that silent frequency would really make us to evolve to higher levels. So the moment you get up from the bed, it's better to sit in meditation first so that you can take that nectar of it in a very beautiful way. Otherwise, if you get up and if you go for a workout, you're just disturbing your whole frequency, the brain frequency as well. So actually, the brain in that stage will be in the nascent stage. So it's better to connect that nascent stage with the universe than going for the exercising first. It's like always something is better than nothing. But then if you are spiritually inclined or something like that, the sequence would be that first you get up and then meditate and then go for the other things. Yeah, just felt like sharing. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a powerful addition. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Pranavi. Yeah, Maniji, you want to share something, no? Please go
Yeah,
ahead.
this is regarding the scribing part, like the last saver thing. That is, scribing is basically journaling, and the most powerful thing what I feel in journaling is that our mind is constantly thinking thoughts, different thoughts, and it cannot focus on one thought. For more time basically. So basically what happened is, like, let's say I have to make a decision, right, between two things. I have to decide something, that okay, I have to do this, or like which one is better. So when I'm basically when I'm doing journaling, so then I can put point saying that okay, if I take this decision, then how I rate myself on this, like what are the pros and cons of this, and the other one also. So basically when we are journaling, we are making our thoughts final. कहते हैं ना कि भाई जैसे अपने को like if you want to make your thought final, you have to make a decision, right? But if you are when you are writing, so basically writing makes a more impression on your mind, that okay, this is I'm making it final. So journaling is a very powerful way to make your thoughts final. Otherwise what will happen is your mind will, like, you are in the evening, you decide something before going to bed, but at the same time, if you write in your journal diary, you are making it final, so that you don't have to rethink about it again. So it's a very nice way and easy way to make your thoughts final, so that you can when you make your thought final, you can easily start to take actions. And the author also very nicely stated that uh, basically action is everything. We whatever we do, read, and whatever knowledge we have, but if we don't take action, it is all there's nothing, they don't no there's no benefit out of it. But journaling is a very powerful tool to finalize your thoughts, and then it makes it easy for us to make to take action. And also you can you just like you with journaling, we can reflect on the day, like okay, how I did it, this how was my day yesterday, and what I need to change basically. So just like reflecting and refining and repeating that. So it's a very nice way to, our mind is like a monkey mind, right? It cannot stick to one thought all the time. So, but when you start journaling, you are basically controlling your monkey mind, and like making your thought final, and it makes it easy to take actions. Yeah, I think journaling is a very powerful tool. Thank you.
Yes, very true. In fact, you mentioned it before also, like how journalism change your life, your perspectives and everything. So yeah, thank you for adding that. And yes, I think every practice that is mentioned, the savers is I somehow, I don't know, I knew these practices, and I thought like yes, I know it. Like you take for things for granted, but somehow I'm still enjoying reading this book and learning about them in depth, and having a little deeper perspective on that through the author. So yeah, I'm grateful for reading it actually. Otherwise, I just felt कि हाँ ये book में क्या है वो तो पता है, अभी क्या पता नहीं, it will be repetitive and all. I just assumed it, but it's not that way. It's still nice to read the way he's put
Yeah.
it.
Same here, Mansi, I think.
Yeah.
Because I've
I was
heard
a little
about
skeptical
savers.
about taking this book because I was like, ये पढ़ा है, पता है, like we all know this. It will be very repetitive. Sometimes it happens, right? With some books, you just get bored because it's too much repetition. But
But
somehow it's not that way.
actually, I mean, the module wise, if you take in a separate kind of thing, it's somewhere repetitive. But then I love those savers acronym because, the moment you get up or on the whole day, you can just put a tick mark. You can just write the savers on a piece of paper or somewhere else. And you can just check out what are the things you have missed out. Did you miss the A part or did you miss the R? Like that rhythm, I liked it, Mansi.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
In fact,
yeah.
I had watched videos of this like long back, like maybe even like few years back. But I knew it, and I was doing them in parts, like not
Wow.
like savers as such. But
That's
somehow
what.
now I was looking forward to having something that is more easy implementable because
Yes.
having read 5 a.m. Club, Atomic Habits, and all, the knowledge and everything is good. But I don't
Yes.
know, I was missing out on the consistency of
Connection is. Yeah.
some
Yeah.
ritual as
Yeah.
such, like a
Yeah.
ritualistic consistency was missing. I am doing a few things
Yeah.
after those readings, and some additions have definitely happened, but I wanted something, and maybe as they say, right, a right book comes to you at the right time. So at least
Yeah.
for this book it happened with me that way, so now
In
I'm
that
more
last chapter also.
intentional about implementing it. Yeah,
Yeah. And it's very easy, Mansi, because in the last chapter, he was just telling to work on that at least 5 minutes. So our
yeah,
brain
60
would be
minutes he
much
says, right?
happier.
Yeah,
It would be happier to immediately give a click on all the savers at a go. So,
yeah,
yeah,
and we can never have an excuse for 6 minutes, right?
absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
that we can definitely do. So yeah, I'm looking
Yes.
forward to
Yes.
it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, very true.
There are so many resources now, and someone just shared the other day, like there is an app of this book also. There is an app by name Miracle Morning also.
Yeah. Actually, in the
Today he
Kindle, they
shared a
have.
list of books. He's
Yes.
got a list of books. There is something called Miracle Morning Resources, which he keeps sharing repeatedly. So we should just go check it. I haven't, but we will check it. Like we'll at the end, by the end of the book now, we'll also make sure that we'll put all the links together and share. So that
Yeah.
will be easy for everyone to access.
And in the
So
Kindle, they have
and we
told
will
that.
be doing this challenge also, 30 days. Let's do that too, seriously.
Oh,
It will
oh,
help us.
yeah. Together we can do it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're saying something?
No, actually, in the Kindle, they have told that this book is written in 30 languages. I
Oh,
was,
is it?
yeah, I was shocked. And of course, in the Kindle, I have that version of
Yeah,
a
it is a
Gujarati
famous
version.
book actually. And
Yeah,
someone just mentioned, I think Saurabh mentioned it the other day, that in fact this is like a 10-year, a decade old book or something like that. We are reading it
yes,
very late, in fact.
yes, yes, yes,
So
yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
There is no
Okay,
there is
now
no late, as you said, right? It has
yeah,
come to
right
us at
time.
the
Yeah.
right time. Yeah, and no,
Yeah.
and I resonate with that thing too. Like, because again, and I think it is working in a deeper way with us now, even if concept wise and the key takeaways were shared with us through different people. But again, it comes as a gist, right? And we are not really delving into the whys of and a personal story. The author has shared so much about his own personal story. So and in a very good way, like not in a very intrusive way as well, right? So I think it helps strengthen that whole idea, and rather than it becoming just an acronym or a guideline, it becomes part of our lifestyle. I feel, when an author is sharing their personal story. And I think most of us who are like regular here, we connect that way also, right? Uh, we look for that emotional connection, I think, in the books as well. And I think the choices of books has been like very aligned also this year. It's probably going in that great aligned order also for how all of us, and it's good, right? Because in a group, the alignment is not always possible. So I'm grateful for that. And one more thing, and I know that we are going a little bit over time, but this was also this had popped in my head when I don't remember who was reading this part. Maybe it was Manish ji. Uh, when the author was talking about overachiever, and I felt like he was describing me from, few years ago, because, and even now I have this tendency to be an overachiever and do everything. And doing everything or whatever, liking to do a lot of things is not the problem, but striving for that perfection and all of that, which I have I have changed a lot. But this was again a very powerful reminder, and the way he has expressed that whole thing, details about how overachievers and the, what was the term, the gap something, I'm forgetting, it is escaping my mind, but the way he explained it, gap focus or something of that sort. And he was so spot on about those things as well. So I really enjoyed that part too.
Yeah, same here, same here. Yeah, and I think let's like we will go with the reading only tomorrow, and let's keep like very, very short time for discussion, because what we can do is we can have like a dedicated day for the discussion of this, because I think
Yeah,
this
maybe
is all
next
about
week
the
we should.
savers only rather than anything else. So
Yeah.
I just saw that there is more about customization and all of that ahead. So when we read through
Mm.
that, it will help us even better to like put it all together. So we can just have a dedicated day. Even if we go reading till Friday, maybe Monday we can keep for discussion or something like that.
Yeah.
But we'll keep a
Yeah.
dedicated day for this, and on that day we will discuss how, how are we going to implement it in our personal life also. I think that will be more
Yes.
useful rather than just
Yeah.
discussing the concepts. Let's discuss the implementation for ourselves, and again we are doing the 30-day challenge also, that will again support us into these practices. Yeah, let's do
Yes.
that.
I
I'm
also
also
had an
looking
idea.
forward. I'm also looking forward to like not now maybe, but maybe in a couple of weeks or something. Just trying to taking the gist out of 5 a.m. Club, Atomic Habits, and this book together, and just having a comparative analysis of what can be implemented, what to pick from which book, and how we can just put it all together into practice for myself. And maybe if I get something good to do, like maybe I'll share it for others also. So if anyone is also willing to
Yeah.
do that, let's
So
do it. Like
actually, I
maybe not
think,
together, but we can just discuss our perceptions around it.
yeah, so I was actually trying to suggest the same thing, that one idea, literally when you said this, and before that, the idea that was coming in my head because you mentioned discussions, was that maybe like once we are halfway through the year, or we can decide, the timeline doesn't matter. We can have like some good, not just one session, but maybe like a planned master session or something, which can be
Yeah, that
around
we
the
will do.
theme, around the
Morning
theme of
rituals.
morning routine. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and it is just about everyone, just so in that one we don't need like lot of prep work, in the sense of us bringing a lot of coming prepared with some consensus or anything, or any kind of presentations from the idea that okay, this is what is there from all of these books. But it's more of a personalized thing. We all can share what we have learned from these different varied books, and even other resources that we might have referred to outside of our group readings. And we all can just talk about what has helped us strengthen our morning routine or daily habits, something of that sort. So yeah, that's and definitely I know it will evolve, but it's an idea that maybe midway through the year, or later half of the year, we can do this, so that it will be a good reflection.
Yeah. In fact, I'm looking forward to do this with many books this year. So let's see how we can do that. Maybe we can discuss it in our core meeting also next time. So let's take that up. Okay, I
Yeah.
think everyone is left already. So yeah, taking the AI notes,
Oh,
I have taken them and I'm just posting them. So yeah, so
okay. Yeah,
glad.
I have also taken the notes, but I have not put it in the summary slide. I was
No,
meanwhile also watering
I'm
some of
actually
my
enjoying this
plants.
taking notes now, Richa. Like thanks to you. Like I was very hesitant
Yeah.
about it, but now that I've started doing it daily, it doesn't seem that difficult. Now I just have to figure out how to put it in a template or something like that for myself, for from my end, like because I'm just putting the text messages as of now. So let's see.
Yeah.
I'll just
No, and the
create
format,
something.
yeah, and for now, what you
Because for
can do
me,
is
now the
because,
thing is, I want to do it in the phone or iPad only. I'll stick to that because it's more comfortable for me. Because again, laptop, it will be a different setup. I'll have to create, like putting the laptop on and all. Normally, my laptop is in the
hmm,
studio space, the other room, so I'll have to go there specifically, which is not a bad idea to do that, but it's a little out of my way. Like I have to do a little extra effort for that. So I'm just figuring out
yeah,
if I can do something in the mobile or something itself, it will be more doable. So let's see. But
yes.
as of
No,
now,
so
at least
the,
the AI part I've figured, and I'm fine. I'm doing good with it. There is a lot of
yeah,
scope
no,
of improvement
you
there.
are doing good. No, and I was also very happy that, that taking the action is important and the format doesn't matter. And one thing that has helped me, right, because you mentioned about this mobile thing, because I also see the other thing is I'm going to office these days, right? A lot many times more than before, because earlier it was just a couple of days, sometimes just one day, but now it is 3 to 4 days. So I lose time and energy with my commute and everything, right? So while the book reading is going on, sometimes I will do my, because I have so many plants indoor and outdoor, and it's getting hot, so I have to water all of them, right? So even now, like what I do is I connect through the mobile, and I while I'm listening, I'm like just watering the plants, right? So I don't have to use a lot of brain power. It's just a very soothing activity, doesn't require planning and all of that. So I do that, and I'm listening to the book, and then sorry, I accidentally muted. By the time the reading is done, we are discussing. That's when I quickly take AI notes, but from my mobile only, and then I just send it to myself on WhatsApp. And then that text is there, right? And then when I find time, like yesterday, that's what happened. I was not feeling very well yesterday, right? And I was in the lower floor only, and I didn't come to my computer. My computer is upstairs. So I worked on the slide this morning, my morning time. And that's why I sent it much later, because I was like,
I
that's
saw
okay,
that.
but at
I
least
saw
I
that.
have the notes.
I just assumed like Richa must have slept or maybe rested yesterday and that she just did it today. I just saw you posted late than usual. So I observed that.
Yeah,
I was not
yeah,
even
and
expecting you to do that. I thought maybe you were not well, so maybe you skipped it. But it was okay. And anyways, I'm taking notes now. So we
yeah, so someone had
and
at
what I'm
least shared,
also
and I was
planning
like,
now, by
hmm,
the end now, I'm thinking like I'm just keeping all this, I'm directly sharing it in the B club only, but I'm saying like maybe later on we can just take all of these messages and create a summary PPT or something like that. That's what I'm planning to do at the
yeah,
end. That will help
yeah.
collectively, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, I can definitely take your
And
text
I have
because
to
you
give
have
you the
shared.
template also. I'm not finding time for it, but I'll do it by the end. What I'll do, I'll share that template also with you before we finish this book. So maybe what you can also do, you can also put it all collectively together in a template look, in a new look, and then share it over by
Yeah,
the end.
that I think I can just like even if it is in a like I have the PPT in my the current template. What I also wanted to suggest was again we should simplify this because I'm liking I'm not going for perfection, right? We have the blank, I have the blank background that you had created. I'm just putting the picture of the photo, sorry, of the book, right? Whatever a good
Yeah.
one that aligns that I can so that way I don't have to wait, and I know because
Yeah,
and I
even
don't
I
want to
agree.
do the designing part also, because that might require time. Sometimes I can do it. Sometimes I might
No,
not
no,
have
even
time.
I agree that we have to simplify this further because it's not just about us, right? Like now you are comfortably doing it, but for me it was a challenge. So that's how it is for even other people, right? Like if anyone else also wants to take up putting the summary, then we should be able to delegate or involve them, even if they're not so
Hmm.
tech friendly. So we have to do something about it. So we
Yeah.
have to figure this out. Let's see, but it's evolving. It will evolve, I think. In a few
Yeah.
months, it will evolve
No,
even
and
further.
it will all work out. And no, and what I wanted to suggest to you is you can also try doing this. You have the notes anyways, and you are doing it through your mobile and iPad, which is good. And you're sending it in the group. Eventually, like when you have time, at least put all of it in a Word document. So that way
Yeah, I'll
everything
do
is in
that.
one
Yes,
place.
yes. Yes, I'll do that.
Yeah,
I'll
so
do that.
that's
That
it,
I'm
right?
planning
And
to
then
do anyways. Yeah.
yeah, so that way, at least like step by step, right? And that's how I started. So initially, I was just taking the notes. I created a Word document, I started putting there. And then I realized that, oh, I can just make a PPT out of this. So I picked a design, and then that's how it started, right? It evolved on, like, I
No,
did
maybe
not
even
do.
for me, na, maybe I'll just have to figure out a mobile app that is PPT. Maybe I don't have a PPT app on my mobile. That is also, maybe that's also a reason that
No,
it's not.
but mobile, I have not tried it, and I have tried on the mobile. I don't have the PPT app or anything of that sort because anything on the mobile, like it
I
will
think Word,
require
Word
more.
now, Richa, what I feel Word will make more sense. Like let's see if we can have a template in Word only, Word itself. So it will be very easy for anybody and everybody to implement it going forward. So
Okay,
Word
but
is very easy,
even
right?
I actually feel that PPT is easier because it
Okay.
is not it, because Word you have to it does so many stupid auto alignments and things, and it's very hard to stick to a template in Word. It from my experience, and I have not enjoyed
No,
Word. I
no,
do
what
only
I
when I it
remember
is
now,
simple
like when
text.
in some of the clients' work and some of the brands that we worked with, na, when they have some word heavy, like text heavy templates, so they had some word files where they just had a header and a footer that was designed, and the whole
Mm.
entire middle space was kept either blank or with a white background or a simple light colored or light textured background, and it was mostly kept blank so that anything in the word can just fit in easily, and it is easy
Mm.
editable for everyone. So I'll
Mm.
just see if I can figure that out, how we did it then, because normally the template was created by someone else and then I just took it forward from there, like the header footer thing.
Mm.
So I'll have to figure out how they do that, like fixing that header and footer. That it doesn't change. It remains constant. It will not change come what may. Like unless you just go and specially work on it with some
Yeah.
option over there. So something
I'll
like
have to
that
see
will
those. I
be.
mean,
Huh.
I know about the templates you're talking about, but that free text in between, right? That also it ends up doing a lot of auto alignment and stuff like that sometimes. So it becomes very hard. I lose patience with Word. I've seen
Okay,
this
I
with my
don't know. I have
experience.
not. See, for me, na, I am normally. I have worked on softwares. So I worked on Canva. I have worked on Photoshop, Corel, and all of that. I am very comfortable. So these
Mm.
Word and PPT are our last options to go to normally as designers.
Uh,
We don't really
yeah.
use these options. Normally, we get things from clients in these, and then we adapt them in like proper hardcore design through the other softwares. So for me, I'm not
Uh,
very friendly with either of these. So let's see. I'll
Yeah,
have to
no, but
learn and figure out.
when you will see, right, when you will see if you have whenever we have the working session, when you see how I do it in PPT, right, it is what you're talking about in Word, and I have also aligned it in Portrait now, right, so it is in that long format,
Yeah,
so it
yeah.
works out
Let's have it
perfectly.
sooner, Richa. Like as you get better, na, like when you're feeling better, let's have it sooner. And in fact, I also wanted like since it's just two of us, I'll just take. Is it okay if we
Yeah,
speak here?
yeah. I just don't.
I,
Yeah, I just don't want to go for like 1 hour because I do want to
no, no, no.
rest my
I'm just
throat.
talking about another 1 minute. Like not even I want to close.
Yes.
So my thing is, I'm just thinking like I'm also thinking on that grounds of how we can like you make use of that. That what I don't know what to call it, that chart that you have created, right? We have to update that also. So now we
Mm,
have read so many more books. We have to update
mm.
that into the chart that you have created. for us. So maybe
Yes.
that we
I
can
will.
share in the group, and
Yeah,
we'll.
what I was thinking was that, we are coming close to that half year mark, right? So I
Yeah,
can
let's do that.
share the progress, because when we do it very regularly, then also it becomes like quantified more than, like as if we are trying to achieve the numbers, right? So half yearly, I think might be good.
And I am
And I
also in
can.
the process. I'm also in the process
Mm.
of curating the list for us. So before our next meeting, whenever we have it, I'll just have it created. In fact, in the week only, in this week or two only, I'm going to finalize with it. So I'll share it with all of you to customize it further if we need to. And then we can also have category wise as we spoke, right? So category wise, how many like how many as in which category books we are reading more, like maybe money related, so we can also focus on a holistic reading perspective, so that we
Right.
cover all the categories, and we know like where to focus on more and all of that. Or maybe for this year we can choose like 2 3 of those to focus on, so that we will read more, something like that. Let's see, we'll take a
Yeah.
call
No,
on that.
that makes sense. Yeah, and yeah, so the list that you are planning to share, it's of like the books that we are planning to read or that we have already read.
So now that will also include the books we have already read, but ideally that is the list of see, I have approximately 52 books on my mind at least. Personally, I want to read, but as a group, I don't know. We'll not go by the numbers this year, but let's see, because just 52 is just a random number. Like how last year it was 24 books in 2024. So this year I thought just having 25 books in 2025 doesn't make sense, so I thought maybe 52 could be like a mirror number, right? 52 is a mirror of 25. So
Mm.
that's how I was just thinking. But let's see, like let's see how it evolves. I'm open. So that's the reason I'm not announcing the number anywhere, so that we don't get fixated
Yeah,
to achieving that number of books, but rather than
exactly.
we go depth in the books that we are reading, so that they're more implemented, they're more like we just imbibe the essence of them in our lives and things like that. So let's see how we can go about it. But just tentative, a
Yeah,
list of 52 books is what I'm going to create, because some books are very small, so they're so small that they're just reading like 1 or 2 days and we finish them. So if we read such books in the middle, and that becomes good also to read such books, because they just give a little break from long readings, and they're nice, like just to read short books at times na, in the middle. I felt like people do enjoy that. So and then we get that feeling of accomplishment also at times, like okay, finish one book and it was good, and we just learn from it and something like that. So we'll include
yeah.
mix and match something. And Deepa have some wonderful suggestions around such small books. So yeah, we can read them all. Have
Oh,
you read
that's
that
good.
book, Richa, by any chance? Because we read it in the afternoon last year. But I would highly recommend you to read that if you haven't. Like it will hardly take you a day or a few hours, or maybe not even few hours. It's like an hour long book. It's so much picture heavy, but it is very deep and very beautiful. The boy, the
Oh, the
moon, and
one.
the horse, or
Oh, no,
some name
I've
like that.
heard. Yes, I've heard from you all. I have not read it.
I'll
Yeah,
just share the
I want.
PDF with you, and you read it whenever you have time. But it's a very easy and a leisurely read. Like it's a comfortable read. But it's very deep. So I'm very sure that you'll like it. So I'll just share it with you, and whenever you read it, you share your feedback if you like it or not with me. But I'm sure you will like it,
Yeah.
because it's kind of spiritual. It's very easy. It looks like a like a kid's novel or a book like that, and it's very short. Like you'll finish it in half an hour easily.
Oh, wow.
It's
Yeah,
very
please do share.
short text, wonderful illustrations, and deep messages. So I personally liked it a lot. And Milinji also mentioned, na, like he got inspired about
Ah,
creating his Pooh images from that book. So it's very beautiful.
yes.
So I'll just share it with you since we
Yeah.
are
So I
there
have
with it.
heard so much about it, but yeah, I have not had a chance to read
Yeah,
yet. Yeah, share.
I'll just
Yeah,
share.
please do share.
Yeah. You just make it a point to read it this weekend or maybe somewhere around this week, so that uh, you can share your feedback on it.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. No, and since it's such a quick read, yeah, I can use my miracle
And it's
morning
very,
time.
very easy. Means like, it's like relaxing read. Like it's not like a self-help kind of a book. It's like when you read it, it's like just living in the moment, cherishing your companion, something like that kind of deeper messages. But
Oh,
very easy. You will feel actually relaxed reading it. It's not like very
oh, nice.
intellectual as such. But the
Nice.
quotes in
Yeah.
that book are so profound that you'll want to go back to them at times, like kind of that
And I
way.
like such books, that are sharing a message, but with like the simplicity and not being like too much of a boring read. Because
Yeah,
then
a
वो
different
रिसर्च
read, yeah.
पेपर फिर वो रिसर्च पेपर जैसा फीलिंग आता है ना अगर बहुत ज्यादा
नहीं, और
ये
वो कभी
होता है
कभी
तो
ऐसा हो जाता है ना, व्हेन वी आर रीडिंग सो मेनी सेल्फ हेल्प बुक्स ना, दीज सच बुक्स ना बिकम अ गुड breathers for us, like they give us some
हाँ
space from this intellectual like self help work that just happening otherwise, and it becomes too much overwhelming otherwise at times, so we
yes
need a
yes
break
yeah
from that too. So yeah,
that
okay,
makes
okay
sense
then.
yeah
See you.
yeah
Let's see how we can take all this forward eventually. And it's evolving good. I'm happy. I'm loving the process. And as you said, na, you always mentioned, right, like that it's not that hard, or it's not that difficult. You just if when you start doing it, you'll understand, and that's what I just felt like in it. And now that
exactly
I do it
yeah
every day, like it doesn't feel like a chore at all. Like I comfortably can do
exactly
it.
exactly it's all about
Understand
and
that
I
as
I
far as
kept
I just
saying.
figure out a template, it will be like similarly, like it will be just an addition. It won't be
Yeah,
like
and it
a
hardly
scratch
like
as such.
right now I'm at my computer. I finished watering some of my plants. So I had just sent myself that text on WhatsApp, right? So you can also do that, like wherever, however you want to send it to
Yeah,
yourself,
yeah,
whatever
I
you find it
directly send
easy.
it on B Club, and what I do na, Richa, like what I have started doing, like when we start with the discussion na, at that time only simultaneously I just take the reading summary, because the reading is already done by then, right? So I just take the
Exact that's
reading summary, I edit
yeah,
it
so
a little,
that's
and I just
what
send it over on the group. So one out of the two things, like sending a reading summary and a discussion summary, is what I'm doing, right? Two messages. So at least one is gone. So, and for
ah
discussion, I have to wait till the end, because someone speaks something and then again you have to edit it and all. So I just keep it to the end, and I just take 1 more minute, 2 more minutes after we are done, and I just do it, and it's quite doable now. Very
exactly,
easy.
exactly. So see, you figured it. That's exact. And since you're doing it daily, I'm glad that you because and this is also something I don't want to always. I mean, not deliberately that it's just about time also, right? But everything you cannot spoon feed also, right? People have to figure out not in with the intention that, oh, I don't want to share, but there are a lot of steps. But and when I try to explain it, it will sound like it's a lot of work, but actually it takes very few seconds or minutes, right?
Yeah, I
And
got
that's
it. Yeah.
exactly I figured because when the reading was done and people start discussing, that's why a lot of times I am not speaking at the beginning because I'm taking the notes of the reading, right?
Yeah,
And
same
not
here. Yeah.
always, like not that whole time, but it takes me, sometimes it will take couple of prompts, most of the times it works with, and one like those one or two prompts I had sent you also, right? That okay, summarize today's reading or the reading, summarize the reading covered today. Sometimes it will add some ambiguous stuff, so you have to just proofread. And once I have that text, right, then it's just about aligning it in the presentation, which I already have the slide. I make one PPT for that book, and the background remains the same. And just like you're saying, right, just the middle text part, like there is a text section, I put the text there and then I format it. That's it. And sometimes, and the discussion I stopped doing because sometimes they are very long also, right? So, and now that you are doing the discussion part, I was like, it's okay. That part can be in that text format. I don't want to make this too difficult because I was also making tables and putting the discussions earlier, right? But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I realized that I'm putting it so much effort, but people are also like people in general, it is for the group, right? But that the intention with which I am sharing, it is not benefiting that way. And then the coaches and stuff, were using it for their own spotlight purposes, right?
But
So
see,
I was like, you know
now
what?
that we did not give it attention enough, it's
Ah,
all somewhere. So it's changed
yeah.
now. Now
No,
again the
I
group
think
is back to the
he
serious reading
understood.
people. Yeah.
He also understood because couple of times he was trying to put all of that NLP stuff, and then he also texted me, right? I told you, right? And then I messaged him very politely, and in one
No,
of the
and there
meetings,
was
because
one
when
day when I directly messaged him actually. So there was something that was one message where he just mentioned that okay, something like something he had put it on his own group, and I liked that message. It was a video, some forwarded video or something, and I really liked it, and I just forwarded it on our B club also. And I just mentioned you can feel free to share this in the group too. It will be a good value addition apart from your other shares. I just mentioned that. And so he directly like how I was like, oh my god, people are so like I don't know, like thick skinned, I would say. That he just replied immediately that, oh yeah, I have a separate group where I share all this valuable stuff, so anyone who is interested can DM me. I'm like, what the I just messaged him on the
he's very
spot. I was like, see,
entitled.
this is too unprofessional to direct people to your group from here. Like officially, I'm allowing you, and we are not like taking any objection on you sharing your personal messages, personal these things. And it's very much okay, but at least you could have taken a permission before sending a from any of the admins to before sending a direct message like this. And I deleted that message, and I was very direct in my converse. It was like a short text message I sent over, and I was like, "See, this is too unprofessional, and please, you can't do this. I'm asking you to add value here, and you're just
Hmm.
adding value through your own shares. That's not done, right? You can add value through other people's and other things also that you keep sharing on your own group. So why is this
Yeah.
right? Like why you have to share it only on your group? It's anyways not yours. Rather, you should be sharing only your stuff on your group and a general stuff on this group, right? Because it's general, it's for everyone, it's by someone else, by some other creator or someone, author.
Yeah.
So it was very
Wow.
I just
So
directly
how did
messaged
he
like, this is
respond?
not okay. And he was like no, very sweetly he said, okay, I'll noted, that's it. He just replied me, okay,
Ah.
noted. And then after that I think that has reduced. So
And I think he's not even joining the reading sessions, and then he does react to whatever we are sharing, and maybe that's how he wants to participate, and that's okay. Like, because I think he understood that this platform is not for his marketing, branding purposes, right?
no,
So,
my
uh,
point was, see, we are okay with the people in the group marketing. Like, see, anyway, that is also one of the interest, right, of everyone. Like, so if you're doing something, you want to reach out to people whom you are participating in or are giving your time and things like that. So I don't want to have a very strict rule or anything. We don't want to restrict everyone from that. But then there should be a limit, right? There has to be some limit to it. I mean, it's okay if you tell others that, okay, see, I'm doing this, and please do visit my site or whatever. That's still okay because you're friends and we want to share the word. But that's what I just told him, like see, it's okay you do this, but at the same time you also make sure that you add value to the group also, right? Your value cannot be just by your shares, like your messages, your videos, your things. That becomes a promotion, and that is not value addition always. So I
yeah.
just no, and it was I don't know. It was like a little too much for me at one point. I was like, now it's high time. I have to word this out.
No,
So
that's good that you did that, because I think, and he got it from, like, at least now I know that he got it from couple of people, because I had also told him very firmly, but politely, but firmly, like assertively and firmly, that because that one time when he was trying to correct someone, Pranavi, and someone, like, with some words, I have forgotten the whole conversation, which is good. But I remember that he was trying to put his thought about, oh, don't use this. Oh yeah, now I remember it. He was saying, don't use the word introvert. You are labeling him or something, right? And then Pranavi asked him, okay, then what should I use? And she was trying, and I was like, this is derailing whatever we were discussing, because she had asked some question and he was trying to correct her. So I was like, I would like to step in here because we are losing time with all of this discussion. And he told me, no, 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 Richa, let her talk, let her say. And I'm like, no, I am speaking up because this is not the right use of time. And I would request you all to take this offline, right? And I'm not a huge proponent, or I'm not in favor of stopping people from using certain words, as long as it's not inappropriate words. This whole exercise, I think it derails the conversations. I had to say this while there were like at least 4 or 5 of us, and Sunita also reacted to that. She did give a thumbs up. I remember clearly that Sunita, myself, Pranavi, and Pinaki was there. I don't know who else was there. And then later on, he messaged me. I told you, right? When we spoke, I told you that he wrote something very, weird. And he was like, oh, and very chat GPT kinds, that, very, sometimes occasionally this happens that people contribute to someone's breakthrough and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. He was trying to say that I helped him with his breakthrough. I don't know what he was saying, but I
No,
was
no,
like,
he must be trying to say that through coaching, or when you point out and ask questions like this, people might get a breakthrough, and she was trying to create that for Pranavi maybe. So, but yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
it
know,
was the
but
right
he
thing
was
that you did. I
saying,
feel, because coaching is not what we do here, right? Like you can, even
come on,
I
dear,
don't do
you
it.
can't stop people
You
from
can
saying
take it
don't use
offline.
this word. And don't use this word. Like someone is asking you a question and you do your NLP thing outside of this. Don't make this into this one-on-one session, right? Other people are not benefiting from this. And you are also derailing, and you're changing the energy of the room. Who are
And that's
we?
what
Who are
happens,
we
right? The
to stop?
energy really drops. It literally drops, like when it feels very different. Like the other day, I remember we were reading some book, not this book, but one of the book, and none of you were there. Like I don't know that day. Deepa, Rajesh, you, Saurabh is normally nowadays not there most of the times. So most of you were not there only, and it was me and I don't remember who else were there. Like 4, 5 of us were there, and there was this new girl who just joined in, and she's an emotion mastery coach or something like that. So I fortunately knew about it through some other group or something, that she's into something like this, looking at her messages and all. And she just was taking all the discussion, all the reading, or whatever was happening in the direction of her own coaching and showing her expertise on the topic. And it was, although it was a value addition, but it was very intentionally promotional, like kind of a thing, like how you do that subtle promotion of how you know better about this topic. So that was something, it was not like a healthy communication somehow. So that happens, right? Like I think your intention, just your energy flows, and you just know it,
Ah,
and it doesn't feel good in a group like that. So I remember what she was like, oh, in my group I share a template, something she said. So I share a template where we take them through, where we take people, help them identify something she mentioned. And then I, as I knew about all that thing, I just somehow gauged it, this is not going the right direction. I just asked her, why don't you do this thing? Why don't you share it in B club, since we are all from B club over here? Why don't you share that template in the B club? It could be a very much of value for the ones who are here. And then suddenly she is saying, no, no, I think I shared it some 5 years back, so I will have to look for it now. I'm like, okay, okay, that's fine. so
ah.
so if you really want to add value, you can, right? Like otherwise you don't have to direct people through. I don't know why people need to do that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's okay. I think they all have some kind of different vested interests, and it comes across, right? And we figure out. But now I think we are as we are evolving, we are also figuring out how to tackle all of
Yeah,
this,
and
right?
as a core
And
group, no, we need to actually, like now we are going good, like thing, thankfully. Now things are like recently it's all good, but we will always jump onto people like that sometime or the other. So we will have to figure out a strategy or something how to deal with such situations in future, so that we know and we are not disturbed by it, or we don't allow a space to be contaminated by someone coming in like this and using our 5 minutes, 2 3 minutes of sharing for promoting subtle promotions kind of a thing. So let's see how we can.
Yeah.
We will come to that even. Like now we are good with time. See, we have worked well. At least decently we're going good. So that 1 hour extensions is not happening anymore. Not even half an hour for that matter.
Yeah, yeah, with the group. Yeah, because I think everyone is mindful. No, and I think it helped also, right? Because, I mean, although it was not intentional, right? We were trying different approaches and we
Yeah,
thought that, okay,
and
let's try
something
not
hits,
be,
right?
no,
Something
and
will not.
because that discussion, like this one day we did not discuss, right? And then people were like, oh, this is being taken away, right? So I think it automatically makes them realize also that, yeah, we need to do this, but we have to be respectful of the time. So
Yeah.
I think it helps. So it evolved, right? And again, nothing was set in stone. We are not here to put in like policies, right? Like there might be some guidelines, of course, because it's still a group of people coming together and some people have to lead.
But it's your
But
activity, right? Like eventually we are all just investing our time for our own interest and benefit. It's not something that we are earning or gaining anything as such out of it. So we have to be careful around that also, right? Like we cannot make it too not too professional, nor we can just flow away with that. It's just a part of our life.
yeah,
It's not our entire. We are all having different things to do, so this is not
exactly.
like a highest priority. It should not be, right? Like so it should only be complementing our growth. So that has to be kept in
Yes.
mind all the time. Yeah. Okay, then I
Yes,
think
yes.
we
No,
again
very
got
true.
extended time,
Yes.
and
No,
we
no,
will
no,
have
that's
to
okay.
edit this so before we share it ever. Like if we plan to share it, but let's see. It's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
yeah.
problem.
Maybe
We
don't
figure that
share it.
out.
Maybe
Yeah, yeah.
like, yeah, maybe edit this. I don't know how to take care of it. Yeah, I have not worked
No,
on this.
I'll have
But
to
yeah,
figure that out, and I'll do that like sooner. So don't worry.
yes.
It's just in our
Yes, yes,
private
no
group, so
worry.
don't worry about it. So yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Thank you then.
before
You take care.
before you
Yeah, yeah.
go, Mansi, because I don't think I completed this thought.
Correct.
What I was trying to suggest was because you mentioned about your personal device, like mobile device and all of that, right? Why I was
Uh-huh.
saying that, I text to myself if I want to put it in a template. So this is just so that I can at least I'm like sharing this with one person, right? So that they know the process.
Uh-huh.
Um, because I have the PPT, right? And that for that, I do need my laptop, right? Because I have not found, and this one time I had tried working with an image and then taking this text and using edit feature in the photos itself to do this, but that was very cumbersome. And then I was like, I don't want to, download other apps right now. So it is easier for me to use the laptop because I have the template. It's easy, right? So that's why I text to myself. And then I can just take that text and whenever I find time, like, yesterday it was, my morning time, right? Which was your evening time. So I did it at least, but I had the notes. So that's why I send it to myself. But most of the times I send it right away. Now I will share it, right? Because I'm still working on it. But it is typically like it takes only 5 minutes, if at all, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
me to
Even
align.
I like this idea of sharing it to yourself. Maybe I'll also do something around that so that we keep
Yeah.
this AI notes with us in future. Like even whatever I take, na, they stay in one place. Even I'll do something. I'll think of something to do it
Mm.
accordingly. Like so it just stays with me like one book together rather than just getting it
Mm.
in the messages. dissolves
Yeah,
everything.
because in the B club, like there are other messages also, so we have to always go
Yeah.
back and check, right? And for me, like because I create the template right away, and then the PPT is always there, it's already there, and I can easily convert it to PDF and share it as a summary, right? Whenever we decide, of course, there are times when we miss. I like right now, I don't have all the days, but what I can do is when I find time, I can go back to your texts, right, and at least take them because I think I have missed only couple of days, maybe two
Yeah,
or
yeah, no
max three
problem. Yeah.
days. So I can put that at least in this PDF, at least the summary. Like the discussion, I might not because I don't have discussion for every day. And then it will become very long. The presentation,
No, no,
right?
no.
We don't
Yeah.
want it to be long.
No,
So
no.
the
In fact, when
discussion
we do the
is fine.
final summary, na, what we can do is, na, Richa, when we do like, I'm thinking of sharing a small book summary, like after every finishing of whatever we take from the AI notes only, or maybe how Rajesh did it. He just put the PDF of the book in Chat GPT, and he just asked for a summary. So just Chat GPT gave him a summary, like book summary kind of a thing. So he did it every day, whatever part we read, page this to page that kind of a thing. So what we can do is we can have like a one summary which is only on the book, not on the discussions, nothing else. That we can share separately if we want to, or we can figure out what to do with that. But let's add that as a practice since we already have this together. Na, it's just about sharing that file together. So it will be easier also. Let's see how. That's what I'm
Yeah.
planning to do after this. From this book, maybe at the end. Let's see how we can do that. So in that, what we
Yeah.
can do, we can take both of our notes and maybe create something collectively, or one of us can do that. Like just if I do, I take your notes and then see what to take from which one. And if you do, you can do that. Something. Let's see. Let's not complicate it for us also,
Exactly.
but
Yeah. It has to be
keeping it
simple.
easy, whatever we can do in terms of sharing like a quick summary kind of a thing for us to go back and see whenever
Exactly.
we want as a revision. So yeah. Okay, okay, chalo. We have
Yes. Yes. No,
yeah.
no, it's
We have
okay.
to
Yeah,
finish
and I
this.
am also
Yeah.
completing this, so I'll complete the tip like the slide, and then I'll share it, and then I'll go to sleep.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Take care
I
and
also
take care.
need to take
I'm
medicine.
happy that you are recovering like now at least finally. You're sounding quite
Yes.
well than last few
Yeah,
days.
but it's just that sometimes it gives me like a severe headache, and it is allergy season in general. This is this season, and I'm doing some gardening also, right? But I am like, it's
Yeah.
okay. I don't care. I will do gardening because it's my passion. I'm like, it's okay. Even if I'm feeling terrible, if that means that okay, I have to retire early some days, that's okay. Some evenings if I'm not feeling well, because I can't like give up on gardening because it truly brings me joy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's okay. Like the headache
It's
I
a
can deal
soulful
with.
activity for you.
Yeah, very nurturing activity, and more than me, like I know I'm nurturing the plants, but it's more for me, I think,
Yeah,
because I think it
exactly.
helps nurture me because just the fact that you're taking care of so many, because I think just the indoor plants now it is definitely over 130 plants. Just
Oh my God.
indoors, like just in my house. Outdoors, I'm not even counting. That's like I don't know how many of them there are
So
definitely
I'm just
more outside.
imagining your house must be looking so beautiful. Like whenever someone comes over, they
Everywhere.
just have so many
Everywhere I
plants,
have.
and the energy is so different, na, with plants
It
around us.
is. No, and what I realized was, see,
It feels so
initially and
lively with plants. Like I really
yes,
love.
it is
Uh,
energizing. It is energizing. Yeah. And what I realized was that initially I killed a lot of plants too. And even now, sometimes, like, some plants die because a lot of times it's also the soil that they come with might have the problem. Like already the nursery, probably, wherever it is coming from, right? They did not do a good job, and something or the other must have happened. But I've also figured it took me some time, and you have to go through that chaos, right? I've shared this in our group shares
yeah.
as well at times. But that chaos, so-called chaos, right? Even though I got overwhelmed and I was like, oh my God, what is happening? And this is not, and I was getting overwhelmed with all of it also. But that experience, right? That no one can teach you. is what I'm trying to get to. Like you have to, like, like how you are sharing now, you are doing the activity on a daily basis, and there is no one correct way of doing things, right? You figure out what works with your schedule. And again, it's not as simple as, okay, yeah, 10 plants ko pani diya, and that's what. Why, like the why you are doing it. I am like very intentional now with my plants, and it is definitely, it has shifted the energy in my room itself, this office room that I have upstairs. Here itself I have like over 35 plants, right? Because this room,
Wow.
I can feel the energy. Like I was talking to my healer this one time, and we were talking on video, and she was saying, do you meditate in this room? And I'm like, yes, I do yoga and I do reading. And there are so many plants. And she was like, yeah. And she was able to say, what she told me was that she can see orbs, around me,
Oh.
or something. That energy wise, like, she could see certain things. And I was like, yes, because this room has and there are so many plants here. And whenever I'm like, I have a very I work from here also. Now I'm not able to work as much from home, but still, whenever I'm working from home, and if there is a terrible meeting, I just look back, and everywhere it's plants, right? And I'm looking at the plants, and I'm like, okay, instantly I feel very good. And then the other day, I was on a video call with my office people only. It was a Friday when I was working from home, and we had a video call, and this is an extended team meeting that was happening with other teams also. And I had my background blurred, but you can still see that there are a lot of green plants and whatnot, right? So one of the persons, he pinged me, he's like, oh my God, Richa, you have so many plants in the background. It looks so good. And I'm like, yes, I'm crazy about plants. But it shifted the energy. And the other thing that I realized now, Mansi, was once you figure out that, okay, yeah, this is the scale, because now I'm doing good with, I figured, okay, which plants need how much light, so they are accordingly placed. Earlier, it was all about, oh, let me try this, let me try this. Now I know very clearly this plant, okay, this will go here. I have understood my house ka mechanics, how the sun is working in my house, right? Which angles, with seasons also it changes. So I now it's very quick for me. That okay, I know how to design this, and I quickly take care of it. I'm fertilizing them. Earlier, it was all a very new learning process, and it was overwhelming. But now I have simplified it, and Atomic Habits also helped me. And the other thing is, the more number of plants you see, like if they're together, right? Now that they're every place wherever I have plants, there are at least 5 to 10 of them, right? They actually thrive in that, because they need that company of other plants, right? You just don't want to put one plant in a corner and leave it alone, right? They like the humidity, and they interact with each other also. I This is what I feel, because there is definitely some
Yeah, they
energy.
do. They do. There is this one app called uh Life of Trees. No, so not the app. The app is Booklet Guide, that Amrut Deshmukh's app.
Ah,
In that, when we were doing that IBL thing, na, he got one day, he just had this one summary called The Life of Trees or something like that. A book by that name,
ah,
where there is a research where in jungles, in Amazon jungles and many, like in all of these things, the trees do communicate with one another. So when there is some predator or something on them, on one tree or something, the other trees send some chemicals, like from a distance of some kilometers
ah.
or something like that. They communicate and they just come to rescue one another. And there are many things that happens in the forest, so things like that. So they do interact, they do have. And what I was, from what you were sharing now, like I could just somehow I just felt that, have you ever considered about just making a note or maybe reflecting on life lessons through this experiences of yours, or metaphors, like you just talked about chaos, you just talked about soil. So have you as you change the soil could be our upbringing. I don't know, I was just thinking in this, I don't know, somehow just it just illustrated mentally like this. There are
Mhm.
so many life lessons in this, like if we look at them as a metaphoric like signs or whatever coming to us through this. So there is
Mhm.
so much to learn. and so much hidden messages, that insights, we would say, through this experience or through these practices, right? The way it happens and way
Yes.
it evolve, they teach us
Yes,
so
some of
much.
it I have journaled, some of it, not all of it maybe, but whenever I get a chance, I do journal these things, or at least like what I do is the other way that it stays with me is I keep talking about it. Like I shared with you, I have shared about this chaos thing even in our group discussions with so many of my, close people, of course, like who will understand this, right? Uh, and that way is, it's very clear. Again, it is there in my head as well. And yeah, few things I do journal. So yeah, maybe someday I will create like some kind of a life lessons
So in
thing,
fact, you can write a book on that someday maybe. And in fact, that one said something you said, right? Like sometimes it's just about changing the soil. So that part just struck me. It was like, yeah, actually, right? It's
Ah,
sometimes it's just about soil is what? Soil is your environment. Soil is where your food, like
exactly.
your nourishment comes from, right? So yeah,
Exactly, because and very
they both
easily we blame
belong.
things, right? I
Yeah.
mean, even in our life, but even if you take it just with the example, I used to blame myself that, oh my God, I killed another plant. But I'm not realizing that, oh, it was probably set up to die, the way it was planted. So but now I know, and I can, and I'm not kidding, like within a week. I will know that okay, this plant, I think this soil, because I know the soil, like when I feel it and when I'm watering it, I'm like, this one is not going to do good. And I can see that it's holding too much moisture for the indoor plants, because you don't want too much moisture also for indoor plants, since there is not much wind and you don't water them also that frequently, right? So I was taking care of it, and then I realized that okay, yeah, I think it is holding too much moisture. And then some one of these like very pretty plants, a couple of times I got it and it had that brown spot problem or something, right? And I was like, I think I'm doing something wrong, is the first thought I will have. But I would not think of the idea. And then this one day it occurred to me that maybe it's the soil. So I checked with I went to my nursery for picking something else, and I asked I like going to the nursery because there those people, they grow plants themselves also. They have specialists, right? So then I asked that lady that, okay, this is what I'm thinking, that this is happening with this plant, and I've killed it a couple of times. And I think it is because of the soil. And she was like, yeah, it's probably because of that. So I was like, okay. So I think I've changed it into this. So hopefully it will do good. But I wanted to get some validation around this. So that intuitiveness was working, but I even confirmed it so that I'm not overconfident, right? Because I was still learning.
No,
This
no,
was like
no.
last year.
In fact, you know what? I remember this. Like I even like recently when I visited, when I was doing in this one of the course design your life thing that I did recently. In that there was a friend who was there. Like she just became a friend there. She was a course this thing participant, and she was so intuitive and she was so whenever we had some close sharing sessions and things like that as a part of that, in that she was so intuitive about understanding under in between the lines or about a person or just analyzing very beautifully, and she could pick up
Mm.
some things. And then later somewhere she said that I'm just crazy, I just talk to trees, I just talk to everything, like in the nature kind of things. And okay,
Yeah.
now I get it where this comes from, because I remember when we had gone to this retreat also, na, and with some of the mindfulness coaches that I have been learning from and all. So there are these exercises they made us do as a group activity or something, where they will someday just ask you just to go and look at a tree, choose a tree for yourself, and you just look at the tree and you talk to that tree and see what message you get. And I have received such messages, like it's so profound, like when you talk to your body, when you talk to the tree, when you talk to your space, so many things, right? And it makes miraculous, it gives us miraculous insights. I don't know where it comes from, if it really comes from that outer space, or that real tree or whatever we are looking at or concentrating on, or does it come from within? I don't know, but it comes as an insight, as a sound from somewhere, and you do get that insights very strongly. So I would highly recommend just try speaking with your trees. I think you're already connecting very well with them. So all this is also helping you, right? Like very well, like I feel. Like that's
Yeah,
I
in
was
general
telling
with
that
healing. Yeah.
there are the Zen walks or things like that where we actually there are spiritual messages in all of these, and they are maybe they do to communicate with us. It's like the universe talking to us, but it's maybe we are so busy in our own lives that we are not listening and we don't really give that importance, or maybe we are never taught it. We are not never taught these things, na? Like have you seen that movie Avatar and all? Such some movies
Hmm.
like that. They show that those tribes are so connected with their nature. We are not taught to be that way since a childhood and things
Yeah.
like that. But otherwise I think this is there, like we are connected some way. And I'm so happy to know, like now you really inspire me, because I'm not very much into gardening and things like that, but I that's one of my wish list item where I would want to plant a few more trees and things around me someday. So let's see.
Yeah,
Few
you
we
will do
but
good.
not so much passionate about or into it as such.
Yeah, and the quantity doesn't matter. I am to just crazy, but I think even if you have like few plants, right? Like and what I had started with was just money plant, and outdoor I had started with kadi patta, because kadi patta, like that fresh, that feeling is so good when you use it. And मैं तो बहुत सारी चीजों में use करती हूँ, right? So that's how मैंने फिर वो थोड़ा
Yes, yes. And
मेरा भी
easy
herb
also,
garden
na, to
है.
grow like Kadi patta grows
हम्म.
easily also, from what I
इजीली
understand.
ऑल्सो, एंड यहाँ पे भी ये हमारा वेदर जो है ना, यहाँ पे टेक्सास में बहुत अच्छा है उसके लिए भी. द हीट इट लव्स इट, एंड ठंड में बस मैं उसको अंदर मेरे किचन में ले आती हूँ, तो एकदम ठंड में ऑफ कोर्स वो मर जाएगा. और इस बार तो मैंने अभी ग्राउंड में भी एक लगा दिया, मेरा इतना आ रहा है वो, कि आई वाज लाइक ओके, मेरे इतने वो उसमें एक जो बड़ा पॉट है उसमें तो बहुत सारे आ रहे हैं, और उसमें बहुत सारे उसके बच्चे भी आ रहे हैं. वो तो मेरा रहता ही है, बट अभी एक और मैंने पहले सेपरेट किया था एक दूसरे पॉट में, एंड वो भी थोड़ा बड़ा हो रहा था, तो मैंने उसको इस बार ग्राउंड में डाल दिया. तो वो पूरा उगेगा एंड वो बहुत बड़ा हो जाएगा, एंड फिर वो मर जाता है बट वो वापस आ जाता है नेक्स्ट ईयर. सो आई कैन जस्ट कट ऑफ इट्स स्टेम्स, बट इट विल कम बैक, इट विल स्प्राउट अगेन. ऐसा होता है वो. तो दैट आई विल ट्राई फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, कि ठीक है, and एक तो है ही अंदर जो आ रहा है, सो दैट. एंड देन तुलसी तो मेरे घर में ऐसे आती है, बिकॉज एक बार मैंने क्या लगाई, वो हर पॉट में से एक बड़े पॉट में आ गई थी एक बार, एंड वो बड़े से वो लास्ट 2-3 साल में मैं अगर कुछ भी नहीं कर रही थी ना गार्डनिंग, तो भी वो खुद ही मतलब, एंड इट्स अ गुड साइन. आई रियलाइज दैट मेरे हाथ में
Yeah,
मतलब वो
Tulsi
है,
is like
ग्रीन
a
थंब है.
spiritual progress may be happening, and
हाँ.
it's also Krishna's favorite plant or something like that. There are many these things
हम्म.
around Tulsi. So having a Tulsi
हाँ.
plant at home and like it rising and growing beautifully is a very good sign.
अरे, और वो बहुत, और वो पता है 2 साल पहले इतने मेरे को
It
चूहों
takes
ने
away
तंग
all the
किया.
negativity also. Like when a tulsi,
हाँ.
like someone just told me sometime back, like when a tulsi dies very often in your house, it's a sign that there is some negativity, a lot of negativity around which it is soaking. So
अच्छा.
it's keep
हाँ.
planting. Someone just told me that keep planting, like till the
हाँ.
time it stops dying. So
हाँ,
yeah.
नहीं वो अभी अच्छे से वो उगती है, और मैं तो अभी आजकल रोज पूजा में भी, मैं मतलब दिसंबर से तो रोज वो खा रही हूँ, और मैं, मेरी डॉग को भी पसंद है. वो बाहर इतने उग रहे थे कि वो बाहर भी वो तुलसी के प्लांट में से लेके
You
खाती
know,
थी.
na,
सो
Tulsi is Krishna's favorite, like Krishna and Vittal,
हाँ.
Vishnu
हाँ.
avatars are there, na, they're offered Tulsi
राइट.
as a offering,
हाँ.
like
वही वो, और
also.
वो, हाँ वो पता है मुझे, और उसमें भी दो वैरायटी भी है. तो एक कृष्ण तुलसी होती है, एक राम तुलसी. तो मेरे पास पहले राम तुलसी थी, फिर 1-1.5 साल पहले मुझे मेरी फ्रेंड ने कृष्णा तुलसी दी, बिकॉज वो इजीली नहीं मिलती है यहाँ पे, एंड फिर उसको
It's
सीड्स
little
मिले थे
dark,
तो
na,
उसने.
kuch, हाँ.
हाँ. तो वो वाली मैंने वो भी लगाया, और वो भी इतनी उग रही है, और उसकी वो मतलब उसने ध्यान नहीं दे पाया, उसका छोटा बच्चा है अभी 1.5 साल का. सो उसका तो ये हो गया, तो मैंने बोला अभी इस बार मेरे इसमें सीड्स आएंगे तो आई विल गिव इट बैक टू यू, लाइक मैं तेरे को थोड़ा एक लगा के दूंगी नेक्स्ट ईयर, बिकॉज अब तो वो सीड्स नहीं आ रहे हैं, अभी तो वो उग रही है. एंड इस बार मैंने बाहर रखी, पहले वो अंदर ही रखी थी, क्योंकि वो छोटा था प्लांट. सो आई डेंट वांट इट टू डाई इन लाइक सीवियर क्योंकि यहाँ पर गर्मी बहुत होती है, जब मतलब अभी बीच के अभी चालू हो गई है जैसे थोड़ी, तो और अब रहेगा मतलब सितंबर तक थोड़ा वही मोस्टली हॉट रहता है, राइट। बट इस बार अब मैंने बाहर किया एंड इट्स फ्लरिशिंग। तो वो एक कृष्णा तुलसी है, बट ये जो राम तुलसी है ना मेरी, वो मतलब वो एक पॉट से उग के वो हर जगह उग गई थी, और अब तो मैंने पर्पसली काफी जगहों पे थोड़े बड़े पॉट्स में भी लगा दिए है, क्योंकि वो उगे, वो अच्छा ही है, मुझे तो अच्छा ही लगता है। और वो दो मतलब मेरा भी सप्लाई रहेगा। और कभी कभी तो मैं वो उसको दाल में भी डाल देती हूँ, मतलब ऐसे जो अपनी येलो दाल बनाते हैं ना, उसमें भी थोड़ा डाल दो तो इट एनहांसेस द फ्लेवर, अपनी जो ये नॉर्मल इंडियन तुलसी होती है। और फिर ऑफ कोर्स दूसरे भी बेसिल, ऑल द अदर वेराइटीज, थाई बेसिल, ऑल ऑफ दैट आल्सो आई आई प्लांट। तो वो भी अच्छे से आता है। बट ये अपनी ये राम तुलसी तो मैंने स्पेशली देखा 2-3 साल पहले से, 2 साल पहले से, वो मैं कुछ नहीं कर रही हूँ तो भी वो ऐसा पनप रही थी। और फिर हमारे यहाँ पर बहुत, ये हमारे पूरे लेन में कुछ बहुत चूहों का इन्फेस्टेशन हो गया था बाहर, मतलब घर में तो नहीं आते हैं, वो पेस्ट कंट्रोल रहता है, बट बाहर भी वो पेस्ट कंट्रोल वालों को भी बोला था, बट स्टिल थे, काफी हो गए थे यहाँ पे। और उन्होंने मेरे इतने फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स खा लिए, जिनियाज वो लोग बहुत खाते हैं, मेरे सक्यूलेंट्स खा रहे थे वो लोग, सक्यूलेंट्स मैंने को पता नहीं था कि खाते हैं चूहे, वो खाए। और फिर वो लोग तुलसी के पीछे भी पड़ गए, बट तुलसी मेरी इतनी थी मैंने बोला खाओ यार, इनके साथ कुछ कार्मिक कनेक्शन था मेरा, शायद कुछ डेट होगा। तो वो आके खाए। वो वैसे भी मैं गणपति जी की पूजा करती हूँ ना, वो कुछ होंगे उस कनेक्शन से ही होंगे वो गणपति जी का वाहन भी है ना चूहा, तो वो सब हुआ।
हाँ हाँ।
बट स्टिल इतने, अब लास्ट ईयर मैंने खुद से कुछ भी नहीं लगाया, बट स्टिल वो तुलसी उग रही थी। फिर मैं बस पानी दे रही थी उसको, बिकॉज लास्ट ईयर तो मेरी तबीयत बहुत खराब हुई थी वो कोविड के बाद। आई डिसाइडेड ओके मैं कुछ भी नहीं, न्यू नहीं ये करूंगी। अब मेरे घर के प्लांट्स कर रही थी मैं बस, बाहर मैंने कुछ ऐसा स्पेशल नहीं लगाया था, यही जो ये खुद से उग जाता है ना, बेसिल और ये सब। बट तुलसी तो मेरी बहुत भरपूर, अगेन वो बहुत पॉट्स में आई थी। एंड इट वाज ऑल, आई थिंक इट वाज, आई ऑल्सो फील कि इट वाज ऑल हैपनिंग फॉर अ रीजन, बिकॉज आई वाज मूविंग मोर टुवर्ड्स द स्पिरिचुअलिटी तो इन जनरल था ही, बट मैं ये धार्मिक चीजों में भी। और अब जब पूजा करने चालू की तो मैं सोच रही थी क्या करूं, क्या विधि से करूं मैं। एंड आई वाज लाइक यू नो व्हाट ऋचा, मुझे नहीं ज्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेट करना है, सिंपल। मुझे पता है कि तुलसी और ये तो रख सकते हैं, मतलब आरती करते समय तो मैं तुलसी, और मेरे को मन में आया मिश्री, तो मैंने एक मिश्री उसके साथ रखना है ऐसे, मतलब 1-2 मिश्री और 2-3 ये तुलसी के पत्ते, और फिर हम लोग वही मैं प्रसाद की तरह बेसिकली, मुझे, मेरे हस्बैंड को और मेरी डॉग को भी देती हूँ, उसको तो बस मैं तुलसी देती हूँ। एंड वो रखती हूँ, कैम्फर जलाती हूँ। एंड वेरी सिंपल प्रोसेस, एंड आई हैव बीन डूइंग इट कंसिस्टेंटली, एंड इट्स लाइक इट्स वर्किंग वंडर्स। इट इज माई लाइक, वो
या
मेरा
इट डज
नंबर वन
आई
थिंग है,
हर्ड ऑफ दैट।
मिरेकल, मिरेकल मॉर्निंग का उसने मतलब बहुत ही और एकदम मतलब आई डोंट नो इनफाइनाइट लेवल पे मिराक्युलस बना दिया है कि
Actually, we can do that also, na? Like whenever we share that in depth book के बारे में या rituals के बारे में morning, we can include our own rituals also, right? Like so it
हाँ,
will help
दैट्स व्हाट
one
आई वाज
another.
सेइंग। वही वो, क्योंकि मेरे को लग रहा है इस बार एक मॉर्निंग रूटीन या अपने डेली रिचुअल्स पे एक कुछ मास्टर सेशन करना चाहिए। एंड
करते करते
उसमें
और वो
एवरीवन कैन शेयर।
एग्रीमेंट्स वाला भी करना है क्या? 5 एग्रीमेंट्स वाला कुछ साथ में, लाइक जस्ट मास्टर
ओ या
क्लास टाइप।
या वो हमने सोचा भी था ना, बट हम लोग फिर क्विकली दूसरी बुक पे आ जाते हैं, फिर वो रह पहले वाले।
हाँ
बट
वो यही
आई
होता है,
थिंक
लेकिन
इट
करते
डज
हैं बीच बीच
वर्क।
में। आई एम थिंकिंग इस साल, दिस ईयर एटलीस्ट लेट्स डू few master classes of some books so we can like they can be deep, so we will like they'll just stay with us like forever.
Maybe, so I had another idea right now, because we are brainstorming. हम लोग ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं, अभी हम एनीवेज काफी महीने ये हो गए हैं, रादर देन फोकसिंग ऑन अच्छा हाँ क्या बुक करना, बिकॉज वी कैन ऑल्सो डिवाइड द मंथ इनटू समथिंग, राइट। मे बी द इनिशियल हाफ वी डू, अभी जैसे हम हाफ वे जा रहे हैं, एक बुक हो गई, राइट। उसके बाद वी कैन जस्ट डू सम मास्टर क्लास काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग। तो रोज वही टाइम पे मिलना है, बिकॉज एक्स्ट्रा टाइम लोगों को निकालना वो मुश्किल होता है, ये एक हैबिट है ना। तो ये देन कुछ एक टॉपिक बेस्ड हम कर सकते हैं। सो सेकेंड हाफ ऑफ द मंथ, I'm just suggesting, it doesn't have to be this way. Maybe we just keep last 1 week of the month, something of that sort. So that way it becomes part of our daily,
Yeah,
again,
month
habit only.
month में even I'm thinking once a month or something could do. Only timing I don't think we can stick to, because क्या होता है ना, ये टाइम सबको feasible नहीं है, So
हाँ बट
especially
देखो,
the thing,
लेकिन हमारा भी एक ही रीडिंग सेशन होता है ना जैसे, बट मोस्टली उसमें आते हैं जो रेगुलर हैं, राइट? बिकॉज
नहीं,
इवन
लेकिन जो
अदरवाइज
लोग
द
नहीं
मास्टर
आ
क्लास,
पाते ना, like some people who cannot come for this time, they just miss it out completely. Like for example, Milind ji is keen on joining us, but he cannot come at this time, right? So things like that
हाँ बट
happen.
वो मेरे को लग रहा है
So
कुछ भी ऐसे, क्योंकि कुछ भी और अलग टाइम अकोमोडेट करने ट्राई करेंगे ना, उस चक्कर में होता नहीं है। दैट्स द थिंग, एंड ही कैन
तो
लिसन टू द
once a
रिकॉर्डिंग।
month ही रहेगा ना, एंड ऑल्सो आई एम थिंकिंग कि वो ऐसे जब भी कोई मास्टर क्लास या कुछ करेंगे ना, तो वो थोड़ा लंबा रहेगा, लाइक इट विल बी एटलीस्ट 90 मिनट और 2 hour
नहीं,
सेशन,
so that's why
or
I was
maybe a two
suggesting that
days
maybe use like the normal time only, because we are anyways meeting for 1 hour and we can have that engaged whatever, 3 days maybe or whatever. मैं पहले ऐसे 2 weeks बोल रही थी, but 2 weeks might be an overkill. वो तो एक एग्जाम्पल था बस, बट इट कुड बी जस्ट दोस 3 or 4 whatever, डिपेंडिंग ऑन कितना टाइम
Yeah, but
चाहिए
but
है।
what happens now, Richa? Like here in India, like this is like a normal work time, right? Most people go to
हम्म
work at this time, like morning time, like they're in this morning hustle and all of that, na? तो कोई कोई
हम्म
join कर पाते हैं, but some people who are, although they want to, they may not be able to at this time. That's the concern.
नहीं,
So
बट
let's
जो
see, take a
बट
poll
बट
and
जो
decide.
रीडिंग में आ रहे हैं, सी अभी तो हमारा एक ही रीडिंग सेशन हो रहा है ना, एटलीस्ट वी गेट 5-6 people, राइट? एवरेज आई एम सेइंग,
No, but what
बिकॉज
I'm
उससे
thinking, when
ज्यादा।
we do a master class for whatever book, like not just this book or any other book, when we do a master class, I think it should be something that is an extension of just the reading group that we do, right? It should not be limited to us. It should be an extension for the other members of the group who are there, but who may not be able to or keen on joining us every day
सो
for reading.
दैट सो
But
दैट यू
but
कैन
that
कीप
they
वंस अ
will also
मंथ।
benefit, ऐसा.
या ठीक है, तो दैट आई अंडरस्टैंड, बट मे बी वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट टू डिफरेंट थिंग्स, बिकॉज दिस मास्टर क्लास में जस्ट वो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन का भी पूरा तो नहीं हो पाएगा। वी हैव डन कपल ऑफ मास्टर क्लासेस बिफोर, राइट? उसमें भी वही होता है, फिर वो 90 minutes, टू
No, no,
आवर्स
no. We
whatever।
have never done a master class. We have done just a discussion.
एक
So
बार
that's
किया था,
different.
लास्ट ईयर
नहीं नहीं,
कुछ तो
मास्टर
एक
क्लास
किया।
मतलब कैसे बोल रही हूँ पता है मैं, what I am thinking of, where there will be someone who will facilitate it, and it will be like a workshop kind of a thing,
नहीं,
जहाँ
हमने
हम
वो
करा के
जर्नलिंग पे
लेंगे.
किया था ना, जर्नलिंग पे जो किया था, काइंड ऑफ लाइक वो मास्टर क्लास
हाँ,
नहीं
वो एक
बोलूंगी,
ही
बट
बार किया
एटलीस्ट।
ना, लेकिन वो भी मोस्ट और
हाँ
मोर और लेस लाइक डिस्कशन या प्रेजेंटेशन ही हो गया था. It did not
हाँ।
really happen like a master class. I think for a master class, we have to pre-design and like think everything like an event kind of a thing. So we'll have to work
हम्म
on it, and
बट
then we'll
वही
have to
मुझे वो
create
लग रहा
that
है वो
experience.
कॉम्प्लिकेट हो रहा है, लेकिन मानसी उस चक्कर में वो होता नहीं है। वो वंस अ मंथ इट इज वेरी हार्ड, राइट? एक कोर टीम का भी मीटअप, मतलब कितना कोऑर्डिनेशन लगा, राइट? एंड वी आर स्टिल ट्राइंग टू फाइंड आवर फीट इन दैट। सो मुझे
तो
ऐसा लग रहा है
इसीलिए
कि वो
that
बहुत
I'm not
कॉम्प्लिकेट।
keeping as an option for like, मैं किसी को बोल नहीं रही हूँ कि करो करो types. I'm like, मुझे जितना होगा I'll do it, or if someone is interested, I'm very much open to accommodate or make it like a collective or a group effort or a
हम्म
team effort. But I'm not, मैं मेरे से जितना होता है उतना ही मैं सोच रही हूँ कि like just doing it like as a value addition for even the other members. जस्ट तो जिसने बुक भी नहीं पढ़ा है ना, दे विल ऑल्सो हैव अ गुड टेक अवे फ्रॉम दैट, एंड दे
बट
विल नो
उसमें
द
भी वो
जिस्ट ऑफ
कितने
द बुक.
आते हैं, वो कितने, मेरे को नहीं लगता है कि ज्यादा लोग ज्वाइन करते हैं, बिकॉज वो उनके चक्कर में, you know I know it's a good thing, and maybe once a month या once in 2 months wala thing might work, maybe for that kind of year. But I think what I was suggesting was maybe that is, we don't call it master class, but it could be just focusing on the practicality, right? The
Yeah, that we
implementation
can do
of,
an implementation focus session, the kind of something
and
we
on
can
any
do.
books, right? Any
Yeah,
books
that
that
we can do.
they that
That we can do
Hmm.
as a practice for all books like that, like this,
Yeah.
which require
So,
implementation. Not all books do need that kind of a session. Some are just worth reading, but yeah, that we can do for every book. In yeah, that I agree. That we can do in our regular time only. like a 1 day session or
Ah,
a 2 day session in this. That,
maybe
yeah,
like, yeah, it
that's
could go for 2 days. Yeah, and maybe as an extension of the discussion only. We always have discussion when we end a book, right? Like a dedicated discussion. But maybe like have it more structured around implement, which we are already doing, but all form like halka sa formalize way. Again, not in the sense of कि अरे complicate करो, but focus on that basically. The focus shifts on more of the practical aspects, and maybe uh, bringing about some activities, that will
yeah,
help
yeah.
keep some dialogue engagement in the group based on those activities. It could be something
Yeah,
of
and
that
even
sort.
we
And
will not know unless we do it practically. And again, as the reading, timing, and everything has evolved, right? So far, similarly, that will also evolve when we do repetitions, when we do like a few times with few master classes. So we'll have to start with something, and then eventually it will evolve. So basically,
yeah,
the idea is to take the book deeper, right? So that it connects more with our life and helps us better whatever we learn
right,
from that book. So let's see how
exactly.
we can do it and get creative with it. And as as we just mentioned before, 1 घंटा हो गया.
हाँ,
So I
वो
think वो
मैंने भी
अपना
रियलाइज
fear
किया.
या concern हमने manifest कर दिया.
इट्स
So
ओके,
I don't
इट्स
know.
ओके. वो
It's
मेरे को
okay.
भी
Yeah.
था, मेरे को एक्चुअली यही था कि मेरे गले को रेस्ट देना है, बट मैं भी, और मैं इट्स नॉट यू,
It's
राइट? लाइक
okay.
आई ऑल्सो
I think we
कंटिन्यूड.
were also talking after a long time ना, like
हाँ,
इसलिए
एंड
कभी
यू,
कभी ऐसे भी हो जाता है जब काफी दिन
हाँ, एंड
बाद
यू
बात
सेड
करते हैं तो
सेवरल
काफी कुछ.
टाइम्स. यू रिमाइंडेड सेवरल टाइम्स कि ओके, हाँ चलो रखते हैं नहीं वो, बट आई ऑल्सो कंटिन्यूड, राइट? सो
No, it's
इट्स
okay.
ओके.
I'm okay as far as like I just have to take my daughter for the swimming, but yeah, it's we still have time. So yeah, वो हो जाएगा. But yeah, that's what I'm no, I'm concerned. मुझे ना थोड़ा guilt आ जाता है actually. मुझे से कि
हाँ,
अरे
नहीं नहीं,
यार
इट्स
I'm
ओके.
not managing
नहीं नहीं, और
time well.
मैं,
ऐसे वाला
आई
हो जाता है
वॉज,
मेरे से.
no, but I was still doing few things. I saw few of my more plants. I was like, okay, इनको भी कर देती हूँ. तो मैं साथ साथ कर रही थी वो भी while I was talking to you. So it's, and मैं थोड़ा सा शाम में आके मैं सो गई थी थोड़ी देर, because again I was like still not up to the mark, and मैं tired हो गई थी आज ऑफिस में भी. And कल भी जाना है, परसों भी जाना है मुझे. So I'm like preparing myself. So I was like थोड़ा सा nap मैंने ले लिया था. तो at least I'm not like totally
Yeah, it's good that at
tired.
least you're not drained after this conversation. Like I'm so
नहीं नहीं
grateful.
नहीं, एंड हमारा कन्वर्सेशन तो ड्रेनिंग नहीं होता है. कभी कभी अगर हम मतलब रेस्टेड नहीं हो, देन ये गोइंग ओवर टाइम थोड़ा हो जाता है, बट अभी ठीक है. मैं ये जस्ट स्लाइड कंप्लीट करूंगी, बिकॉज दैट आई कांट मल्टीटास्क. बट
Yeah.
आई विल जस्ट कंप्लीट दैट एंड सेंड दैट, एंड देन आई विल गो टू स्लीप. आई विल अनवाइंड.
Okay,
या,
okay. Yeah.
नो, बट
Chalo,
दिस
it
वाज
was
गुड
good
डिस्कशन,
connecting
एंड
with
वील,
you.
यस
Yeah, a
यस
lot of
यस,
things were
सेम हियर.
discussed now. Let's see how we can take them forward now. Like, yeah. Okay.
Yes, and
Chalo,
also thank you.
now
I messaged you. I messaged you before this reading because I saw your message only this evening about the Louis
okay,
Hay
I
का
haven't
book का
checked
reminder.
maybe.
So I will look into that also. हाँ, मैं actually आज सोने के पहले वो करती हूँ. मेरे बेड साइड पे ही वो बुक पड़ी हुई है, क्योंकि जब भी
अच्छा वो यू
कभी
कैन
मुझे,
हील वाला, हाँ. नहीं बट आई थिंक नाउ यू
हाँ,
फीलिंग बेटर ना, और वो शायद से आप बोल रहे थे ना वैसे इट्स बिकॉज ऑफ द
in
एनवायरनमेंट
general
एंड
वो
ऑल ऑफ दैट,
एलर्जी
बट
सीजन
स्टिल
है.
दैट
हाँ
चेकिंग, क्रॉस चेकिंग विल
हाँ.
गिव यू बेटर इंसाइट इनटू इट आल्सो.
नहीं, और
या.
मेरे को याद है कि मैंने पहले भी ये चेक किया था, बिकॉज एलर्जी मुझे होता ही रहता है. वो थ्रोट का जब होता है तो कुछ तो था उससे रिलेटेड कि क्या है, लाइक हीलिंग का समथिंग. सो आई विल चेक
पर्सनली
दैट अगेन. आई हैव फॉरगॉट.
Personally, for me and my loved ones and many people, like even sometimes clients and all, I have found it matching quite well, like many a
हाँ
times.
हाँ, मी टू.
So not
आई
maybe I
हैव,
would say 99 out of 100 times it does connect somewhere if you are able to tap in properly. So इसलिए I do recommend किसी को भी ना जब कुछ
हाँ,
कुछ होता है तो I just
नहीं वो
mention
मैंने भी
is
एक्चुअली
there
पास्ट में बहुत
something
किया
कि
है.
बैकग्राउंड में कुछ चल रहा है, कभी कुछ वर्क प्लेस पे या कभी कुछ घर में या कभी back of our mind something is going on, and then that just helps just unwind it. Yeah.
यस, आई थिंक वो मैं भी ये पहले करती थी. एक्चुअली काफी बार मैंने उसको रेफर किया है व्हेन आई हैड लाइक सो मच ऑफ स्पेशली हीलिंग रिलेटेड भी ये. बट अभी ये एलर्जी था ना, तो होता है ना ऐसे, हाँ ठीक है एलर्जी का ये तो मैंने दिमाग में भी इतना है नहीं. एंड दूसरी बात ये है कि last year because when I fell sick, उसके बाद I have noticed कि वो immunity मेरी थोड़ी ये है, but I know it will take time and it is getting better definitely than what it was even earlier this year से I comparing it would be better, but it is also I think I get tired also because अभी office जाना होता है, सब है ना, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, and there are certain activities that I am doing right कि हाँ ठीक है यार योगा and भले ही मैं आधा घंटा ही करूँ. So I like that also from the savers concept that he shared, and afterwards also like how he's saying that how much time you do it for is up to you, right? But main बात है वो showing up, and ये तो Atomic Habits में भी था. So all of these are powerful reminders. So it's all working out greatly. But ये Louis Hay का भी what you mentioned, I was like, no, this is coming my way because I need to, I had to be reminded about it because मैं वो पहले इतना रेफर करती थी एंड अभी मैंने किया नहीं है. लास्ट आई थिंक 6 महीने से नहीं देखा होगा मैंने, वो चार्ट नहीं देखा या व्हाटएवर,
नहीं,
बट आई
मुझे ऐसे
विल.
बहुत इंट्यूटिवली बहुत अंदर से लगा मुझे कि आई डोंट नो, आई वाज हेसिटेंट बट देन आई थॉट लेट मी जस्ट शेयर विथ यू. लाइक मैं ना
नहीं,
व्हाट
दैट
आई
इज
डू इज
वेरी नाइस.
समटाइम्स when something happens like this ना for with me or like someone, so I just check. तो वो ऐसे जैसे हम कभी ऐसे रहते हैं ना, वो मंथली 3 monthly क्वार्टरली 6 monthly we just take our reports like a health check kind of a thing. So you just check, अच्छे आए कुछ नॉर्मल है तो इट्स गुड राइट, नथिंग इज रेजोनेटिंग, इट्स गुड. बट समटाइम इट डज राइट एंड देन दैट बिकम्स दैट alarming thing for us. Okay, this is something I need to work on. That's a good like knowledge to have. So I just go check it. If it is relating, it's good. If it's not relating, I leave it. जैसे हॉरोस्कोप का वगैरह भी हम लोग
हाँ
कभी कभी कैसे डेली हॉरोस्कोप वगैरह आते हैं न्यूज़पेपर्स में या ऐसे कभी. मुझे तो आदत नहीं है, लेकिन नॉर्मली कभी कभी पढ़ भी लिया तो हम लोग ऐसा पूरा 100% ऐसे नहीं रहते कि ऐसे ही होगा. बट हो गया तो वी आर अवेयर ऑफ इट, नहीं हुआ तो भी इट्स ओके, लाइक काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग लाइक टाइप्स. सो आई लाइक टू
या
रेफर, सो आई जस्ट मेंशन कि just check once. If it is relating, then you'll get a good affirmation or something to follow through. If not, leave it, like it's okay, right? Not a problem.
या नहीं नहीं यार, वही मैंने बोला ना, इट इज कमिंग माय वे बिकॉज इट आई नीडेड इट probably because that's exactly how I have used it in the past too, like not completely relying on it, but it is supplemental information and it has come out to be very
So
accurate for
many
a lot
times
of
now what
things.
I understand is most of the time what happens with like we are suppressing कुछ तो ऐसे रहता है where we are suppressing in, and that is why it is resulting into some physical disease as such. I mean not disease, I mean
हाँ
dis-ease. I'm just breaking that word, dis-ease.
हाँ,
So it's like
disease, yeah
any
yeah.
dis-ease, like any uneasiness that we're experiencing is because of something that we are suppressing, maybe somewhere. I don't know, maybe something. कभी कभी ऐसे भी मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया है कि अभी का नहीं रहेगा, लेकिन पहले का कभी
हाँ
कुछ हम लोग सप्रेस करते आए हैं, तो वो कुछ ऐसे दिनों बाद महीनों बाद इट जस्ट
हाँ
surfaces. So that
या
also could
नहीं,
be a
और मेरा तो
possibility. So
खैर
this is
वो
like an
इसमें तो अलग ही चल रहा है ना, मेरा तो वो पास्ट लाइफ का भी है, आई नो बहुत डीप
हाँ, तो
रूटेड
वो भी
भी है.
होगा. यस, सो यू डूइंग
लेकिन वो
पास्ट लाइफ
आई
रिग्रेशन.
डोंट थिंक वो मतलब ये एलर्जीज वाला तो नहीं, उससे आई डोंट थिंक उतना कनेक्शन है, बिकॉज दिस इज लाइक अ सीजनल थिंग. देखिए मुझे हर साल थोड़ा
But
होता है
but
इस
if you're
मौसम में.
doing it, like if you're doing a past life therapy or with someone, just check with that person, na. Like you just mention
हाँ
this.
आई विल
कि ये
आस्क,
भी
हाँ
हो
आई
रहा
विल
है
आस्क.
मुझे. So if maybe you just want to go check, it will help. You
या
can see your past life, like you can see visions. Just
अब
curious.
नहीं नहीं, ऐसे नहीं विजन्स
I
ऐसे
was
मुझे नहीं
actually
आए, बट
looking for something आकाशिक का बीच में मैं थोड़ा
मुझे
देख रही थी.
आकाशिक रिकॉर्ड्स का देखना है, मुझे भी वो
बट
मैंने
somehow
नहीं
मुझे
किया है.
कुछ दिखा नहीं. आई वाज लाइक
नहीं, और
छोड़ो यार.
मैंने तो बस वो एक बार पास्ट लाइफ रिग्रेशन का एक वो जो वो वॉक थ्रू होता है, राइट, आई हैड टोल्ड यू अबाउट इट. वो मेरी हीलर ने, शी मेंटली टॉक्ड टू मी, राइट, एंड काइंड ऑफ लाइक वो हिप्नोसिस जैसे वो यूज होते हैं, बट आई वाज अवेयर. बट शी वॉक्स यू थ्रू scenarios, right, and okay, you are going here, okay, what do you see? So that I was able to do, but it was more of a visualization activity, the way I could relate to it. And I don't know if that is what my past life में मतलब जो हुआ था वो मैं ऐसे for sure ऐसे नहीं बोल सकती हूँ, but it was still a very profound experience. I had told you, right? I got some very good key takeaways from it, and it helped me. I mean, मेरे को जो ये वो body pains और वो सब हो रहा था ना, like after that वो निकल गया, मतलब वो release हो गया. And I am doing my daily activities जो भी मैं अपने healing के लिए simple, right? मैं रोज सॉल्ट वाला बाथ भी लेती हूँ. सॉल्ट अपने मतलब बॉडी पे नहाने के बाद एक बार सॉल्ट स्क्रब करती हूँ, and then I release. And I think I shared in one of the group reading sessions also this one time that this was probably for the previous books, I don't know which one, but the daily ritual about healing, and I think power of intention में he was talking about it. So उसमें मैंने share किया था कि one shift that has happened in me. पहले मैं ये salt का scrub, एक तो मैं बहुत ऐसे नहीं था कि मैं everyday कर रही हूँ. अभी मेरा एक आध दिन ही कभी छूटता होगा, once in 10 days, but mostly every day I do it. And पहले जब मैं करती थी ना, तो I was like, I want to get rid of all this negativity, all the negative energy out of my body, and as if they are not needed. But the truth is that they actually guided me, right? Me getting rid of them. And ये लुई है भी बोलती है, उसका एक मेडिटेशन मैं बहुत बार, मतलब अभी तो मैंने बहुत टाइम से नहीं सुना, बट वो पहले बोलती थी एक ये उसका मॉर्निंग मेडिटेशन कि प्लीज डोंट फील लाइक गेटिंग रिड ऑफ योर डिसीजेस. That is not the way to deal with these problems. Like that's not how healing comes, right? And उसके words वो बहुत profound and powerful है. So I think finally I could tap into that. And you need to, I think some level of healing has to happen for you to even realize कि हाँ नहीं यार, ये negative चीजें भी जो आ रही है ना, but फिर मेरा dialogue बदल गया, मेरा उनके प्रति नजरिया भी बदल गया, because I was like, it's great, you all of this, and I name them. I'm like anger, frustration, procrastination, indecisiveness, irritation, right? Not wanting to listen, or whatever, right? All of these negative tendencies, laziness, all of this. I understand all of these negative energies, and I really thank you for showing me where I need to work. And but it's time for me to lovingly release you all. And the moment I started doing this, and whenever I do this, it changes the energy in my system. So it works. It definitely works. It's just that you have to be consistent with this also. It's not easy, right? It's not a one day thing. And I've been doing it for months now. So I can see the results, working out that way. So that's the other thing also. The so-called negative or the bad, we tag all of these things, but they are all valid emotions, right? All of these are valid energies also. So it's okay. They will take their time, and they are very deep rooted also, a lot of it, for reasons we don't understand. But yeah, I have not been able to completely have visions about my past life and all of that, but Akashic records and all of that, I am interested. I think it will come to me eventually, when the time is right. Right now, I'm just slowly learning astrology, and through that I do get insights, but I've not been able to practice a lot because of my hectic schedule. So I have to spend some time on your chart also, because last time we did talk, but I have not been able to look at a lot of those. I have the questions also here at
It's
my
okay,
desk.
it's
I had
okay.
written your
Just take
questions,
your time.
but it will take me some time, because as I'm learning more now, I also realize that this is so deep, and it is a like बहुत ऐसे वो शुरू में वो again वो थोड़ा chaotic web की तरह feel आता है कि अरे ये क्या है, ये नहीं समझ आ रहा है. And I'm like, it's okay. I think I need time with this. I need to spend more time in understanding this, because few things वो concept समझ में आ रहे हैं, but it's not jiving with my intuition. So I am like, okay, that means I need to give this time. So right now I'm just focusing on, okay, writing down the notes, या जो भी है, जो भी मुझे लग रहा है लिखना है, मैं वैसे करके और आराम से सीप इन करने दे रही हूँ, because you can't rush this, right? That is one thing I know about any energy field.
Yeah, and it will come. It will come to me also at the right time. It's okay. I'm okay with it. There is no
हाँ
rush
नहीं, और
around it.
ऐसे नहीं है कि मतलब ये, इट्स जस्ट दैट कि मुझे भी, आई वांट टू हैव, लाइक, you have to be in that good meditative state also, right? To be able to, when I am myself like trying to learn so much, and of course, some of your questions are related to things that I have not looked into yet, right? Like ये सब मुझे अभी आता नहीं है देखना, right? कि okay, kids का या जो भी है, right? कि okay, बच्चा होने की संभावना and all of that. These are all और भी मतलब थोड़े deeper topics होते हैं. But work wise and wo sab, I can see and that I will take some time, but I'm working on it. So what I wanted to tell you was I have not ignored your request and it is there at my desk also, like here, मेरे
It's
home
okay. Take
office में.
your time. कोई जल्दी
हाँ,
नहीं
but
है मेरे लिए, and
I
I'm
will
not
take
like
time.
desperate
हाँ,
around knowing these things or anything. It's okay.
हाँ, exactly.
I'm very casual about it, so it's okay.
I
Take your
know,
time.
नहीं
Not a
इसीलिए मैं
problem.
वो अलग से तो I was not messaging you, but since we are talking, I was like at least let me tell you कि मैं आराम से, और मुझे help भी करेगा because you trusting me with your charts and telling me about certain questions you had, that itself is a huge thing, right? I'm like, okay, see, I am learning something already. मेरे पास आराम से मतलब 7-8 लोग हैं जिन्होंने like
In
ऐसे
fact, I
एकदम
would
easily.
say someone was telling me the other day, I don't remember whom, but someone was telling me that, oh, this horoscope thing has gone so big now. Like, there are these international people who are charging high. There are IPL ads on that and things like that. And I just remembered of you. I was like, हाँ
uh,
रीचा अभी इसमें आ रही है, लेकिन someone was telling me like internationally also ना horoscope people have started looking for and believing and things like that.
mhm.
I'm like, okay,
हाँ,
maybe it's a second career or something for you, you never know. And I was like just thinking, and in fact, अगर ऐसे कुछ हो गया ना तो हम लोग ऐसे कोलैब कर लेंगे कि आगे जाके
हाँ,
पता नहीं, maybe I'll just give you the charts of all whatever clients or whomever I want to work deeper with or things like that, and we can take
yeah,
help of one another for that. So you never know,
of course, yeah,
we may
you
have
never नहीं,
some
but इतना मुझे see this
monetary
also अभी
this
एक
thing also
reason से
together.
it is coming from you, right? Like it is giving me थोड़ा सा ऐसे, एक होता है ना कभी कभी हमें थोड़ा सा एक external motivation भी not that जरूरत होती है, but एक अच्छा होता है, it's a good to have kind of a thing. So and मैं अपना जितना पढ़ रही हूँ ना, इतना I can tell you जितना मैंने अपना चार्ट एनालाइज किया है, एंड देयर वाज अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स जो मतलब चैलेंजिंग या ट्रांसफॉर्मेशनल और ऐसे सब भी दिखता है मेरे इसमें, राइट? बट वो काफी कुछ मतलब वही 8th हाउस रिलेटेड है एंड व्हाट नॉट. सो अभी मैं मेरा ये देख के ना, जो मेरा चार्ट एनालिसिस और डीपर जो भी मुझे और समझ में भी आया है ना, मेरा मतलब वो भाग्य भी ज्यादा उज्जवल मतलब इसी से होगा. एंड मेरे में लिखा है वो भी, मतलब अगेन ये चार्ट्स के कुछ कॉम्बिनेशन है इस सब से कि वेरी हाई प्रोबेबिलिटीज की, हाँ इस लाइक आई विल वर्क ऑन दिस. मुझे करियर और ये सब का नहीं पता, बट एंड अगेन मैं फाइनेंशियल टर्म्स में नहीं बोल रही हूँ उतना ज्यादा जितना, क्योंकि मेरा इंटरेस्ट इसमें वो फाइनेंशियल इससे भी ज्यादा मतलब ये है कि ओके टू हेल्प people, right? And
Yeah, it is a
right way
spiritual
में.
thing. Now, many people just do it. Like I know people who
Hmm.
don't like accept even money for this. Like even if you
हाँ,
offer them, they will be like, no, we don't, and you just give us. If you want to, you can give us something
वो
in
एक
kind,
टोकन,
but
हाँ
don't.
एनर्जी,
हाँ
हाँ एनर्जी
हाँ
एक्सचेंज के लिए थोड़ा बहुत. हाँ
because they
लेकिन वो अभी
believe
वो
उनकी विद्या कुछ मतलब पता नहीं ऐसे भी रहते हैं लोग. लेकिन some
नहीं, वो
people
क्यों,
just
बिकॉज कुछ
chant.
लोग वो पूरा नहीं फुल फ्लेश भी नहीं करे, बट एंड अगेन इसमें कोई राइट और रॉन्ग नहीं है, एंड आई विल ऑल्सो लेट दिस इवॉल्व. आई डोंट नो, मेरे को इतने आगे का अभी तक विजन नहीं पता है, मुझे वो सब मुझे भी नहीं पता, बट इतना मेरा फॉर श्योर दिख रहा है मुझे मेरे हॉरोस्कोप में कि आई एम गोइंग टू बी हेविली इन्वॉल्व्ड इन दिस फील्ड
Wow, that's great.
रिलेटेड टू लाइक 8th हाउस, लाइक हीलिंग हो और ये एस्ट्रोलॉजी, क्योंकि अब इसने खुद बुलाया मुझे भाई, लाइक ऐसे नहीं है
And
कि
they
मैं
they
गई.
connect also, na? Your dots are also connecting, right? Like with all your life
हाँ,
experiences and
या
all the things, the way you have evolved also, it's well connecting with all of this, right?
वो
When you
हो
go
रहा है
through
वही.
something, you know, right? Like how it feels, why it's important, and all of that realizations do come, and that belief and something is. So it's like the ground is setting, is built. So yeah, you are able to connect it all together very well, I feel.
हाँ नहीं वो तो है, दैट इज वेरी वेरी ट्रू, बिकॉज इट हैज हेल्प्ड मी विद माय लाइक अंडरस्टैंडिंग माई सेल्फ, दैट्स द फर्स्ट थिंग. एंड मुझे भी जो करना भी है ना एस्ट्रोलॉजी में, मेरा फोकस मेनली, मुझे ये प्रेडिक्शंस और इस सब से ज्यादा of course the predictions and all of that is also good, but उससे ज्यादा मतलब and जिसमें मैं अच्छी हूँ, like जिसमें अच्छी हूँ मतलब जिसमें अभी मैंने at least some hold I have gotten is looking at the chart like, okay, what are my strengths and weaknesses, right? And how can I get better? Like, and वो किसी की भी लाइफ हम थोड़ा मतलब बेटर कर सकते हैं बाय नोइंग कि अरे हाँ ये एरियाज में यार मेरे को इतना एफर्ट नहीं डालना है, ये एरियाज पे फोकस करना है। सो उतना भी पता चल जाएगा ना, तो वी विल स्किप दैट टू मच लाइक अननेसेसरी जो स्ट्रगल भी होता है ना कभी कभी, वी लाइक वो स्पाइरल्स में जब हम अटकते हैं। तो एटलीस्ट दैट वी कैन अवॉइड, राइट? एंड मन मन को मतलब मैं ये नहीं बोल रही हूँ, सी व्हाट इज जो हमारे भाग्य में लिखा है और जो हमें करना है, भुगतना है, वॉट एवर को जो कर्म काटने हैं वो होगा, राइट? वो नहीं टाल सकते हैं हम। बट वॉट आई एम सेइंग इज अपने मन को आप कर सकते हो स्ट्रॉन्ग, राइट? आप अपने मन को भी ये कर सकते हो कि अरे हाँ मैं ये चीजों में मैं उतनी अच्छी नहीं हूँ, बट मैं यू नो नोइंग दैट एटलीस्ट यू कैन put those efforts, and like you rightly shared yesterday, I think it was, right? वो जो टोनी रॉबिन्स का भी जो एफर्मेशन है, every day, what was it? Every day I'm getting better,
Every
I'm
day,
becoming
every
better.
way, I am becoming better and better.
हाँ, I'm राइट। सो आई मेरे पास ना इसका एक दूसरा वर्जन है, मेरे एक्चुअली क्यूब में मैंने ये टांगा हुआ है, मुझे कहीं पे तो मिला था, ये छोटू सा ऐसे बैनर था फेल्ट का बना हुआ, एंड आई उसमें लिखा है कि क्या है, मैं एग्जैक्ट वर्ड, मैं कल फोटो लूंगी, मैं ऑफिस जा रही हूँ ना तो आई विल शेयर विद यू, बट आई थिंक उसका क्रक्स ये है कि एवरी डे I make some contribution. Every day I make a change or whatever, you know, something on those lines. I make it count or something of that sort. मेरे को वो exact words नहीं याद आ रहे हैं, but it is very powerful. And it helps me again, you know, focus on the good things, right? That I can do. So all of these, right, like what you shared, the different affirmations जो हम ये करते हैं, मैं जो मतलब मैं नवंबर से जो कर रही हूँ, the way it has opened up, the abundant options, the universe has opened, इट्स अमेजिंग, इट्स कमेंडेबल। सो अब मुझे वो मतलब कहीं बैठ के वो एक ऐसे रिचुअल भी ऐसे नहीं करना पड़ता है कि अरे बैठ के हाँ आज ये मतलब जस्ट एक रिचुअल की तरह बस कर लो। मुझे जब याद आता है मैं वो एफर्मेशंस बोलती हूँ, विच इज ग्रेट, राइट? इट्स जस्ट सो अमेजिंग एंड इट हार्डली टेक्स अ मिनट, and it doesn't seem like work, just like how you were saying for certain things, right? So I think these are all very powerful practices and they do shift energy. And again, with the horoscope ka ye na, you can also figure out अच्छा हाँ what are the kind of things that will work, because किसी के लिए शायद एक डेली रूटीन मैंने like I think I had told you, right? Your chart I could figure out, that is the first insight I got, that you know you should not be too stringent about your daily routine, because वो एक मतलब you have to be flexible because of how your planet placement is for that particular house. तो
Yeah, I could
हर
relate
एक को
with
मतलब
that a lot. Yeah,
हाँ
I am
exactly.
that way only.
And see
Yeah.
that, and now I already knew that. So, you know, whenever you are sharing in this book reading also that, yeah, you're finding this simple, you will resonate with these kind of books, which are suggesting very simple things, right? And not in a very, again, very do this checklist point of view se nahi hai, right? So, especially for you, it will work out better. That, okay, you just take whatever works and maybe just a minute of it or whatever. And again, don't try to make it कि अरे हाँ मेरे को ये 7 to 8 ये करना ही है, because that will not work for you. So मैं इन चीजों पे फोकस, मैं सीखने का ज्यादा फोकस भी कर रही हूँ, एंड ये चीजें मुझे नेचुरली आ रही हैं, ये हॉरोस्कोप देख के भी ना आई एम एबल टू
And
फोकस
जैसे
ऑन
वो सबका एक ऐसे रहता है ना, एक एक्सपर्टीज रहता है, like
निश,
niche रहता है.
हाँ निश,
You will also
एग्जैक्टली या
discover yours in this, I feel. So maybe you'll be able to guide about a particular thing very strongly. Like I think I shared with you, I don't remember, but there is this one podcast of one of my neighbor only. Like she was my old neighbor, and she is now into all of this. And now I we just recently happened to see one of her podcasts where she says that whenever some patrika or something comes in front of me, the first thing or immediately I can just spot the date of their death वो बस आ जाता है
हाँ,
करके.
you had mentioned, हाँ.
So you never know. So basically, she is specialized in energy healing and energy cleansing.
हाँ.
So she helps
Hmm.
people with that. So you never know, na. You might help people with something specific because that is something that
हाँ.
just comes to you very, very strongly. So you never
नहीं,
know.
और वो मेरा भी वो चार्ट के हिसाब से एक और क्या है कि एज आई एज, बिकॉज ये लग्न से भी थोड़ा पता चलता है, लग्न पत्रिका से ही, मतलब हमारे ये हॉरोस्कोप से ही, कि जो मेरा लग्न है वो तो एक है, बट as my life progresses, because we are always trying to achieve balance on that axis, so मेरे opposite में जो साइन है ना लग्न के, तो मेरा जैसे yours also is mean, right, मेरा भी मीन लग्न है, तो ऑपोजिट में क्या है, वो 6 है, कन्या, कन्या राशि. सो वी वांट टू हेल्प पीपल, राइट, या ऑटोमेटिकली एज वी आर ग्रोइंग ओल्डर एंड वी लर्न, वी ऑटोमेटिकली हमें आता है. मुझे ये कोई मतलब बाहर से सीखे हुए या नहीं, मेरे को अंदर से आता है. बहुत फॉर द लॉन्गेस्ट टाइम आता था, बट पहले मैं खुद की हेल्प तो कर लूं, राइट, मेरा वैसे भी था, मैं पहले करने भी जाती थी एक्चुअली एट द एज ऑफ इवन 20, 25, ऑल ऑफ दोज एजेस ऑल्सो आई हैव ट्राइड, बट मैं रेगुलरली नहीं कर सकती थी. सो मैं फाइनेंशियली हेल्प करती हूँ, बट ये जा जाके हेल्प करना ये वो, बिकॉज मेरा खुद का भी लाइक हीलिंग इज इन प्रोग्रेस, राइट. आई वॉज, मैं अपने कुछ कुछ चीजों से गुजर रही थी, बट नाउ आई थिंक, नाउ नोइंग एनफ कि हाँ मैं इतने ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन से जो गई हूँ एंड हाउ इट हैज हेल्प मी, आई हैव बेटर क्लैरिटी ऑफ थॉट. एंड नाउ ये कन्या राशि पर अगर करें ना, तो एक और क्या होता है कि दे आर वेरी एनालिटिकल एंड दे आर एबल टू फोकस, कि अच्छा हाँ ये क्या कर सकते हैं, ये कैसे कर सकते हैं. दे आर एबल टू स्पॉट द इश्यूज ऑल्सो, राइट. इट नॉट नेसेसरली कि अरे कमियां निकालना, लाइक दैट कैन बी वन पर्सपेक्टिव, बट आई डोंट थिंक आई डू दैट. आई डोंट फोकस ऑन कि अरे मैं लोगों में कमियां निकालूं. बट इफ समवन इज कमिंग टू मी, दैट जनरली कोई आपके पास प्रॉब्लम के वजह से ही आएगा ना, तो इट्स वेरी इजी देन फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड, कि सुन के ही बस उनका कि अरे ये बोल रहे, उनके पास ही आंसर होता है. एक्चुअली इवन हॉरोस्कोप रीडिंग में भी ऐसे बहुत बार होगा कि दे आर एक्चुअली टेलिंग यू यू नो क्या है, problem. You just give them like a better way of understanding it and whatnot also. So uh, that also works. So this is also something I learned, right? So mera wo progression I can see towards that Kanya Rashi, like how I'm trying to achieve that balance, कि हाँ मीन राशि के अपना spirituality और fun loving और easy going and all of that है, वो तो मेरा inbuilt है, but देर इज ऑल्सो दिस अर्ज, राइट, जो मुझे अंदर से रहता है कि हाँ नहीं नहीं मुझे ये करना है, मुझे वो भी करना है, ऐसे करना है, मुझे हेल्प करना है, आई वॉन्ट टू मेक दिस अ बेटर प्लेस एंड वॉट नॉट, राइट. एंड एनालिटिकल जो थिंकिंग, एंड ऑफकोर्स वो मेरे प्रोफेशन से भी मेरा वर्क हुआ है, सो आई कैन सी दैट वो वॉट आई एम सेट टू डू वो मैं कर ही रही हूँ, राइट. लाइक उसमें मैं चाहे जो भी फील्ड में, एंड इवन मेरा जो प्रोफेशन वैसे भी देख लो, सो गुड थिंग इज कि मेरा जो मैं भले ही आईटी में हूँ, बट डेटा क्वालिटी एनालिस्ट हूँ, बट मैं कौन सी कंपनी में हूँ, मतलब स्टेट के लिए काम कर रही हूँ, वो भी एक तो मेरे चार्ट में क्लियर है कि गवर्नमेंट का बहुत मतलब ये रहेगा, गवर्नमेंट जॉब. एंड दूसरा है कि फील्ड वाइज भी ना, आई टोल्ड यू राइट कि मेरा वो 8th हाउस रिलेटेड बहुत आता है, तो ऑफकोर्स ज्योतिष और इस सब में भी मैं अभी इन्वॉल्व हो ही रही हूँ, इसमें मेरा ज्यादा रहेगा झुकाव. But the other aspects of it, क्या है, pension, insurance, and my agency specializes in that. So for 10 years, I've been working in this field, which is pension fund and insurance, health insurance for people, right? All of this is research oriented, very deep data analytics, और ये सब भी ना ये 8th हाउस में ही आता है. So I'm so tied to all of this, right? तो मेरा वो लिखा था और मैं उस तरफ देखो आई ही हूँ, एंड कैसे naturally like मैंने गवर्नमेंट और उसमें ऐसा रोल, and it came my way. How? That only the universe knows, right? The energy, how they work. But it was all destined that way. And दूर भी
Yeah.
जाना लिखा था कि इंडिया से दूर. So ये सब, see, like you said, like ये joining the dots. It's very powerful how horoscope can help it. So
Maybe
अपने
now
इसके
is
through,
the right time because now you're matured enough to understand all of this. Like
हाँ
अभी
हाँ
कुछ जब
ये तो
पहले
मुझे
आता
पता
तो वो
है.
शायद आप समझ भी
हाँ
नहीं पाते थे ये सब चीजें like daily.
हाँ, तो मुझे एक ना पहला
We need
थॉट
to
आया
be
था जब
ready
मुझे
ना,
मेरी
like for
रीडिंग
things
मिली.
to come to us.
हाँ
Yeah.
करेक्ट, एग्जैक्टली. नहीं तो मुझे जब दिसंबर में मेरी रीडिंग हुई थी, एंड आई वाज लाइक यार ये तो इतना ऑन पॉइंट कैसे है, मुझे नहीं पता था एस्ट्रोलॉजी कैन बी सो एक्यूरेट एंड ये वो. एंड देन आई वाज लाइक मैं इसमें इंटरेस्टेड हो रही हूँ तो मैं और पढ़ रही हूँ एंड मैं पहले सोच रही थी यार ये पहले मुझे क्यों नहीं पता था, बट देन आई वाज लाइक एंड एज आई कुड सी राइट, मुझे ऑटोमेटिकली कुछ चीजें इंट्यूशन से आ रही थी एंड देन आई फाउंड बिकॉज देयर इज सो मच क्रैप अवेलेबल। मेरी फ्रेंड, दूसरी एक और फ्रेंड भी है जो खुद, उसका बहुत मतलब हेल्थ इश्यूज बहुत ज्यादा चल रहे हैं लास्ट 1 साल से उसके भी, एंड उसको भी कुछ ना कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स, और ये वो भी खुद ये थोड़ा सा अपना मतलब चार्ट समझने का, मैंने उसको बोला भी था, रिमाइंड करा था कि तू देख ले थोड़ा किसी एस्ट्रोलॉजर से रेफर कर ले, बिकॉज आई डिड नॉट ऑफर कि मैं करती हूँ बिकॉज मैं कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं थी, और वो थोड़ी सी मतलब रिजर्व्ड है इन सब चीजों में कि ओके किसको क्या बताना है। सो आई वाज लाइक यू शो इट टू सम, बिकॉज एंड इफ समवन इज गोइंग थ्रू वेरी बहुत पीड़ित अवस्था में है, तो मैं आई वुड सजेस्ट कि हाँ तुम अपने, एंड उसके फैमिली एस्ट्रोलॉजर वगैरह भी हैं राइट। सो वो बोल रही थी हाँ उसको फिर पता चला उसकी 7.5 ही चल रही है, राहु का भी कुछ चल रहा है, ये वो वगैरह वगैरह। सो आई वाज लाइक ओके हाँ तो उसके वजह से होगा, बट वो जब अभी पढ़ रही है ना और वो मुझे बोलती रहती है कि अरे हाँ मैं ना मेरी प्रॉब्लम हो गई है, मैं रैंडम वीडियोस देख रही हूँ एंड ये वो, एंड शी इज लाइक मुझे ये सीखना नहीं है, ये तो बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, बट मुझे बस अपना समझना है कि अरे ये क्या हो रहा है, बट मैं डर भी जाती हूँ तो मुझे ज्यादा भी नहीं जानना है। सो सी आई कैन सी मैं भी थोड़ी सी पीड़ित अवस्था में ही इस सब में आई थी बिकॉज आई वॉज वर्किंग थ्रू हीलिंग एंड वॉट नॉट राइट, but because of my experiences, because of how I am able to maturely handle things, I am able to cut through the bullshit, राइट जो ये दूसरे वीडियोस और ये सब जो डराने वाले हैं, ये एस्ट्रोलॉजी को मतलब ये इन्होंने मजाक बना के रख दिया है कि ये सिर्फ वो मतलब वो प्रेडिक्शन और सब कुछ मतलब डराने वाली चीज है। 12th हाउस मतलब सब कुछ, जेल, आइसोलेशन, मेंटल असाइलम, ऐसे थोड़ी होता है ये तो मतलब ये क्या है, तुम बस एक दो एट्रीब्यूट्स ले रहे हो वो हाउस के एंड तुम डरा दे रहे हो। तो मुझे ये सब मतलब ये सब पे मैं ध्यान भी नहीं, और मैं देखती भी नहीं थी ये सब ज्यादा, एक आध कभी देखा भी होगा। एंड देन मैंने अपना जब नक्षत्र का समझने ट्राई किया और मैं उसमें देखा तो इतना मेरे नक्षत्र के लिए इतना नेगेटिव बहुत लोग बोल रहे हैं जस्ट बिकॉज of something, some symbol that nakshatra has, and I was like okay
What
clearly
is
these
your
people,
nakshatra?
मेरा वो अश्लेषा नक्षत्र है, सो वो नाग उसका सिंबल है, तो वो
वो
लोग
तो
क्या कर
अच्छा
रहे हैं पता
सुना
है,
है, लेकिन मैंने अश्लेषा तो अच्छा नक्षत्र रहता है ना।
नहीं बट वो बहुत लोग बहुत नेगेटिव बोलते हैं, वो लोग क्या बोलते हैं, ये लोग विषैले होते हैं, बिकॉज वो लोग किस पे जा रहे हैं, वो लोग अपने इंटरप्रिटेशन की ये सांप है नाग, लेकिन
But
नाग
even
देवता
Nag
है,
is a this thing of
देवता,
spirituality.
अरे और हाँ
Yeah.
वो देव है राइट, नाग को लोग पिलाते हैं दूध वगैरह और क्या क्या उनको
नहीं,
ये
it is
करते
it
हैं,
is a
पूजा
sign
करते
of
हैं।
spiritual. It is also a symbol of Kundalini, right? Like वो
एग्जैक्टली
कुंडलिनी का भी दिखाते
स्पिरिचुअलिटी
तभी
का
भी
बहुत
वही
है।
दिखाते हैं।
हाँ एंड हिस्ट्री में तुम देखो, ये मुझे बाद में पता चला कि लक्ष्मण, बलराम, ऑल ऑफ दीज ब्रदर्स ऑफ वेरी पावरफुल गॉड्स अवतार्स, दे वर ऑल अश्लेषा नक्षत्र।
Yeah, so
वो
there are a lot of
हमेशा बिकॉज इट्स अ राक्षस
misunderstanding.
गण, उसका जो गण है ना वो राक्षस गण में आता है, बट यू नीड एक देवता का किसी का गण होगा ना तो उसके साथ एक थोड़ा ये राक्षस वाले गण का, आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि दे आर राक्षस, एंड राक्षस तो एक्चुअली पहले रक्षक होता था, इसका गलत ये हो गया। राक्षस का जो रूट्स है वो है रक्षक, वो लोग एक लेवल बिलो थे देवताज के, बट फिर वो उनका रूप उन्होंने बहुत मतलब उनके साथ भी गलत सलत हुआ है राक्षसों के साथ राइट, समुद्र मंथन और इस सब में भी उनके साथ चीटिंग हुई है तो वो सो कॉल्ड गॉड्स ने भी बहुत चीटिंग की है उन लोग के साथ। सो बहुत सारी चीजें हैं राइट। सो लेकिन जब मैं देख रही मैं लोगों का बस ये सुन रही थी क्योंकि आई वॉज इंटरेस्टेड, अच्छा ये नक्षत्र के क्या ट्रेट्स हैं, और मैं देख रही हूँ वो लोग बोल रहे हैं दीज पीपल आर वेरी मैनिपुलेटिव, दे आर लाइक वो लोग विषैले होते हैं, वो सांप की तरह डस जाते हैं, एंड दे आर नॉट गुड लुकिंग, एंड आई वॉज लाइक ओके मैं कोई हूर परी नहीं हूँ, मैं हीरोइन मटेरियल नहीं हूँ, बट आई एम नॉट बैड लुकिंग आइदर राइट। सो दीज पीपल आर क्लियरली सो रॉन्ग अबाउट, एंड आई नो सो मेनी अदर पीपल ऑल्सो, लाइक मेरे ही सर्कल में मुझे 2-3 लोग पता चल गए जो अश्लेषा नक्षत्र है, एंड दे आर ऑल लाइक दे आर नॉट लाइक दिस। तो आई एम लाइक मैं एक एक्सेप्शन की तरह भी तो नहीं काउंट की जाऊंगी राइट, आई कैन सी अदर एंड सम ऑफ देम आर वेरी ब्यूटिफुल पीपल, लाइक वेरी
Yeah.
ब्यूटिफुल, वेरी गुड फीचर्स। एंड मैं इस सब पे जाती हूँ, मेरा इंट्यूशन क्या कहता है, देखो सांप को अगर आप देखोगे सबसे पहले उसको पता चलता है कोई दूर से कुछ भी आ रहा है, द इंट्यूशन इज सो हाई, एंड आई हैव दोस, आई मीन आई एम नॉट सेइंग मेरी सांप के जैसे हैं, बट आई हैव वेरी गुड इंट्यूटिव पावर्स, आई नो, एंड मुझे भगवान ने दी है, मैं ये नहीं बोल रही हूँ कि ये मैंने खुद कुछ कहीं से उजागर किया है, बट गॉड हैज गिफ्टेड मी विद इट राइट, आई एंड मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ सम पुण्य कर्म दैट आई माइट हैव डन राइट in my past lives. That's the only explanation that works for me. सो वही तो, ये
Yeah.
सब ना, ये बहुत मिसलीडिंग चीजें भी बहुत हो रही हैं आजकल एस्ट्रो, बिकॉज एक तो एस्ट्रोलॉजी अभी हर एक कोई पॉडकास्ट पे बात हो रही है एंड बहुत व्हाट नॉट, राइट, बहुत सारे होते हैं, तो मुझे वो उसमें भी वो फिल्टर करना पड़ता है। तो मैं, और मेरे को बहुत क्लियर था कि मुझे बुक पढ़नी है, तो मैंने अपनी हीलर को पूछा, इसलिए मैं फिर वो बुक से पढ़ रही थी। एंड अभी भी होता है, कितना कुछ मैं सुन रही हूँ, बट समझ में नहीं आता है यार, ये ऐसे अप्लाई करना है कि ये ऐसे करना है। एंड आई एम लाइक यार, ये बहुत ज्यादा ये हो जा रहा है, मतलब इट इज ओवरवेलमिंग मी एट टाइम्स। सो जैसे ही ओवरवेलम का ये होता है ना, तो मैं समझ जाती हूँ, एंड आई एम लाइक ओके रिचा, डरने की जरूरत नहीं है, इट्स ओके, दिस मीन्स यू जस्ट नीड टू रिलैक्स एंड थोड़ा सा टेक इट स्लो, इज व्हाट आई रिमाइंड माई सेल्फ। और मैं आराम से करती हूँ, तो वो ग्लैड एक्सेप्टेंस ना, अभी बोलने की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है, वो आ जाती है अंदर से कि ठीक है। एंड किसको घाई क्यों है, मतलब मेरे को कोई घाई नहीं है, राइट, इतना तो मुझे भी पता है कि मैं इतनी जल्दी मरने नहीं वाली हूँ मेरी अच्छी है आयु, इतना पता है मुझे, कितनी है वो नहीं पता है, बट एटलीस्ट अच्छा लंबा जीऊंगी, बिकॉज काफी स्ट्रांग है आयु का स्थान, और अपना मेरा खुद का लग्न लॉर्ड एंड एवरीथिंग, राइट, इट इज पावरफुल। तो अच्छा जीना आराम से करूंगी, सीखूंगी, सब कुछ अच्छा अच्छा अपने टाइम पे होगा। तो धीरे धीरे, एंड ढाई में रश्ड वे में तो मैं कुछ भी वैसे भी करती नहीं हूँ, आई डोंट लाइक डूइंग, आई डोंट लाइक टू रश इनटू थिंग्स, मैं बोलने में भी रश नहीं करना चाहती हूँ, मेरा सब कुछ बहुत डेलिबरेट होता है। सो आई एम लाइक टेक दैट अप्रोच विद दिस, ये विद्या भी ऐसी है, राइट, कि आराम से सीप इन होने दो, तो मुझे अंदर से वो आया इंट्यूशन, तो आई एम वर्किंग दैट वे। बट यार, अरे वी शुड हैंग अप, ये तो बहुत लंबा, मैं आपका भी टाइम ले रही हूँ, आई नो यू
No,
हैव टू
no, I
टेक योर
was
किड।
listening to you. No, 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 it's okay. Sometimes it happens. And yeah, I'm happy you're opening up and you wanted to share all this with me. So yeah, but yeah, I'm
हाँ,
happy that वो आपके like now that you are that this dots are getting connected, and I feel it's the right time for you to get क्योंकि things come to us at the right time ना. तो you are getting so
एग्जैक्टली,
involved, so definitely there is some वो बोलते हैं ना योग है अभी कुछ, तो इसके वजह से वो सब
हाँ।
ऐसे ऐसे जुड़ के आ रहा है.
नहीं,
सो आई
और वो
एम
आया भी
हैप्पी.
कब ना, जब मेरा ये वही ढैया आई थी, तो वही वो मून से 8th में जब सैटर्न होता है ना, तो ढैया होती है ना, एक 4th में होती है, और ये तो उसके वजह से, ये भी मुझे पता है कि क्यों आया, बिकॉज, और सफरिंग भी, बिकॉज
नहीं
सफरिंग
मुझे
भी
क्या
उसकी वजह
लगता
से
है पता है रिचा, नाउ यू शुड स्टार्ट लाइक आई एम नॉट सेइंग लाइक प्रोफेशनली चार्ज वर्ज whatever that is your decision, but I think you should start looking into people's
नहीं, तो वो
horoscopes
मैं
and
देखती
things like
हूँ,
that,
वो तो
officially
देख रही हूँ,
announcing it. नहीं, that will
ऑफिशियली
help you
नहीं, बिकॉज
deepen
वो,
your understanding.
बट मुझे वो कॉन्फिडेंस अभी भी नहीं है, मैं वो, क्योंकि मुझे टाइम भी लगता है ना, अभी
But
जैसे
I
सी
can
यू।
hear, I can hear, I feel you have literally studied very well. Like मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है कि you are getting a lot of like you are understanding it quite very well. So I feel like और वो जो it's more of practice, right? So more and more patrikas you'll observe and more you'll
हाँ,
observe and can that will strengthen your concepts even deeper, right? Like it will make you help you understand कि कुछ controversial है, कुछ अलग है कि अरे नहीं ये ऐसे लगा लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है. ये तभी पता चलेगा ना जब आप देखोगे लाइक 5-10 पत्रिका देखोगे,
हाँ,
यू विल फाइंड कि ओके इसका इसका ये मतलब भी है, इसका ये मतलब भी होता है. इट नीड नॉट बी
हाँ,
जस्ट
हाँ।
दिस समथिंग. सो दैट विल हेल्प
नहीं,
यू
तो वो
इवॉल्व
मैं
फर्दर.
ऑलरेडी कर रही हूँ कि कुछ लोगों के साथ ही यार, विद यू ऑल्सो, आई नो
और
हमारा
इवन इफ यू
टाइम का
वांट ना
थोड़ा,
यू चार्ज सम नॉमिनल अमाउंट इफ यू आर नॉट सो इफ यू फील.
नहीं
बट
नहीं
इफ
नहीं,
यू
अभी
वांट
तो नहीं,
पीपल टू टेक
अभी
इट
तो मैं भी
सीरियसली यू
लर्न
शुड
कर रही हूँ।
स्टार्ट.
हाँ, मैं नहीं, इवेंचुअली मे बी समडे आई विल, बट अभी तो मैं चार्ज नहीं, अभी मैं मेनली लर्निंग, और ऑलरेडी उसी से ही ना मुझे 7-8 कुंडलियां तो है मेरे पास। सो आई एम सो लकी कि
ओके.
देर आर पीपल हु ट्रस्ट मी, राइट, जैसे ही मैंने बोला हाँ मुझे ये थोड़ा, बात में कर रही थी, मैं बोली हाँ, मैं आई स्टार्टेड लुकिंग इनटू दिस, ओ तो कैन यू चेक माइन करके, and जैसे यू ऑल्सो ऑफर्ड, राइट। सो अभी इनमें ही मेरा, मैं काफी, मतलब मैं लर्न करने वाइज, एंड सी आई हैव ऑलरेडी शेयर्ड फ्यू थिंग्स विद यू, couple of things based on, एक सेकेंड, ये
नो
पता
आई
नहीं
एम
मेरा
फीलिंग
क्यों।
योर प्रेडिक्शंस आर क्वाइट एक्यूरेट. लाइक अभी तक तो पता नहीं लेकिन लाइक आई कुड रिलेट विथ मेनी थिंग्स दैट यू शेयर्ड. So I feel you're going
हाँ,
in a good direction. So you just should you only need to strengthen it further.
यस, या, नो, सो दैट विल, आई, इट्स जस्ट दैट, हाँ वो थोड़ा सा मतलब टाइम भी चाहिए ना। एक और बात क्या हो जाती है कि ऑफिस के अपने रेगुलर स्केड्यूल के साथ, लाइक यू आर नॉट ऑलवेज एबल टू गिव सो मच टाइम, एंड दिस इज लाइक इट टेक्स
डिमांड्स टाइम, राइट? तो इसीलिए मुझे वो अच्छे से भी करना है। तो एटलीस्ट जो अभी मुझे ये है कि मेरे पास जो कुंडलियां हैं, राइट, लाइक जो भी है 7-8, मतलब मुझे एग्जैक्ट काउंट अभी याद नहीं है, बट पक्का उतने तो हैं ही। और उसमें ऑलरेडी मैं 2-3 लोगों को तो काफी अच्छा मतलब बता चुकी हूँ, एंड दे वर आल्सो लाइक हाँ दिस इज वेरी एक्यूरेट। कि और अगेन मैं ये प्रेडिक्शन सब पे नहीं गई थी कि आगे का मतलब, लेकिन इतना कि हाँ ये वर्क ऑन दिस एरिया, दिस विल बी बेटर फॉर यू, दीज आर योर स्ट्रेंथ्स, यू आर गुड एट, किसी किसी का ऐसे आता है कि अरे दे आर गुड एट मैनिफेस्टिंग, लाइक वो लोग लिखेंगे ना तो उनका वो उससे बहुत अच्छे से ये होगा। सो आई वाज एबल टू सजेस्ट दैट, वो मेरे लिए भी जैसे बहुत एप्लीकेबल है, मैं लिखती हूँ तो वो मैनिफेस्ट होता है। एंड नाउ आई नो ऑल्सो कि क्यों, लाइक एंड मल्टीपल कॉम्बिनेशंस ऐसे आते हैं। और काफी कुछ मतलब तुम्हें कुंडली से ही दिख जाता है, बाकी चीजें तो बस कंफर्म करने के लिए होती हैं, बट कुंडली में ही तुम्हें काफी, बाकी वो डिविजनल चार्ट्स में तुम और थोड़ा स्पेसिफिक होने जाते हो बस। बट वंस यू गेट दी हैंग ऑफ थिंग्स, राइट, वो सिर्फ कुंडली से ही काफी होगा। मैं देखती हूँ कि मेरा इंट्यूशन आता है एक्चुअली। और कभी कभी मैंने बस देख के, पहला चीज मुझे एक मेरा फ्रेंड पूछ रहा था कि अरे रिचा, मैं ये इस सब के लिए क्या करूं, कुछ तो बोला वो, मेरा ये ऑफिस का बहुत ये चल रहा है स्ट्रगल, और ये वो कैसे, वो कब ठीक होगा, ये वो ऐसे करके कुछ तो पूछा। मैंने उसका बस मैंने बोला देख मैं ऐसे नहीं, तुक्के पे मैं कुछ ये नहीं कर सकती हूँ, मेरे को तू बता, तेरा चार्ट बता तो मैं देख के बताती हूँ। तो मैंने तुरंत उसी समय उसका चार्ट देखा एंड आई टोल्ड हिम few combinations I just checked, ऐसे भी नहीं कि पूरी analysis किए हो, and I told him you work on yourself, the moment you work on yourself everything else will fall in place, you just need to focus on yourself, I think you are focusing outside। और फिर बाद में मैं सोच रही हूँ कि मुझे ये इतना easily कैसे आया, ये intuition से आया था कुछ एक आध combination से। बाद में मैंने बैठ के मैंने उसको बोला मैं और टाइम लगा के देखो डिटेल एनालिसिस भी दूंगी, एंड देन आई सॉ मल्टीपल कॉम्बिनेशंस यू नो दैट वाज showing that।
So
So जो
and what I can see now, like see, it's like it's more or less like connecting the dots. I always believe in this very strongly, even for myself. But see, you are also professionally into data analysis, right? So
हाँ
so your brain is already being prepared for analyzing it. तो वो अभी अभी कैसे हो गया ना, अभी ये अपग्रेड हो गया. So initially you are analyzing the physical data of all of
हाँ
these things like in your work and all, and now you're like moving upward from the universal perspective, like now you're
हाँ
analyzing this astronomical data and things like that, right? So your brain is
करेक्ट करेक्ट
prepared. So maybe we
या
just get
यू आर राइट,
prepared
वो बुद्धि,
eventually because universe knows better how to take us in
हाँ
that direction. So it just first, जैसे पहले वो muscle build करा, and now
एग्जैक्टली
it's like okay, now you are ready, so now you can look into this, something like that, and that's how it just came
हाँ
to you.
आई नो। और वो मेरे को वही लग रहा है कि मेरे वे में तो ये लिटरली ज्योतिष खुद आया है चल के, मैंने कुछ
तो
नहीं किया।
पहले वो रैशनल वगैरह वो सब से it got acquainted you with all these
हाँ
rationalities and things like that, so the rational mind was taken care of, and now the
करेक्ट
I believe in balance, right? So I feel I can see this everywhere with everyone and every, even my life, every situation. I think universe is always bringing us to balance. तो पहले वो एक चीज सिखाता है, फिर वो दूसरे चीज का एक्सट्रीम दिखाता है, और फिर वो बोलते हैं कि देखो अभी पता है ना, ये भी एक्सट्रीम ठीक रही, ये भी एक्सट्रीम ठीक रही, अभी बीच में आना है। तो मुझे तो
हाँ
ऐसे ही
एग्जैक्टली,
लगता है. So
नहीं
that's
वही
what it
सही है।
happened, like.
सो दैट इज व्हाट आई वाज एक्सप्लेनिंग विद दैट एक्सिस थिंग आल्सो, राइट, जो हमारा लग्न है और उससे ऑपोजिट है, तो उसमें भी वो हम लोग बैलेंस ही करने ट्राई कर रहे हैं, राइट, कि ओके मीन राशि में बट उसके ऑपोजिट क्या है, एंड ऑपोजिट ही होगा थोड़ा, मतलब जो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स होंगे ना, तो वो फिर अल्टीमेटली ना तुम थोड़े वो बीच के बनते हो, बैलेंस, वही जैसे यू आर सेइंग। एंड वन थिंग दैट आई वांटेड टू टेल यू, बिकॉज यू हैड शेयर्ड दिस लास्ट टाइम आल्सो जब हम बात कर रहे थे, एंड यू वर सेइंग कि you know you are like you like having balance in things and ये वो, and ये बाद में मैंने मतलब ध्यान से विचार करके देखा, because when I was talking to you I was looking at your chart, and अब तो I'm not even looking at your chart, but this is something that came to me later as an insight कि in your Navansh, in your वो D9 chart जो बोलते हैं, Navansh बोलते हैं, which is a divisional chart of your Kundli, so it's just a zoomed in aspect, right? तो वो उसमें ना योर मेन लग्न बिकम्स तुला राशि 7, तो वो इट्स ऑल अबाउट बैलेंस,
Is
दैट्स
it?
व्हाई।
Oh wow,
हाँ सो दैट्स
that's
व्हाई
very
अभी
interesting.
एंड ये ना मिड
अच्छा,
लाइफ के बाद, सो क्या होता
क्योंकि
है
मैं तो
नवांश का,
हमेशा I am always seeking balance in everything, and I also look at other people's also life, na, like when I analyze and things, I feel
हाँ
कि life is always bringing us for balance. गीता में भी वही लिखा है, तो मुझे तो ये बस
हाँ
पता नहीं कहाँ से ये आ गया, मतलब इंसाइट
नहीं,
जैसे
बट
ही।
यू टॉक अबाउट इट सो मच, मतलब मैं भी करती हूँ बैलेंस, तो मैं भी फॉर इयर्स आई हैव बीन ट्राइंग टू अचीव इट, बट you are like so expressive about it. So because that is like वो पूरे टाइम आपके दिमाग में वो थॉट है basically back of the mind, because you are governed by that राशि now in the, and क्या होता है नवांश में जो लग्न आपका उदय हो रहा है ना, जो भी साइन सेकंड लाइक मिड लाइफ के बाद, मतलब रफली मैं बोल रही हूँ कि वो दिस मिडिल एज के बाद वो ज्यादा प्रेविलेंट दिखेगा आपको अपने में, वो
Oh,
कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स लाइक द ट्रेट, सो दैट्स व्हाई, एंड यू नो लाइक थोड़ा हम लोग क्योंकि वो एडल्टहुड में आते हैं, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज करते हैं, तो तब हमें चेंजेस भी आते हैं, राइट? सो इट शोज दैट प्रोग्रेशन कि ओके पहले हम क्या थे और अब कैसे बन रहे हैं, वो भी दिखाता है, तो वो नवांश दिखाता है, तो उसमें लाइक इट इज ऑल अबाउट तुला फॉर यू, लाइक द बैलेंस, बिकॉज दैट लग्न जो है वो 7 वो तुला राशि का है, एंड यू are seeking that also, and I think you are balanced in your approach also, because you are never like, you don't have strong opinions कि ये ऐसे ही होगा, you are always evaluating, right? You're balancing other things, you are evaluating other things also.
yeah, and I think I have come to this, like पता नहीं हमेशा से ऐसे था या नहीं था, I don't remember, but I was not extreme in any case in any areas of my life as such. But yeah, I think now over time and over year, जैसे सालों साल हम बढ़ रहे हैं ना, like it's evolving. Like I am becoming more and more balanced, is what I can understand. So now it's
हाँ
more of an intentional and a conscious choice. It is becoming that way also.
नहीं,
So I'm
और वो
moving more
और आगे और
balance now.
स्ट्रेंथन ही होगा, वो अपवर्ड ही जाएगा, बिकॉज वो आगे वो और स्ट्रोंगर ही होगा ना, बिकॉज एज वी ग्रो ओल्डर हम लोग थोड़े और, मतलब जो चीजें अभी हम कर रहे हैं ना, वो हम ज्यादा उसमें दृढ़ भी होंगे, राइट? कि दृढ़
Hmm.
होंगे एज इन लाइक द गुड थिंग्स दैट वी आर डूइंग, बिकॉज नाउ वो बहुत कॉन्शियसनेस और अवेयरनेस के साथ है, इट्स नॉट बिकॉज किसी ने बोला है हमें करने के लिए, राइट?
ये मुझे किसी ने नहीं बोला था आज तक. मतलब मुझे
हाँ
नवांश क्या होता है कोई नहीं पता. Like I have never heard of this also before, because
अच्छा,
but yeah, this is interesting, very nice.
नहीं
So
अरे
that's what I'm
नवांश,
telling, right? You are
हाँ
already like understanding things from a very deeper perspective than maybe a new Jyotishi or someone may not be even like or maybe बताते नहीं है या पता नहीं मुझे, लेकिन I feel you are doing quite good, so I think you should take it more deeper.
हाँ नहीं, और
You
ये
should do
नवांश
more
ना, ये सब
readings.
लोग नहीं करते, वो लोग को आता नहीं है नवांश देखना ढंग से, बहुत लोग को, एंड ये भी वही मेरे को ना
And वही मैं बोल
इंट्यूशन
रही हूँ
से,
ना कि because you are from that profession also ना, professionally also you are now so used to like your brain is very well developed to analyze data.
हाँ
So
हाँ नहीं, एंड
so
यू आर
it's
राइट, लाइक यू
like
आर
for
सो
me ना,
राइट,
अब
हाँ
हम लोग भी like जैसे commercial art and all of that whatever exercises, small big activities, portfolio में के assignments and all that we do, right? And so we are literally every day we are challenging, right? As our brains to think in a creative direction. So वो अपने आप वो exercise muscle build हो जाता है ना. So that's what I'm saying. So that I can see reflecting in anything and everything I do. In so many
हम्म
other areas also of life. So you automatically come to a creative solution. You like it happens, right? So
हाँ
and I like if I see a plain surface or something, I feel like अरे इधर ये अच्छा ऐसे कुछ डिजाइन पेंट करेंगे तो अच्छा दिखेगा. So it just comes naturally. So automatically that
या
visualization happens and things like that. So that's what I'm saying. For you, this data analysis is already like इसलिए maybe वो like for example जैसे अभी एनिमेशन और इसमें कैसे दिखाते हैं कि वो ऐसे वो like you're looking at some numerical thing, but then something in an animation format stands out, right? Like a pattern or
हाँ
like a something that happens with you very easily and effortlessly compared to some newbie or some other person जिसका वो ब्रेन
हम्म
वाला न्यूरॉन्स डेवलप नहीं है शायद से वैसा. So that's what I'm
हाँ
telling.
हो
So you
सक
so that is why you're grasping it very well also. So whatever you're learning, you can easily assimilate it. You're able to digest it very well.
हाँ
And
वो
you're
क्योंकि
able to
वही
process
बिकॉज
it. and bring it forward. So I feel you should really go make most of it, and it will be like वो बैम्बू ट्री जैसा, पता है कि जैसे वो पहले 6 साल लगाता है रूट से, मतलब सॉइल से बाहर आने को, फिर बाद में 6 महीने में इट ग्रोस दैट टॉल, राइट? So it maybe that is something for you, that you are already so ready for it. Then now it's just a matter of time, or just a matter of few months or something, that you will be just doing excellent in it. So
हाँ
don't go with the belief, I would say, that कि नहीं नहीं इसको इतना टाइम देना चाहिए, इतना टाइम लगेगा, इतना ये लगेगा वो लगेगा. That may be a generalized statement, but maybe for you it's not that case, is what I feel. Because I feel you're quite
हाँ
good. You're doing quite good in it already.
हाँ, लेकिन ना वही मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है कि मेरा निश ना इज अबाउट दिस, लाइक द काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स दैट आई एम टेलिंग यू, लाइक इट इज मोर अबाउट द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, क्या चीजों में आप अच्छा कर सकते हो, क्या चीजों में आपको ध्यान देना है. मैं ये चीजें बहुत अच्छा पकड़ती हूँ. बट ये जब प्रेडिक्शन पे आता है ना, और फिर वो मतलब कैलकुलेशंस आर नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम, बट देर आर लाइक मल्टीपल थिंग्स, एंड वो इतना देर इज नो स्ट्रक्चर अराउंड इट इन जनरल.
But
एंड
it's okay, na? You can start from here, na? Like even if
हाँ
now, if you can just, like, for example, if you can just look at people's horoscope and tell them, so I'll be able to help you identifying your strengths and weaknesses, and you
हम्म
start from here. It's a good place to start, right? And
हाँ
eventually, when you learn and when you go deeper into predictions, you can talk about that. You don't
हम्म
have to, like, कभी कभी लोगों को ये भी तो पता नहीं होता ना, और उतनी क्लैरिटी भी काफी है. Like, what does handwriting analysis do, right? Normally they don't,
हम्म
they I don't know, I have never been to one, but some friends are into graphology बोलते हैं ना शायद उसको. तो
हाँ
they are into that, but predictions का मुझे नहीं पता, but वो ये तो बताते ही है ना कि okay, these are your, they just identify some of your traits, right? And they tell you
या
that, and even that is equally helpful. So that's what I'm
हम्म
saying. You start from wherever you can. You don't have to restrict
हाँ
yourself कि नहीं मुझे ये नहीं पता, मुझे वो नहीं पता types. जहाँ से पता है, you start from there, and I think that will only help you evolve into the predictions also.
या
Like, धीरे धीरे when you see something, maybe even if you tell that person or you don't tell that person, but you have understood ki and you just wait and watch, and eventually when
हम्म
it comes true, or it comes, वो भी सच होता है झूठ होता है, उससे you will get that confidence, right?
राइट
So more
या
patrikas, more kundalis you are exposed to, better you will know, better you'll understand, is what I feel.
हाँ हाँ, नहीं नहीं, दैट इज वेरी ट्रू. और वो तो लाइक एनीवेज मैं वो थोड़ी कुंडलीज देख रही हूँ, बट या आई थिंक मुझे ये भी पता है कि मैं कहाँ पे अटक रही हूँ ये वही प्रेडिक्शंस वाले चीज में, बिकॉज दैट इज समथिंग आई एम नॉट कंफर्टेबल विद येट, बिकॉज देर आर सो मेनी कॉम्बिनेशंस एंड देर इज नो स्टैंडर्ड कंसेंसस ऑल्सो फॉर सर्टेन थिंग्स, एंड बहुत
And what
कंफ्यूजिंग.
I also understand, na, Richa, like what I have also seen happen in my own life and in general, like it's all about the intention also. As we put out the intention of things, na, things just fall in place and things just evolve. Like for example, if you feel कि मुझे XYZ चीजें थोड़ी कम समझ में आ रही है, या अभी तक नहीं समझ में आ रही है, या whatever. So when you do these rituals, na, कैंफर वाला, दिया वाला, या जो भी whatever prayers you do or what, just put out that intention. Just put it out कि I want to understand more about this. I want this to
या
get better into this, and it will follow through. Maybe you'll
दैट्स
find
अ
a
गुड.
coach,
या
you'll find a guru who'll guide you through that, or you'll find some book, you'll stumble upon something. It will just happen, or you'll just get some insights, and you'll just come to you. Just put that intention out about whatever you're feeling ki either there is something I need to know more. Just put it out and it will come to you. I have seen that happen, and it happens with full faith, na. बस वो डाल देना यूनिवर्स में कि I want to know this, I want to understand this, rather
हाँ
than going from a point of doubt कि नहीं नहीं मुझे ये नहीं समझता. Put it out कि मुझे ये समझना है.
हाँ
You get it?
Yes,
So
yes.
it
नहीं,
will
so
come to
I,
you in a few months or whatever, a few days
हाँ.
time, or maybe even fraction, like instantly bhi aa jayega. You never know. You never know,
नहीं,
like
this is a
what will.
good, yeah, this is a good reminder and a powerful one. मैंने पूजा के साथ वो इंटेंशन का मतलब मेरे को अब तक वो दिमाग में आया नहीं, बट आई विल डू दिस बिकॉज मैं जब पढ़ती हूँ ना, सुबह उठ के पढ़ती हूँ, राइट, थोड़ी देर एस्ट्रोलॉजी का जरूर कुछ रीड करती हूँ, या ऐसे ही बैठ के जस्ट कुछ किसी का, वही फ्रेंड का, या चार्ट देख के, वॉट एवर, कुछ अप्लाई करने देखना, तो तब मैं जरूर ये सोचती हूँ कि यस, दिस विल टेक टाइम, बट आई 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 नो आई विल गेट दिस, इट्स जस्ट दैट वो थोड़ा, एंड इसीलिए मुझे वो इनसाइट क्या आती है कि अभी लिख ले, एंड मे बी ये लिखे हुए नोट्स मैं बार बार पढ़ूंगी, मुझे वो पैटर्न समझ में आ जाएगा, कुछ चीजें मैं खुद से, और वन थिंग आई हैव रियलाइज्ड, आई थिंक हर ज्योतिष, इसीलिए इसमें कोई स्ट्रक्चर नहीं है, बिकॉज एवरी ज्योतिषी कम्स अप विद देयर ओन अप्रोच, राइट, बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ इट इज, जो मतलब ये भी ना कि आप कितना किसको बोलोगे, वो भी डिपेंडेंट होता है उस समय की एनर्जी पे, लाइक दैट पर्सन ऑल्सो, लाइक प्रकृति डज इट्स मैजिक, इवन इफ यू नो लाख तुम्हें सब कॉम्बिनेशंस, योग और सब पता हो, बट अगर सामने वाला रिसेप्टिव नहीं है ना, तो आप इतना बोलोगे भी नहीं उनको, थोड़ा बहुत बोलोगे, एंड देन सी, बिकॉज दैट अगेन आई कैन से, बिकॉज मेरे एक्सपीरियंस से, मेरी फ्रेंड हु वाज जस्ट लाइक यू, राइट, लाइक जिसके साथ मेरी प्रॉब्लम हुई, जब मैं वो विजिट पे गई थी एक शॉर्ट ट्रिप पे, एंड आई टोल्ड यू, राइट, कि उसका वो, she was, I had just casually mentioned few things about her son being in some bad situation in her chart, and she was like, no, मुझे ये issues तो नहीं है, so she was in denial, and that is like so much in alignment with वो Leo trait, right, क्योंकि वो Leo उसका ये आता है लग्न, तो उसका बहुत ऐसे like strong होता है, and वो again वो पीड़ित है ना, बिकॉज सन इज द गवर्निंग, ये राइट, लग्न लॉर्ड ही हो जाता है उसके लिए, तो वो आई थिंक इस वजह से वो समझ में भी नहीं पा रही होगी, बट मैंने उसको उतना ही बोला, राइट, एंड व्हेन शी डिड नॉट, लाइक शी वाज लाइक ओके, तो मैंने बोला द वे आई इंटरप्रेटेड इट वाज ओके, मे बी मेरा ये एग्जैक्ट नहीं है, सही नहीं आ रहा है, हो सकता है मेरा इंट्यूशन गलत हो, बट यू नो राइट, उसके बाद क्या हुआ, उसके बाद उसके और सारे ट्रेट्स मेरे सामने वो खुद ही डिस्प्ले करने लगी, and I was like okay, so this is something new, and then I realized, I checked also with my healer कि ऐसे होता है क्या, कि अगर कोई एस्ट्रोलॉजर, स्पेशली एस्ट्रोलॉजी में कोई आपका कोई चार्ट देख रहा है, वो एक एनर्जी फील्ड में टैप कर रहा है, राइट, यू आर कनेक्टेड नाउ विद दैट पर्सन, एंड अगर आप उसको डिनाई करोगे ना, तो वो एस्ट्रोलॉजर को कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं, बिकॉज अगर एस्ट्रोलॉजर एथिकली कर रहा है, तो एस्ट्रोलॉजर को प्रॉब्लम नहीं होने वाली है, बट तुम अपने डिस्प्ले करोगे चीजें इफ यू डिनाई, तो ये बात तो अब मेरे को ये भी समझ में आ गया, ये मुझे यूनिवर्स खुद ही मतलब ये सब मेरे सामने ला रहा है, एंड ये कितना क्विक, मतलब ये सारी चीजें, इतनी गहरी चीजें, एक्सपीरियंसेस ऐसे ही आ गए मुझे विद इन 3 months ऑफ प्रैक्टिसिंग or learning, I would say, not practicing as a professional, but just learning and then applying it on some of these charts, like uska shayad probably चौथा या पांचवा चार्ट होगा जो मैंने देखा होगा, एंड उसमें ऐसे हुआ, सो दैट ऑल्सो हैपेंस, सो एंड द अदर थिंग ऑल्सो आई हैव सीन कि कभी कभी हम किसी से बात करते हैं, कुछ चीजें हम बोल रहे हैं, एंड बाद में आता है कि अरे यार ये मैंने क्यों नहीं बोला, बट मे बी दैट पर्सन वॉज नॉट रेडी उस समय वो सुनने के लिए, so I had the knowledge, but I was not able to recollect it, because again अपनी बुद्धि पे भी वो एक
Yes.
energy is working.
Yeah, even I agree with that. Yeah, sometimes some things happen for a reason, and it's very important. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
very important that we just go with the flow and just
yeah,
allow things
exactly.
to evolve.
एग्जैक्टली,
Yeah.
या नहीं, तो वो वेरी ट्रू, तो ये तो सब अप्लाई होता ही है, नहीं, एंड यू वेरी राइटली सेड, आई दिस इज वन लास्ट थिंग आई विल शेयर एंड आई लेट यू गो, बट यू वेरी राइटली सेड कि ये तो मुझे भी बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग, मुझे अंदर से ये फीलिंग आया था कि यार ये सही टाइम पे आया, मेरा मतलब डेस्टाइन्ड था कि हाँ ज्योतिष आएगा मेरे रास्ते, बट अच्छा है पहले नहीं आया, बिकॉज मैं बहुत गुमराह होती, मेरे खुद के स्ट्रगल्स इतने थे और मैं गिव अप कर देती इस चीज में, शायद बिलीफ भी उतना ही नहीं था, बट अभी क्योंकि करेक्ट टाइम पे आया, जब मैंने भी अपनी लाइफ के काफी चीजें देख ली हैं, एंड फिर इतने वो मैच हुआ चीजें, एंड देन मैं लर्न कर रही हूँ, एंड हाउ इट इज अप्लाइंग, एंड हाउ the other aspect, right? I was just looking at the experiential aspects and maturity, spiritual maturity. But you rightly said that it is also the analytical skills, the buddhi ka aspect, right? जो reasoning and all of that. And वो भी मैं trained ही हूँ, like my occupation trained me, and I think ये सब इसीलिए it's for a reason कि ये सब align ऐसे हुआ है. And yeah, so I'm able to grasp it in a better way, and things that are again meant for me right now, and eventually it will unfold, I know. And I know I will be good at it, ये मुझे doubt नहीं आता है. It's just that few things I think I'm, वो थोड़ा सा एक होता है ना कि मैं उसमें, मुझे ऐसे भी होता है कि अरे हाँ नहीं नहीं ये मुझे इतना मजा भी नहीं आ रहा है वो करके ऐसे हो रहा है. So I'm like, it's okay, take time, you write down the concepts, because based on my previous interaction with you, I don't want to disregard any aspect also of Jyotishi, right? Of Jyotish as a subject. So सब पढ़ो, and it's okay. जो naturally आ रहा है, जिसमें you are good, and maybe I will come up with my own niche. But yeah, I can focus on. So you gave me some very good pointers. So I always admire your, perspectives and the way you share things. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Yes, I agree, and I totally believe has I and whatever the way you are sharing things also, na, I feel you are very good and you are getting even better and better at it. So you just go for it and you believe in it, and you I feel just make sure you reach out to more and more people and help them and guide them, and it will help you eventually to strengthen this knowledge of yours, is what I
Hmm.
feel. मुझे तो बहुत अच्छा मतलब I am actually able to connect with things that you have shared. So yeah, I
Hmm.
feel you're very good in fact. Like, so please go for it.
Yes,
Because
yes, I will. And मेरे को
it is
जैसे
like
जैसे
a
थोड़ा
service
time.
only, na? And when you guide people in a way like that,
Hmm.
which no one else can, then that is a service, right? Like, it is so empowering.
Yeah.
And I feel for you maybe ऐसे भी होगा कि since you are also in this self improvement, self help and all of that also, right? Like, we all read these books and so many,
Hmm.
तो कहीं ना कहीं वो वहीं पे भी connect होगा आपका. Like,
हाँ.
maybe for you you will be able to, like, maybe coach through this. You never know, right? So
Yeah.
maybe that is something that will connect for you. So, and
हाँ.
that's what people will relate with you more and will connect with. I feel just see how you can reach out to more and more people and strengthen it. But yes, first I would say that first you get ready, because it should not be exhausting for you also, right? Because you're also
Right.
working, and so as go by your pace, and जैसे अभी ये इवॉल्व होते होते यहाँ तक आया है ना, वैसे ही होगा आगे भी. Because and sometimes ना, when we feel overwhelmed, I have realized it's okay to take a break from things, however passionate we are for them. Sometimes that break is also necessary for us to understand something or uh, realize something at times. So that acts as a very beautiful step as such in the process, because it's like two step forward, one step backward, right? Like, if even if we take one step backward, it helps us to jump higher. It takes us to get a good leap at times. Something happens that helps us eventually. नहीं लगता अभी ये आपका कभी छूटेगा. So because I feel now that you're so much deep into it, you'll only go better and better into
Yes.
it.
So
So even
true.
if you take a break of few months or few days or whatever, it will only help you go deeper into it when you restart with it. So
हाँ
just
नहीं,
go
और वो
with the
ऑलरेडी
flow
होता
and
है.
enjoy it. क्योंकि वो ना
हम्म.
मुंडेन और बोरिंग जबरदस्ती करके ऐसे रिचुअलिस्टिक होने से अच्छा रहता है ना, कभी कभी ब्रेक लेंगे और वो एक्साइटमेंट मेंटेन रहेगा टाइप्स. आई एटलीस्ट आई बिलीव
करेक्ट.
इन आई
नहीं नहीं,
आई गो
वही है.
बाय दैट.
वही है, मैं वही फॉलो कर रही हूँ, इसलिए थोड़े दिन मैं ब्रेक लेती हूँ, बट ऑटोमेटिकली खुद ही मुझे इंटरेस्ट कुछ आ जाता है और मैं देखने लगती हूँ, एंड देन आई एम एबल टू सी इट, लाइक थोड़ा सा वो क्लियर भी होता है कंफ्यूजन कुछ चीजों में. तो
And
अच्छा है.
especially now, what I feel, especially for things that we don't have any deadline as such. Like, for example, like for me, this reading group is that way. या ऐसे कुछ भी चीजें ना जो ऐसे होती है ना, we feel कि अभी ये मुझे इतना पसंद है कि I can do this forever. or I can do this for my, for that things it doesn't matter if we take a few months or days का break भी क्योंकि इवेंचुअली हम वापस वहीं पे आ ही जाते हैं, क्योंकि हमें वो इतना प्यार रहता है उस चीजों से कि वो इवेंचुअली यू वांट टू डू इट लाइक फॉरएवर, राइट? सो समटाइम्स रेस्टिंग इज इम्पोर्टेंट because it's a long term journey than a short term something. So it's okay. I think even plants के साथ भी it happened similarly na with you, like
Yes,
you might
exactly.
have taken some breaks in between, but now you have still in spite of all that breaks and everything, whatever, like जो भी हुआ रहेगा कभी, you have this so many number of teas that people hardly have in their lifetime, so you've already been there. So that's how it works, I feel. That
हाँ
just in fact multiplies the process when you restart with it
हाँ
eventually.
नहीं वही और वो भी ना वो कैसे लाइक आई एम जस्ट अमेज्ड एट हाउ यूनिवर्स वर्क्स बिकॉज जो वो एस्ट्रोलॉजर ने मुझे बोला था ना उसने मुझे जो एक मतलब कुछ चीजें वो मेरा पूरा एनालिसिस चार्ट का करके एंड शी हैड नॉट गॉन फॉर प्रेडिक्शन इसीलिए मुझे जैसे उसने मुझे करके दिया मेरे चार्ट का मुझे वैसे ही बहुत अच्छा लगा and that's how I also want to focus and maybe someday I will also talk to her. I had told her कि हाँ मैं पढ़ रही हूँ मुझे बहुत इंटरेस्ट आ गया है इसमें and someday I might actually even ask her कि मुझे questions हैं so I I'll pay for it but can you provide a consultation on the concepts and whatnot, right? Because I had really liked her style of explaining things and few of the things जो उसने मुझे recommend किए थे were just ये कि वही सूर्य को जैसे वो जल देना आई थिंक उन्होंने एक बोला था और तो वो सब तो ठीक है वो कुछ एक स्टैंडर्ड रेमेडीज या ये होंगे बट शी मेंशन्ड दैट मर्क्यूरी क्योंकि स्लाइटली तुम्हारे केस में हल्का नेगेटिव प्लैनेट हो जा रहा है सो टू बैलेंस इट एंड आई नेवर रेकमेंड कि अरे हाँ तुम ये मतलब इतना ये उसके लिए ग्रीन स्टोन पहनो और ये वो बिकॉज वो इम्बैलेंस भी क्रिएट कर सकता है एंड व्हाट नॉट सो द इजिएस्ट थिंग इज कि तुम बस पौधों को पानी दिया करो एंड आई वाज लाइक मैं यही करती हूँ लिटरली मैं इतने सालों से मेरा इसमें झुकाव ही इसीलिए आया और मेरे को पता नहीं था कि मुझे इतना लगाव क्यों है प्लांट से बट आई वाज इंट्यूटिव कि दिस इज गिविंग मी दैट और चैनलिंग माय बुद्धि बेसिकली इन द राइट
Yeah,
डायरेक्शन
we are energetic beings, right? So energetically we are somewhere going in that direction automatically. Like even for me also you said na कि you don't have to be very this thing about your routine, and that's how it happens with me कि I eventually
हाँ
come to that place somewhere, like वो
नहीं और
ऐसे
फिर
ही
क्या होता है
automatically we are.
हाँ हाँ नहीं सही सही एग्जैक्टली नहीं एंड क्या होता है कि नॉट एवरीवन इज इंट्यूटिव राइट आई मीन यू आर इंट्यूटिव यू न्यू कुछ लोगों को इंट्यूशन नहीं होगा वो लोग एफर्ट्स डालते रहेंगे कि यार मेरे से स्टिक ही नहीं होती है मेरे से कोई हैबिट ही नहीं होती है एंड दे माइट बी बीटिंग देमसेल्व्स अप फॉर इट बट यार तुम्हारा चार्ट ही वैसा नहीं है सो दैट इज नॉट योर स्ट्रेंथ राइट यू फोकस ऑन द स्ट्रेंथ यू आर गुड एट बीइंग फ्लेक्सिबल सो फोकस ऑन दैट सो एक एक स्टैंडर्ड अप्रोच इसीलिए बहुत सारी बुक्स में भी जो चीजें हैं अभी अगर हम लोग एक रूटीन की तरह अगर वो वही अगेन प्रिस्क्रिप्टिव होगा वो सबके लिए वर्क नहीं होने वाला इसलिए मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा जो अभी ये मिरेकल मॉर्निंग का ऑथर जिस तरह बोल रहा है वो अपने हिसाब से अडेप्ट करने बोल रहा है ही सजेस्टिंग फ्यू थिंग्स बट उसने ऐसे नहीं बोला है कि ये ऐसे ही करना है या रोज इतने ही समय के लिए करना है बिकॉज समहाउ 5 AM क्लब में फिर भी काफी प्रिस्क्रिप्टिव था इफ यू पे अटेंशन and it
Yes,
doesn't work.
yes. And it
It
is
doesn't
so
work.
many things, right? In 5 AM Club कितने सारी चीजें बोली है. So वो
वो
सब कुछ
बहुत
करना,
है
it's हाँ, it becomes overwhelming at times.
and
But
yeah
this
it
is
is
so simple,
overwhelming
right?
for someone who is struggling right like मेरे लिए चलो मैं already कुछ चीजें करी थी for me I was but उसमें drag मुझे feel हुआ था and ठीक है I know बहुत approaches थे but उसमें से मैं सब कुछ ऐसे भी नहीं है right कि to the T मैं वो सारे चीजें follow करूंगी but I took the good things whatever was meant for me but this is a far more easier to implement book Miracle Mornings because he's very बहुत प्रैक्टिकल है उसकी अप्रोच एंड अगेन इट इज नॉट लाइक कि ये है कि ऐसे ही है ये रूल बना दिया या ऐसे करना है नहीं ही इज जस्ट गिविंग यू लॉट ऑफ फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी एंड आई थिंक इट वर्क्स फॉर एनीवन ओवर अचीवर्स भी और जो जो दूसरे एरियाज में बेटर हैं एंड माइट बी मोर फ्लेक्सिबल इट इज वर्किंग फॉर देम सो या सो इट इज दैट वे तो एक ही चीज वन साइज फिट्स ऑल हम नहीं कर सकते राइट बुक्स के बेसिस पे भी तो
Yes,
इसीलिए
yes,
इट्स
very
इम्पोर्टेंट,
true.
तो वो अच्छा है नहीं, इसीलिए ये हॉरोस्कोप का बहुत हेल्प आता है, दैट्स व्हाई आई एम सो इंट्रीग्ड बाय इट। एंड वही बहुत ही अच्छा है। उन्होंने दो चीजें बोली थी कि, हाँ एक और मैं बोलने वाली थी कि वो बोली थी कि you are very good at learning, like being proficient at other languages, and which is again very true। मेरा मैं मतलब अपना, जब मेरी तबीयत अभी खराब थी, मैं जो दो हॉबीज या वॉट एवर पैशंस फॉलो कर पा रही थी, वो बाहर की गार्डनिंग नहीं कर रही हूँ तो मैंने इंडोर ले आई मैं गार्डनिंग, राइट, और मैं प्लांट्स को फिर पानी देना, यही सब करती थी। और दूसरा है कि मैं ये बैठ के वही रोज 5 मिनट दे के मैं लैंग्वेज सीखती हूँ, फॉरेन लैंग्वेज, राइट। पहले मैं चाइनीज, सबसे पहले मैं स्पेनिश सीख रही थी, बट मेरा थोड़ा उसमें इंटरेस्ट चला गया तो मैं फिर चाइनीज पे गई, बिकॉज मैं शोज भी देख रही थी, बट फिर अल्टीमेटली आई रियलाइज, अरे नहीं, ये कोरियन ड्रामा ज्यादा देख रही हूँ। अब तो मैं कोई कोई भी ड्रामा नहीं देख रही हूँ, बट मैं कोरियन प्रैक्टिस करती रहती हूँ, ऐसे मतलब एवरी डे जस्ट 5 minutes। बट that also she was point on, and now I know why she was able, because वो अश्लेषा नक्षत्र की खासियत है कि they are good, because again mercury ruled नक्षत्र है वो, very तेज बुद्धि and very quick at grasping things, and it helps you focus on languages and communication and all of that। And we already, like, see, English is also a foreign language, right? And I have really, like, matlab, unknowingly I have worked very hard on and my proficiency in English has increased so much, not just by moving to the US, उसके पहले भी मैंने बहुत इस पे काम भी किया था, बिकॉज आई वॉज ऑलवेज इंट्रीग्ड कि हाँ नहीं, मुझे आना चाहिए ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज, इट इज वन ऑफ द ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेजेस इन इंडिया एंड वी यूज इट फॉर आवर वर्क एंड एवरीथिंग। तो मैं करती थी, लाइक मेरा झुकाव भी होता था कि हाँ सीखना है। तो इट, लाइक दीज थिंग्स, वही अगेन हॉरोस्कोप दिखा रहा है हमें कि हम क्या चीजों में अच्छे हैं एंड क्या चीजों में झुकाव भी है हमारा। And we can use it as a guiding tool more than a prediction tool। मुझे लगता है guiding tool की तरह बेस्ट है।
Yes, I agree 100%.
तो
Because
या तो
even I also use like it as a guidance only. Like whenever someone
हम्म,
tells me something, I take it as a guidance. And I
हाँ
feel that very open and mature to it, that they're not always looking for predictions, because everyone believes in creating their own destiny, right? They don't want
करेक्ट।
prediction, but they do want direction. And that is
हम्म
definitely happening, right? When you can just tell them some things, that okay, these are the things that is why you're struggling in this area. This is why you, like, जैसे आप बोल रहे हो ना अभी भी, when you share about the stars and all of that, that kind of a language which I don't understand, but that really helps you
हम्म
to, it validates a lot of things, right? That you can actually correlate with your own life today
हम्म,
things. And that is, I
yes,
think, good enough as a way of moving forward. In fact, prediction
yes,
क्या है? The prediction, you'll only stick to that prediction and you'll just keep thinking ये होगा नहीं होगा, होगा नहीं होगा।
right,
उससे क्या होने वाला है, right? The main I think main important part is your present, and what is like how to lead that your daily life and
yeah,
things like that. And that I think you're doing very good at, and that's what I'm saying, you're doing very good at it. So please see
हम्म,
how you can leverage it even more, like for yourself, for
yeah,
others, for everyone, yeah, around us. So
yes। I one quick thing, Mansi, I know हम लोग तो अभी keep extending, but मुझे एक quick चीज पूछनी थी, because I, now that we were talking, I opened your chart, because मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा था कि और भी कुछ था क्या जो मुझे पूछना था, because छोटी मोटी चीजें थी। But have you ever considered like moving away from your birthplace is like in the greater Mumbai area, right? And because I think it's there in the chart also, I remember वो उल्हासनगर और उसके पास है ना।
abhi to I am in Dombivli, so it's not
हाँ you
Ulhasnagar,
are,
it's in the middle of, yeah, I
हाँ
I do wish sometimes. My college was in Sophia, so it is in Grant Road, so
हाँ,
I'm a
नहीं बट ये
Sophia
मैं दूर
alumni.
मतलब बोल रही हूँ कि आउटसाइड ऑफ महाराष्ट्र ऐसे कभी विचार किया है या ऐसे कुछ
हाँ,
कभी।
मन तो बहुत है, बट अभी तो in my current reality I don't see any picture as such in that
हम्म,
direction. But yeah, I that is a desire, like, for sure. I really would
बिकॉज ना,
love to
हाँ
travel
बिकॉज
and
ना,
move places.
you, because you are योर लग्न लॉर्ड इज जुपिटर ना, वो मतलब लग्न पत्रिका जो है, जो आपकी कुंडली है मतलब, तो उसमें मीन राशि को जो गवर्न करता है वो जुपिटर है ना, और वो 12th हाउस में बैठा है, सो वो अपने से 12th में है। सो जनरली ये कॉम्बिनेशन है ना, बोलते हैं कि इट्स वेरी गुड फॉर, इनफैक्ट आज के जमाने में तो बोलेंगे कि फॉरेन सेटलमेंट।
Is it? Wow, but I don't see any
हाँ नहीं, बट
opportunity,
सी अगेन ये
to be
एक ही
honest.
कॉम्बिनेशन है, आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि ये ऐसा ही होगा, बिकॉज मुझे एक ही दिखा, राइट, ओनली वन कॉम्बिनेशन आई सॉ, सो इट्स नॉट अ वेरी
Is there
स्ट्रॉन्ग।
an age or something that you can say like ये सालों में there is a possibility or something? Because I am very much like I would love to, because I am bored of this place.
इट इज,
I really
हाँ
want
इट
to go
इज
somewhere else.
very possible actually after like starting 2030, maybe 2030 September onwards, because ये दशा at least I can see कि वो लग्न लॉर्ड के आपकी जुपिटर, अभी तो राहु की दशा चल रही है, सो वो दशा से डिसाइड होता है बहुत, सो इट इज हाईली लाइकली 2030 या उसके बाद।
Wow.
हाँ
I just hope यार रिचा तेरे मुंह में घी शक्कर.
हाँ, so
I
see and
just
see
hope
you have
I
to
really don't
desire.
want to like stay in this one place, because I've never traveled as such, like apart from the vacations and all. So
हाँ
I've never been out of my home space as such,
हाँ
because I studied here. So everything was in Mumbai. So it was just like a one day, like subah jaake sham ko aana and things like that. I never got to stay in a hostel or something like that also. And after marriage also, like I just married in like I did not move out, right? And my husband's is a family business. So
हम्म
we just like we he has his books and everything. They go all over Maharashtra and India, but he don't have to travel as such for that. Or at the most, it's just a tour. Like it's
right,
a work tour or a kind of a thing where he comes back. And uh, for me also, like my work, everything happens offline, right? Online, most of the time. And even if offline, it's very local as such. So I don't have to. There is no requirement of movement as such, and
yeah,
it's very boring at times. So I
हाँ
wish कभी कभी मुझे लगता है कि अच्छा लगता है यार जब jobs में people have to have the transfers and all, right, because of jobs and things, they
हम्म
get to see and locate in different places, but somehow I'm not working in a full-time job as such, right? I am a freelancer. So for me that doesn't fit in, like कि ऐसे कुछ जरूरत ही नहीं होती है,
हम्म
everything happens
हाँ
online.
नहीं, बट मे बी वही, हु नोज, अभी तो टाइम है ना, 5 साल है, एंड 2030
Hmm.
से 2046 तक यू हैव दैट दशा। तो एंड अगेन ऐसे नहीं है कि उसी दशा में ही यू विल बी, यू कैन कंटिन्यू टू स्टे वेर एवर, एंड मे बी यू मूव अराउंड ऑल्सो, बट हाईली लाइकली मुझे लग रहा है, एंड कभी कभी थोड़ा
हो
पहले से
भी
भी
सकता है,
इफेक्ट लेने।
because I'll tell you one thing. I just the few days back I was just thinking, one of the thing is I am attached to my parents, like I'm the only daughter. And now my
हम्म
after my daughter is born, they are like every weekend they are like they want her to be at, like they'll just remember, they'll just call her, like not every weekend, we don't visit every weekend as such, but अभी vacation है कुछ भी है तो they will be wanting her around, because the grandparents ना तो उनको वो चाहिए रहता है. And so sometimes like it happens, like so that is one thing that I feel like I just had a feeling कि
हाँ
मम्मी पापा है, लाइक जब तक वो लोग हैं उनके लिए आई बी लाइक बेबी स्टेइंग अराउंड, बट मे बी आफ्टर दैट आई डोंट केयर, लाइक आई डोंट वांट टू बी, बिकॉज आई कैन locate to any place, right? Like once, like if I don't have any responsibilities of them as
हाँ
such, like they are not me even emotionally or physically in any way, then I might be free to go anywhere. No, just saying my
हाँ
husband, so what can we do? How can we um bring this in our life, kind of a thing. So yeah, I
राइट
wish. अभी 2030 तो काफी मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है कि हाँ चलो पॉसिबल हो सकता है, 5 साल है ना, 5 साल में तो काफी कुछ बदलता है इधर का उधर.
हाँ नहीं, बट ये वही, ये मुझे काफी ऐसे दिखा था, तो आई वाज लाइक एक बार पूछूंगी जरूर, बिकॉज लग्न एक ही कॉम्बिनेशन ऐसे दिखा मेन।
But there is strong desire as such,
हाँ,
like
बिकॉज
of
दैट इज
moving
योर
out for
लग्न
sure.
लॉर्ड ना, सी दैट इज योर बिगेस्ट प्लैनेट
इसलिए वो
जुपिटर।
डिजायर शायद वहीं से आ रहा है मुझे, मे बी.
हाँ हाँ उधर से ही आ रहा है, बिकॉज वो आपका लग्न लॉर्ड है, तो वो आपकी इच्छा, आपका शरीर, एवरीथिंग इज योर लग्न का स्वामी विच इज जुपिटर। और वो बैठा है 12th हाउस में, तो वो स्पिरिट थोड़ा सा मतलब थोड़ा सा आइसोलेशन, स्पिरिचुअलिटी, इस सब में भी जागृत करता है। एंड ये भी कि दूर, लाइक दूर की यात्रा या कहीं दूर मूव, फॉरेन सेटलमेंट भी होता है। सो
In fact,
अगर
I'm
लग्न
very much attracted na to this Asian, some Eastern countries like Japan and all. So they have this
हाँ
spiritual base ना, वो एक उनका लाइफस्टाइल, उनका सब कुछ मुझे बहुत फैसिनेट करता है। तो मुझे ऐसे,
हाँ
मैंने आई थिंक फ्यू डेज, जस्ट लास्ट वीक आई वाज टॉकिंग टू माय हस्बैंड, मेरी डॉटर को भी आजकल जापान अच्छा लगने लगा है, पता नहीं क्यों। तो तो वी वर
जापान
लाइक,
इज नाइस।
आई डोंट नो, लाइक हम लोग जापान में सेटल होने का कभी कुछ सोच सकते हैं कुछ सालों बाद।
हो सकता है, यू नेवर नो। नहीं, और वही कुछ
बिकॉज
भी लाइक
रेकी इज
बेसिकली ना।
ऑल्सो फ्रॉम देयर, मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है, पता नहीं, शायद कोई
हाँ
पास्ट लाइक कनेक्शन है या कुछ है, जहां से मुझे इसके लिए इतना लाइक अट्रैक्शन है कुछ तो।
नहीं, दैट्स
पता
नाइस यार। मेरे को एक्चुअली ये जापान और कोरिया बहुत इंट्रीग करते हैं मुझे दोनों, आई फॉर सम रीजन। बट या
नहीं,
आई वुड
आई
डेफिनेट।
लाइक दैट कल्चर समहाउ, एंड पता नहीं कुछ
हाँ,
लगता है मुझे
और
उनके उनका।
जापानीज इसमें तो स्पेशली ना वर्ड्स उनके बहुत ये होते हैं मस्त। मतलब वो उनका भी सेम होता है, ऐसे हमारे केस में कैसे कुछ वर्ड्स का डायरेक्ट ट्रांसलेशन नहीं है, बिकॉज दीज आर लाइक एक्सपीरियंसेस दे हैव पुट, लाइक जैसे वही क्या है, इकिगाई भी हुआ, देन इचिगो,
यस यस, हाँ,
दैट्स द
वो
टी
तो बीच में
सेरेमनी।
ऐसे हो रहा था कि सब बुक्स भी वहीं से आ रहे थे, पता नहीं ऐसे हो रहा था।
हाँ करेक्ट। नहीं, सो या यू नेवर नो, एंड हाई चांसेस ऑफ बेसिकली एनी प्लेस दैट इज लाइक 800-900 किलोमीटर्स अवे, जनरली बोलते हैं कि दैट इज गुड, लाइक ऐसे कॉम्बिनेशन में कि चांसेस होते हैं कि हाँ जाने के इतने दूर। सो मिनिमम मतलब मैं वो बोल रही हूँ। सो या
800-900 किलोमीटर्स मतलब क्या होता है, मतलब मुझे नहीं
फ्रॉम
समझ
योर
रहा।
बर्थ प्लेस, फ्रॉम योर बर्थ प्लेस
विच इज
800।
मुंबई। तो
हाँ,
एट
सो वो
हंड्रेड
800।
नाइन लाइक हाउ, लाइक
तो
कंट्रीज अपार्ट,
बेसिकली
लाइक।
थोड़ा ऐसे भी ना कि नॉर्थ, एकदम जैसे नॉर्थ में चले गए इंडिया में भी अगर यू मूव, तो नॉर्थ में या वही वो देखना पड़ेगा किलोमीटर वाइज क्या कौन से शहर।
ओके ओके,
बट
हाँ ठीक है ठीक है, आई एम जस्ट क्यूरियस, हाँ।
बट दैट इज
नो
द
प्रॉब्लम।
मिनिमम, मतलब मैं बोल रही हूँ। एंड ऑफ कोर्स देन तो स्काई इज द लिमिट कि हाँ ठीक है, वो मतलब ये बाकी के सारे जो दूर के कंट्रीज हैं वहां पे भी अभी जैसे मेरे केस में भी है, मेरे में मल्टीपल कॉम्बिनेशंस हैं जो दूर फॉरेन सेटलमेंट के हैं। और मेरा तो वो है भी कि हाँ नहीं, दूर हो गया, मैं तो खैर काफी दूर आ गई हूँ क्योंकि मेरे संजोग वैसे
यू आर
थे शायद।
ऑलरेडी देयर ना, लाइक यू आर ऑलरेडी लॉन्ग अवे फ्रॉम योर
हम्म।
बर्थ प्लेस, या।
हाँ लेकिन वो लिखा था वो भी कि वो बेटर भी है मेरे लिए, लाइक मेरी करेज बढ़ेगी, विच इज सो ट्रू। वो भी ये इन्होंने ये बताया था। तो आई वॉज लाइक दिस, ही स्पॉट ऑन कि द मोर आई लाइक मूव अवे फ्रॉम माई बर्थ प्लेस, माई करेज विल ग्रो। एंड वही हुआ, मैं यहाँ दूर आई, उसके बाद मुझे ये सब इंटरनलाइज हुआ, राइट, चीजें, माई ट्रॉमा, एवरीथिंग, राइट। एंड देन I went through that depression cycle also, but then eventually it all came out. I had the courage to talk to my parents and my brother, like my family also, about things that were there as suppressed anger, right? And it was obviously not a easy experience, but it all happened for a reason. तो अच्छा है उसके बाद, मतलब we are all doing better, and we have learned each other's boundaries, right? So वो भी अच्छी बात है। नहीं, बट या फॉर यू ऑल्सो आई थिंक, या डेफिनेटली थिंक अबाउट दिस, बिकॉज पॉसिबिलिटी तो दिख रही है मुझे काफी अच्छी फॉर यू टू मूव।
वाह, ओके,
या सो
ग्रेट।
दैट इज
मुझे बस
समथिंग।
ये
हाँ,
हमेशा पिक्चर नहीं होता है कि मेरा तो ठीक है, आई कैन स्टिल थिंक ऑफ इट, एंड बट हाउ विल इट वर्क एज विद अ फैमिली सेटअप, लाइक माय
वो
हस्बैंड
होगा
एंड
नहीं,
माय
मतलब
डॉटर
कुछ
ऑल
अगर वो ऐसे
टुगेदर,
लिखा है, उनका भी
या
कुछ
अलग
होगा।
अलग रहेंगे, बिकॉज वन ऑफ अ फैमिली इन माय फैमिली, माय मेरा एक देवर है ना, so they are
हम्म
staying separate, like they're because the girl is working in Qatar, even he used to work in Qatar, and she's in Qatar
हम्म।
Airways, so she cannot leave her
अच्छा।
job, and now they have a kid of like 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, and that
हम्म
kid is with the grandparents, like boy's mom, so they are here,
हम्म
the boy is here, so मुझे ऐसा लगता है कभी भी ऐसे लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस वाला कुछ होगा, या क्या पता कैसे होगा कभी, इसलिए कभी कुछ सोचा नहीं जाता उस डायरेक्शन में मुझसे।
वो भी देख सकते हैं, वो शायद मतलब वो देखना पड़ेगा। आई थिंक ऑफ कोर्स उनकी भी पत्रिका आपके हस्बैंड की भी देखनी पड़ेगी, बट लेकिन जो भी है ना, बिकॉज एक तो क्या है कि व्हेन वी आर मैरिड टू समवन, मतलब वो संजोग दोनों में आते हैं या तो, और अगर हाँ अगर ऐसे होगा कि उनके इसमें नहीं है तो या मे बी फिर ऐसे थोड़े टाइम के लिए दूर रहना वो भी हो सकता है, बट उसके भी होने चाहिए, कुछ कॉम्बिनेशन होने चाहिए। इट्स नॉट एज इजी एज अच्छा नहीं बस इसके वजह से बस दूर रहेंगे, right? Again, lot of things are playing, right? There are so many energies at play.
Okay,
तो
also at times, like now we are not like in that phase, right? Like where you have to like stay together and you have video calls and so many things. Oopsie.
हाँ हाँ,
अरे
so
my
yeah,
phone
you
is
never
getting
know.
off.
हम्म, क्या? हेलो?